of energy. The appearance showed no significant change, but countless runes invisible to the naked eye appeared. The rune level was extremely high, even Ling Xiao felt his soul tremble. VZZZ. When the runes covered the entire set of equipment, the golden glow slowly faded away. Ding! Congratulations to the host. The War God set flaw repair cost 4.5 billion. Successfully upgraded to the Divine War set Tier 10, mid-grade. Divine War set introduction. Equipped with a 10th level combat device, a 10th level personal intelligence brain, and a 10th level combat suit. The 10th level combat suit features mid-grade 10th level physical defense and high-grade 10th level soul defense. Combat suit functions: transformation, repair, concealment. Transformation can change freely into any clothing style. Fix: as long as the main body is not destroyed after damage, it instantly repairs. By adjusting the seam energy, the defense level can be adjusted, with a minimum of 3rd level and a maximum of 10th level mid-grade. Concealment: instant invisibility, blending into the surrounding environment while completely eliminating the aura of soul and body. Even strong beings below the cosmic level 5-fold heaven cannot detect it at all. Upgrade complete. The system quickly displayed all the attributes of the new suit to Ling Xiao one by one. Ling Xiao's eyes suddenly lit up. He didn't expect this set of equipment to inherit the previous Black Hill suit's functions of repair and defense adjustment. This made his heart tremble. Excitement hard to conceal. Could it be that top-tier combat suits all have these self-repair and adjustment capabilities? Ling Xiao asked curiously. Yes, Master. Battle suits are crucial for a warrior's survival. As long as they reach level 8 or above, they generally have repair and power adjustment functions. The Black Kill suit you used before was just a level 8 battle suit copied by a low-level civilization, with slow repair speed and limited adjustment range. At that moment, a brand new electronic female voice sounded in Ling Xiao's mind, gentle yet carrying a cold rationality. Are you the new AI? Ling Xiao asked in surprise. Yes, Master. I am your new AI, named Shenwu. You can call me Xiaowu. Xiaowu responded respectfully. Do AIs even have genders? Ling Xiao couldn't help but laugh. Sorry, Master, I am currently only at level 10 and have not yet reached the stage of consciousness generation. Only a level 12 realm lord level intelligent brain can possess a true soul and gender. My gender is set according to the gender of your main friend, and you can change it at any time. Ling Xiao silently complained. Sounds like because most of my friends are female, you automatically became female? He didn't change it. After all, it was just a string of voice programs. No need to fuss over it. Thinking of this, he was shocked in his heart. There actually exists artificial intelligence that can reach the level of the soul and possess genuine emotions. The soul is the boundary between life and non-life. Only intelligence that truly possesses a soul can be considered alive. Although advanced AI today can simulate emotions, joy, anger, sorrow, and happiness, these are merely illusions enacted by programs. Only they themselves know that all of this is a pretended performance. However, they do not care, because caring itself is an emotion. With a thought, Ling Xiao controlled the new battlesuit. Buzz! In an instant, the platinum-colored battlesuit shattered into countless fragments, rapidly converging and quickly donning Ling Xiao. A brand new combat instrument was also implanted into his eyes. Ling Xiao's gaze shifted, and he could actually see scenes several light years away. The view was terrifying and shocking. Xiaowu, control the spaceship and simultaneously hack into the strongest intelligence core of the Phantom Clan through the network. Is this possible? Ling Xiao ordered without hesitation. Piece of cake, Master. Xiaowu immediately activated her powerful ability, instantly taking control of the spaceship system before her. Immediately after, her data stream rapidly locked onto the supreme main brain of the Phantom Clan tens of millions of light years away. In the blink of an eye, the power of the 10th level intelligent brain erupted. She had completely taken control of the opponent's supreme main brain, leaving them no chance to resist. Master, I have fully taken control of all the databases, martial arts techniques, and network systems of the opponent's 8th level intermediate main brain. If you command, I can instantly control all their ships and weapons, reducing everyone below the stellar realm of the phantoms to ashes. Xiao Wu reported calmly. Upon hearing this, Ling Xiao's expression darkened, and waves surged in his heart. At first, he thought controlling the enemy would make gathering intelligence easy and battles much simpler. However, reality slapped him hard. The supreme brain under control was terrifying beyond measure. It could instantly mobilize all weapons and annihilate an entire civilization in an instant. Wait, since it can do this, can't the opponent's 4.8 level supreme core do the same? Have they invaded our human race's core? Ling Xiao suddenly became alert. If he could use technology to launch a dimensionality reduction strike against the enemy, then the enemy with an 8th level intermediate intelligence core could definitely do the same to the human race. Xiao Wu, answer, he commanded. Yes, Master. 1,000 years ago, the opponent took control of the human race's supreme core and also controlled the cores of 4 other races. Xiao Wu responded respectfully. Ling Xiao felt a chill in his heart. 1,000 years of surveillance, the entire human race living under the enemy's watchful eyes, combined with the memories he had previously extracted. The truth surfaced. The enemy had not directly exterminated the human race in order to keep them confined as their food. Once the flames of war break out, the human race's spaceships, AI cores, and powerful weapons will be instantly paralyzed. Without long-distance flight capabilities and no communication, the four races will be like lambs to the slaughter, caught in a single net by the enemy. Fortunately, he upgraded the AI core, otherwise, when the Great War broke out, the human race would have long been overwhelmed by their own weapons, losing all their strong fighters. Do they know I have an SS-level talent? Will the news of me just killing their humans be transmitted over? Ling Xiao was nervous. The spaceship is right here, and all his battles are recorded. As long as it is sent, the enemy will know his true strength. The strongest of the phantom race might even come to assassinate him. Xiao Wu, did you intercept it? Master, that's right. You have been locked onto. You were sent here because the Shadow Clan intercepted your SS-level talent. After scientific analysis, they concluded that you might be an SSS-level genius. You have been placed on the top assassination list of the Shadow Galaxy. They want to use the controlled human brain without exposing that the main brain has been hijacked to lure you in and then eliminate you as a potential threat. Unfortunately, they miscalculated. Your strength turned the tables and defeated them. Although the kill message has been sent, this place is 70 million light-years away from the enemy galaxy, and it takes more than an hour for the Dark Universe transmission. I have successfully intercepted it. Ling Xiao sighed with relief. He definitely did not want to be hunted by a galaxy-level powerhouse, as that would trigger the enemy to launch an early attack on the human race. Xiao Wu said she could kill opponents below the stellar level. She could injure stellar-level enemies but not finish them off, and galaxy-level powerhouses were completely beyond her ability. So, we still can't start a war against the Phantom Clan now? Ling Xiao frowned. Actually, we can, Master. Xiao Wu suddenly interrupted. 700 million light-years away in the Milky Way, there is a powerful 9th-level civilization with 700 galaxy-level elites. I can control one of their idle 8th-level peak ships to secretly infiltrate the Shadow Galaxy, killing the Shadow Overlords and all stellar-level elites one by one. Then, control all the weapons of the Shadow Clan and completely raze their civilization to the ground. Mobilizing the ship will take at least a day and a night due to the distance. Ling Xiao frowned deeply, full of worry. Xiao Wu smiled calmly, her voice firm. This is not a problem at all. I can solve it immediately, and there is more than one way to do it. Damn, you can play like this? Won't the 9th-level civilization find out? What about higher-level civilizations? Will they intervene? Ling Xiao exclaimed, his eyes full of shock. Impossible. They simply can't see these things. The gap between the 9th and 10th levels is like heaven and earth. Higher-level civilizations at the 10th and 11th levels see 9th-level civilizations as ants, let alone the 8th level. Master has absolutely nothing to worry about, Xiao Wu said calmly, without hesitation. Ling Xiao breathed a sigh of relief. Alright, one day and one night then, let's first adjust the spaceship to come over. If the Shadow Clan dares to make a move, we'll kill them cleanly and decisively. He nodded without hesitation. Although the adjustment of the spaceship might not be needed immediately, it had to be prepared. Starting the mobilization now would prevent being caught off guard later. Xiao Wu immediately reported, Master, the Phantoms have been informed of your death. At the same time, I have taken over all their communications within the galaxy. Good, then let's take this spaceship. You bring in a spaceship above the peak level 8 from other level 9 civilizations, the higher the level, the better. Ling Xiao ordered coldly. His gaze was firm as he flew directly toward the spatial rift. The modified spaceship was for personal use. An 8th-tier peak spaceship, once its vulnerabilities were repaired, could easily be upgraded to an 11th or even 12th tier spaceship. In that case, the ship's onboard AI would also reach 12th tier level, and Ling Xiao would no longer have to worry about being crushed by advanced civilizations. The gap between civilizations weighed heavily on Ling Xiao's heart. With backward technology, no matter how strong the power, one was nothing more than an ant at the mercy of others. Conversely, with powerful technology, strength naturally became unbeatable. Xiao Wu responded quickly, Master, I have summoned a 9th-tier mid-grade spaceship, expected to arrive in 3 days. Good, wait 3 days. Ling Xiao's lips curled slightly as he flew out of the spatial rift and recalled the 6th-tier spaceship he had originally boarded. By the way, Xiao Wu, this time we basically took over the entire inventory of all the martial arts and techniques of the Shadow Clan, right? You mentioned before that you invaded a 9th-level civilization, so their data is ours now too? Ling Xiao suddenly remembered a key point. The martial arts and techniques repository is the core wealth of a civilization. The storage location is either physical storage or the civilization's highest-level intelligent brain. As a 9th-level intelligent brain, Xiao Wu can easily invade other civilizations. Yes, Master. They haven't reached the 10th level and haven't connected to the virtual universe, so I directly took over all their martial arts and techniques repositories. You can access them anytime you need. 4. Civilizations at the 10th level or above, the main brain connects to the virtual universe and receives comprehensive protection from it. Even 13th or 14th level intelligent brains cannot breach their data. But in that case, the copyrights of the martial arts and techniques belong to the virtual universe, and other civilizations can purchase and use them. It's the price of cultural protection, Xiao Wu respectfully reported. After listening, Ling Xiao was shaken.
Virtual universe? First time hearing about it. It can actually protect all data of civilizations above the 10th level?
His eyes were deep, thoughts swirling.
What exactly is a virtual universe? Ling Xiao frowned deeply and asked Xiao Wu without hesitation.
Xiao Wu's voice was cold and firm. Master, the virtual universe is the ultimate crystallization of civilization jointly created by all top intelligent species in the universe.
It evolved from the strongest intelligent brain and is like a second real universe. Everything here is so real it's suffocating, and cultivation achievements can even be brought back to reality.
She paused, her tone heavier. The only difference is that in the virtual universe, everyone is immortal. It gathers the strongest beings in the universe, and all advanced civilizations networks are connected to it. For lower-level civilizations to enter, they must belong to an advanced civilization and become its subsidiary. Xiao Wu continued. The civilization I previously accessed, although it hasn't reached the nearest level 9 civilization in the galaxy, is the only one not yet connected to an advanced civilization.
They are about to reach level 9 and prepare to establish themselves as a sovereign universal nation.
At that time, the civilizations of the galaxy and the Shadow Star system must merge, or they will face extinction. Her voice softened. Master, if you want to enter the virtual universe, I can apply for an account for you now, so you can enter that world anytime.
Shock flashed in Ling Zhao's eyes as he quickly absorbed the vast amount of information transmitted by Xiao Wu. Only then did he understand that the universe is far larger than imagined.
The Milky Way is called a large galaxy containing tens of millions to hundreds of billions, even trillions of planetary systems similar to the solar system. Its size ranges from 10,000 light-years to 100 million light-years. Galaxies within 100,000 light-years are guarded by stellar-level experts or multiple top-tier warriors.
Ultra-large galaxies between 100,000 and 1 million light-years are guarded by galaxy-level experts. For even larger giant galaxies, the Guardians are Sea of Stars-level experts.
Supergiant galaxies ranging from 10 million to 100 million light-years are governed by cosmic-level elites. This is the realm of 10th-level civilizations.
Only 10th-level civilizations are qualified to access the virtual universe.
Even larger are star regions, composed of hundreds of millions to trillions of large galaxies, with a minimum diameter of tens of
billions of light-years. Star regions are controlled by domain lord-level super-elites, that is, 11th-level civilizations.
Beyond star regions are star realms, with a minimum scale of trillions of light-years, ruled by realm lord-level elites, which corresponds to 12th-level civilizations. Above the star realms are cosmic divine kingdoms, 13th-level civilizations, guarded by god king-level elites. A cosmic divine kingdom governs billions of star realms, and the Milky Way is but dust in their eyes. Ling Xiao murmured in shock. So many levels, at my current cultivation speed, it might take me hundreds of years and I still might not reach them. Xiao Wu smiled. Master, don't rush. Every strong person needs years of accumulation, and you are only 15.
The road ahead is long.
Seeing the slight change in Ling Zhao's expression, Xiao Wu immediately stepped forward to comfort him. I know all that, but I'm incredibly excited. I didn't expect there to be so many realms, and the universe to be so vast. It seems the future life will definitely be exciting. Ling Xiao smiled, a genuine smile. With the system, he was not worried at all about reaching those realms. With his immortal divine body and undying soul body, above the God King level, there was the eternal level. Above the eternal level was the immortal level.
Even the highest grade immortal constitution could be easily enhanced by the system, so when he eventually reached the pinnacle of the God King, wouldn't it be effortless and carefree?
By then, he would also create a cosmic divine kingdom of his own.
By the way, you just said you want to apply for a virtual universe access account? Get me one. I want to see with my own eyes what the virtual universe is really like.
Suddenly recalling Xiao Wu's words, Ling Zhao's interest greatly increased.
Okay, Master. I have already submitted your registration information.
Since your civilization has not reached level 10 or above, you can only register a personal account. Personal accounts require review, which takes no more than 10 hours.
Xiao Wu explained crisply and clearly. Review? What review?
Ling Xiao was puzzled.
It is a review of the registrant's talent.
Personal accounts require possessing a wild-level talent, meaning having the potential to become a universe-level
powerhouse in order to pass. Once approved, you will not be restricted by any region and can use the virtual universe anywhere in the cosmos.
Ordinary people from 10th-level civilizations and their affiliated civilizations do not need talent to register, but their permissions are limited and they can only use it within their civilization's area.
Xiao Wu explained in detail. Understood, then let's register first.
Just take this time to see if the 9th-level civilization has any good cultivation methods or martial skills for me to practice. Ling Xiao nodded, his eyes shining with anticipation. Buzz! Suddenly, a massive spaceship broke through the sky, heading straight for where Ling Xiao was. The spaceship hovered steadily in front of him, the hatch slowly opening.
Ling Xiao, are you okay?
A hurried figure flew down from the spaceship, anxiously scanning Ling Xiao. It was Roya. Previously, Ling Xiao told her to evacuate first. She was worried all along but found that all communication devices
crisis had failed until the spaceship rebooted and flew back. I'm fine, they're just some small fry, nothing serious.
Ling Xiao smiled helplessly.
Hiss, you're fine? Did you manage to take out all those Shadow Clan elites?
Luoya was shocked, unable to hide the disbelief in her eyes.
Once this news spread, the human race would definitely be turned upside down.
No, they released me because they thought I was handsome. Ling Xiao replied with a smile.
You liar. If they were so loyal, the human race wouldn't have lost so many people.
Luoya looked doubtful.
Then tell me, if we don't kill them all, will they obediently leave?
Ling Xiao rolled his eyes and flew straight towards the spaceship. Luoya heard him admit it and excitedly chased after him, her eyes full of admiration.
Wow, I didn't expect you to be this strong. I used to think you were weak, but you're so powerful. You can't just be an SS level genius, right? At least an SSS level. No, even an SSS level genius can't reach your strength. So what kind of realm is a genius beyond SSS level?
Luoya asked curiously.
How would I know? Don't let me die. Keep this secret for me. If a third party finds out about this, I'm afraid tomorrow I'll be hunted down by a whole bunch of star-level powerhouses.
Ling Xiao shook his head helplessly, thinking that Luoya really was a chatterbox.
That's for sure. No one else will know about today's matter.
If I leak it, I'll be smashed into a meat pie by a spaceship as soon as I step outside. Luoya's eyes were firm as she immediately vowed to keep the secret. Ling Xiao sneered coldly. Thanks for the trouble.
I just used up a lot of energy and need to recover first. I'll leave the rest to you.
Before he finished speaking, he turned and quickly walked toward his room.
Rumble, rumble.
The spaceship's engines roared, tearing through the void, heading straight for the ancestral star. In the blink of an eye, the spaceship vanished into the dazzling sea of stars. Ancestral Star Martial God Temple. More than a dozen powerful figures surrounded the Martial God Hall, their auras like landslides and earthquakes, solemnly waiting. 7 were white-haired and weathered, their faces full of vicissitudes. 4 were middle-aged men with sharp gazes, and there was a woman in her 20s, wearing a fiery robe, exuding an imposing aura. They were all human race stellar-level powerhouses. Among them, 5 were young warriors who had advanced within the last 50,000 years. The woman in the flame robe was named Xi Lian. She had been a stellar-level female guardian for over 10,000 years, with extraordinary talent and strength, firmly ranked 4th among the human race, existing at the 3rd tier of the stellar realm. A strong wave of energy fluctuations swept through with a buzz. Deep within the Martial God Hall, the illusory power on the main seat fluctuated violently. An old man in a black robe, with a world-destroying aura, slowly appeared. Although the end was near, his vigor and spirit were at their peak, far surpassing star warriors of 70 or 80,000 years old by several times. All the guardians, upon seeing him, stood up together and respectfully shouted, "Hail Lord Martial God!" The Martial God smiled, stroked his beard, and said, "How many times have I told you, no need for such formalities." His gaze fell on Xi Lian, and he nodded approvingly. "Xi Lian, you have made great progress. Keep working hard. The future of the human race may depend on you."
Xi Lian humbly whispered, "Master, you flatter me. My strength is still far from enough."
The Martial God sighed, "Don't put too much pressure on yourself. I can still hold on for a while, and maybe I can find a breakthrough opportunity to help you enhance your talent." Over the years, he traveled beyond the Milky Way, searching for ways to break through the stellar limits while also seeking treasures to improve his disciples' talents.
Unfortunately, both attempts failed. The Martial God suddenly asked, "Is there an urgent matter that called me back this time? Could it be that the 4 clans are causing trouble again?
If they dare act recklessly, I will go back and kill them first." His words were filled with murderous intent, faintly intimidating all around. He had made up his mind to kill the strongest of the 4 clans before he died. With his stellar limit strength, the strongest of those several races were only at the 8th or 9th stellar heaven level, and combined, they still could not match him. As the war god's voice fell, all the surrounding guardians felt a shock in their hearts, and the atmosphere suddenly grew tense. The guardians smiled bitterly. This was not the first time the war god had taken action. 30,000 years ago, the top experts of the 4 great races joined forces, vowing to eliminate the rapidly rising human race. But before their armies could even set out, the war god struck first. The result shocked the strongest beings of the 4 major races across the entire galaxy, all of whom were slain by Wushan alone.
At that
time, Wushan's strength was only at the 9th level of the stellar realm, while among his opponents there were even those at the 10th level. Unfortunately, they all perished, not a single one survived. This brutal battle completely intimidated the 4 major races. For more than 20,000 years, they dared not act recklessly again. Now, they dare to test because the Martial God's 100,000-year lifespan is about to run out, and no news has been heard for many years. If the Martial God is dead, they will surely come out in full force, and at that time, the human race will be unable to resist. But what they do not know is that the Martial God once obtained a treasure in the secret realm that extends life by 5,000 years, theoretically extending his lifespan to 105,000 years. Although most strong beings find it hard to live to 100,000 years, the Martial God still has at least over 1,000 years of life left. Perhaps he has already broken through to the galactic realm. Once his lifespan surpasses 1 million years, he will suppress the human race's fortune for another million years, and by then the human race race will completely dominate the galaxy. Lord Martial God, there are two pieces of good news, the Luo Tian Guardian said urgently. He was the most senior, and although not the strongest, he had witnessed the growth of many. Unfortunately, at that time, geniuses and earthly treasures were scarce. If he had them, he might have advanced even further.
Good news? Tell me about it. A gleam flashed in the war god's eyes.
First, a few minutes ago, the Central Intelligence Corps intercepted a dying message from a planetary-level powerhouse of the Tatar.
The content revealed that an undeveloped secret realm has appeared within the Milky Way. We immediately dispatched experts to verify, and indeed, the secret realm remains undeveloped.
The Guardian Luo Tian excitedly handed over the video and analysis data. After reading, Wushan frowned slightly.
Undeveloped secret realms must contain legacies of the galactic realm.
If obtained, there is hope to ascend to a super-galactic realm powerhouse. Although indifferent to life and death, he still worries about the future fate of the human race. The human race is like his child. He must never let them be destroyed by the enemy.
With the opportunity for a breakthrough right before him, how could he not be excited? Good news is indeed good. Set off immediately back to the Milky Way, expected to arrive in 1 day.
Be sure to seal off the information within an hour. It must not be leaked to other races. According to the final video of the Tatar strongman, the secret realm seems to be searching for a gifted successor.
You can first take some geniuses to try entering. If anyone obtains the inheritance, it will be no different from me acquiring it personally.
Wushan spoke firmly.
If the secret realm is discovered by the enemy, the human race will not escape disaster.
As long as someone inherits it, he will protect their growth for at least 2,000 years, clearing all obstacles before his death.
The future of the human race will rest on this person. The human race will usher in an even greater era of glory. If he personally receives the inheritance, it will be an even greater advantage.
As soon as the words fell, he had already boarded the only 7th-tier spaceship of the human race, heading straight for the Milky Way.
In the direction of the Milky Way, Ling Xiao rushed back at top speed. Good, the orders have been given.
All talents ranked S+ and above must assemble and head to the trial.
No matter their current strength,
as long as they were once S+, they must go. Guardian Luo Tian's face immediately grew serious upon hearing the war god's words.
The war god nodded slightly, his gaze deep. What is the second piece of good news you mentioned? Could it be that you discovered 2 secret realms?
He smiled, teasing everyone half-jokingly. Having already set off, his mind was at ease. However, the surroundings grew restless at the mention of the second piece of news. Lord Martial God, this news is absolutely no less than a secret realm, the Luo Tian Guardian said excitedly.
Oh, a flash of amazement instantly appeared in the martial god's eyes.
The newly risen super genius of the human race, Ling Xiao. After multiple calculations, his talent perfectly reaches SS level, and in fact, I personally believe his potential far exceeds SS, because since I have known him, he has never given his all. As soon as the Luo Tian Guardian finished speaking, the martial god suddenly stood up, unable to hide his shock.
SS level? Or even higher? Are you sure?
The martial god was extremely excited. He understood that the secret realm was filled with deadly dangers, and even he might perish.
Even
if he survived and brought back the inheritance, he might not be able to break through to the galactic realm before his lifespan ended.
Ordinary geniuses, even with inheritance, often end up stuck at the stellar realm. Countless strong beings in the universe have tragically fallen due to inheritance gaps, but the SS level talent is different.
With it, one is destined to become a stellar-level powerhouse in the future. If resources are sufficient and guided by a famous teacher, reaching the galaxy realm is easily achievable. The martial god recalled himself back then, also an SS-level genius, barely meeting the standard. At that time, the human race had just stepped into the starry sky.
Without the accidental acquisition of a cultivation method, even SSS aptitude would hardly open the path to cultivation.
With scarce resources and wandering alone, stumbling along the way, he ultimately reached the peak of the stellar realm. Ling Xiao possesses equal talent and could never be stopped at this level.
This is all his information and all the battle videos up to now.
Guardian Luo Tian quickly displayed videos of Ling Xiao killing the Flame Demon on Flame Demon Star, as well as slaying more than a dozen human geniuses at the Flame Sun Academy. The martial god's eyes fixed on the screen. Every move and technique of the youth was like lightning and thunder, stirring his heart profoundly. At 15 years old, he had slain more than 10 master-level S-rank geniuses and 1 S+, all with just a single move. This talent shocked him deeply.
The video showed that Ling Xiao's true strength far exceeded what appeared on the surface.
The Guardians grew more and more astonished, not because of how strong he was, but because having such strength at this age was simply incredible.
Only these 2 clips?
The martial god took a deep breath, his voice heavy.
Based on just these 2 video clips, Ling Xiao is definitely an SS-level genius.
Although his full strength has not been seen, it is already terrifying enough. There was another battle, even more horrifying. The Guardian Luo Tian suddenly recalled the scene of Ling Xiao destroying the Lin family on Earth and quickly pulled up the footage from the Imperial Capital surveillance on Blue Water Star.
On the screen, flames rained down like a raging torrent. Everyone held their breath, watching in stunned silence. That power was incredibly precise, almost unmatched by anyone. Brilliantly brilliant light burst forth from the eyes of the martial god. After so many years, such power still shocks the heart. The human race has finally welcomed a hero capable of bearing great responsibility.
The martial god glared angrily as he surveyed Ling Zhao's journey from an orphan, relying on iron will, step by step climbing to the peak he stands on today. He deeply understood the dangers and hardships of this path. What shocked him even more was that Ling Xiao was able to carefully raise Ling Yuran, who had no blood relation to him, into adulthood. This sense of righteousness, selfless as he is, will surely make him a great figure in the future. His energy control has reached the master's limit. The martial god murmured to himself, if an ordinary person had this power, they would be a genius among geniuses. Let alone his martial talent is equally astonishing.
This talent is definitely SSS level. The future of the human race lies with him. He is the next martial god. The martial god's evaluation shocked the entire audience.
The guardian showed expressions of surprise, not expecting him to value Ling Xiao so highly. Master, Ling Xiao has just broken through to the Grandmaster realm recently. Going to the secret realm is too dangerous. Shi Lian suddenly spoke, her gaze firm.
First, ask for his willingness. If he agrees, then let him go. Perhaps, this is exactly his opportunity. The martial god responded in a deep voice. Everyone nodded in agreement. The inheritance secret realm is a trial ground for geniuses.
Ling Zhao's talent is unmatched among the human race, and he has the
highest chance of obtaining the inheritance.
With the dual blessing of talent and inheritance, he can reach the peak and protect the human race for longer. But the danger is undoubtedly worrisome. If something goes wrong, the consequences are unpredictable. Okay, I'll go ask him right away. Luo Tian, the guardian, cut into the conversation.
When we return, if the ancestor asks, what will you say?
Luo Ye frowned, stepping off the spaceship with a complicated expression. Ling Xiao was helpless. I have full surveillance over the Shadow Clan. Anyone who dares to make a move will die.
Outsiders don't know this, but the power I control can only deal with the strong in the
Shadow Star System. The 6th level ships ambushed in the Milky Way can at most clear out the small fry in a sneak attack. They simply can't kill planetary level strong opponents of the same rank.
If we want to kill them, we can only rely on the human race itself.
I can report it, but with 100,000 planetary level warriors plus billions of Grandmaster level shadow enemies, even if humanity fights with all its might, it's hard to escape disaster.
Reporting will only cause panic. Master, the strongest human war god is on his way.
He has peak stellar level power. When he arrives, he might be able to join forces with the
other 4 races to completely eliminate the shadow enemies.
Xiao Wu's voice sounded, and the plan was clearly transmitted into Ling Zhao's mind. I see, you mean to impersonate a high-level civilization hostile to the shadows, inform the 5 races of the galaxy, making them believe the main base has been cleared.
Internal communications are blocked, and the galaxy unites to clear the ambush points?
This plan carries risks. The 5 races might not fully trust it, but it's definitely a feasible strategy.
Sharpness flickered in Ling Zhao's eyes as he thought, the opportunity has come. Ling Xiao nodded slightly.
The human race and the other 4 races will inevitably remain vigilant against this advanced civilization, but for their own safety, they have no other choice. The ambush of the Shadow Clan has already been set at their doorstep. If they delay any longer, the human race will surely be destroyed. In that case, we'll wait for the martial god to return before taking action. Just right, during this time I can explore the secret realm. Maybe I'll find some treasures. Ling Xiao curled his lips into a cold smile. Roya, about the Shadow Clan, if you trust me,
don't ask too much for now.
When I return from the secret realm, I will personally explain everything to the guardians, he said straightforwardly.
Luo Ye was stunned. Secret realm? What secret realm?
Suddenly, a clear alert tone came from the horizon, echoing above the human elite training camp. Beep.
Attention all human training camp prodigies.
Undeveloped secret realm has been discovered within the territory. Coordinates 41554.5441.4425. Assemble and proceed to explore within 10 minutes.
Luo Ye's pupils contracted sharply, unable to hide her shock. An undeveloped secret realm? How is that possible?
She looked at Ling Xiao in
confusion, wondering why he already knew this news.
But she quickly let it go. After all, SS level prodigies have far greater access than her S+ level.
Boom, boom.
The sound of breaking through the air suddenly exploded. The sky instantly split open, and more than 10 figures streaked across the sky like meteors, radiating a powerful aura that captivated the soul. The strongest guardians of the human race appeared. They descended slowly, their momentum pressing down like a mountain.
Ancestor? Guardians? Roya's eyes went blank.
Greetings to the ancestor. Greetings to all the esteemed guardians. She immediately bowed respectfully. Ling Xiao also solemnly returned the salute. Greetings to all the guardians. No need for formalities, the leader of the Luo Tian guardians said sternly. Ling Xiao, we are preparing to guard the secret realm to prevent outsiders from discovering it. We have come to ask your willingness. Are you willing to enter the secret realm to undergo the trial? The secret realm holds infinite opportunities, but it is extremely dangerous. If you agree, we will set out immediately. Luo Tian spoke with a heavy tone, his heart uneasy. Although he wanted Ling Xiao to receive the inheritance, if something went wrong, the loss would be severe. The other guardians guardians felt the same way.
Ling Xiao laughed lightly. Of course I'll go. Missing an opportunity like this is something you only regret once in a lifetime.
He did not hesitate at all. It was he who voluntarily revealed the location of the secret realm, wanting to challenge it personally.
Alright, since that's the case, let's go together. Roya, you come along too. Luo Tian, the guardian, nodded, secretly sighing in his heart. How could geniuses refuse an opportunity? Few fear life and death. Alright, ancestor. Roya quickly responded. Then let's set off.
Luo Tian signaled several guardians to exchange glances as a 6th-tier peak spaceship roared in from the distance.
Everyone quickly boarded the ship.
The guardians only sent 7 people, while the remaining 5 stayed behind on the ancestral star and at the training camp. The key locations could not be left unguarded.
Other human geniuses also successively entered the cabin.
Only Ling Xiao sat at the spaceship's control seat, his gaze firm, ready to face the trial of the secret realm. While the other geniuses were still waiting in the ordinary hall, Ling Xiao had already stepped into the spaceship's core secret chamber. In fact, this news had already spread long ago. It was just that the human race talent training camp was the slowest because they were waiting for Ling Xiao to return. As soon as he settled down, Ling Xiao said to the guardians beside him, "Honorable guardians, I will go practice first. I will reveal myself again once we reach the secret realm." His gaze was firm as he headed straight for the training room. At this moment, he had to quickly elevate his soul realm and break through the Grandmaster level.
Only then could the undying divine body and the innate law body activate greater potential, and his strength would surge dramatically.
Guardian Luo Tian anxiously reminded, the spaceship's peak speed at level 6 can reach the destination in at most 3 hours.
We still need to pick someone up along the way, so watch the time. Ling Xiao smiled and replied, "Understood, I will never delay."
He walked with firm steps, knowing that the location of the secret realm had been exposed and the enemies were rapidly gathering.
Although he could easily repel them, he
understood that every super genius's rise required stepping over the corpses of countless ordinary geniuses. With him guarding, the geniuses of other races would likely be doomed.
After Ling Xiao left, Luo Tian's guardian immediately grabbed Luoya, his eyes eager. "Luoya, how have you been getting along with Ling Xiao? Is there any spark?"
He was full of confidence in his heart. Luoya was outstanding in appearance, had a strong background and powerful strength. She was definitely Ling Xiao's best partner. As soon as these words were spoken, the surrounding guardians immediately erupted. The stellar Fifth Heaven Sovereign Guardian sneered, "Old Luo, stop playing matchmaker.
Aren't you the same yourself?" Other guardians also joined in the teasing. Yeah, old Luo, you made the first move, so we have to follow suit. Fair competition, who's afraid of whom?
Guardian Luo Tian angrily retorted, "Nonsense, my Luoya is the best."
Dare to have a martial contest for marriage? Those under 100 years old, come on.
For a moment, the guardians clamored to arrange a martial contest for marriage for Ling Xiao, creating an extremely heated atmosphere. Luoya was stunned. These usually highly respected guardians were now quarreling fiercely over her, fighting like cats and dogs. Qilian couldn't stand it and coldly said to Luoya, "Let's go, ignore these shameless old fools." The two quietly left, leaving the noisy guardians to continue their ruckus. Inside the room, Ling Xiao asked Xiaowu, "Is the secret realm's owner at least at the cosmic realm, or even at the domain lord level?" Xiaowu replied, "Yes, master. When I tried to infiltrate the secret realm, the signal was blocked. If I had any ill intent, I would have been attacked long ago. Such a small galaxy having a cosmic level secret realm is truly rare." She sighed helplessly. To block her, a 10th level intelligent brain, the opponent must also be a 10th level or even higher level intelligent existence. If that's really the case, would releasing the information be considered a miscalculation? Ling Xiao frowned, incredulous that a secret realm of a super powerful being at the cosmic level would just appear like this. Xiao Wu respectfully reported, "Master, theoretically, it is not a miscalculation. Large secret realms only truly open for inheritance when there are enough geniuses. In the eyes of cosmic level strong beings, SS level, S+ level, or even S level talents are just trash. But your talent reaches at least the wild level, so even domain lord level strong beings would gladly pass on their inheritance upon learning this. So, does this count as a miscalculation?" Ling Xiao pressed further. "From this perspective, yes. But don't worry, besides you, the entire galaxy only has Sikong Shui, your sister's talent, and a quasi-SS level member of the Tadar clan, theoretically considered SS level. The rest are all S+ level. The true treasures will never fall into their hands. At most, some secondary treasures from the Galaxy Realm or Star Sea Realm might be taken away, which are useless to the secret realm owners but pose a deadly threat to the human race." Xiao Wu detailed the current situation, and Ling Xiao nodded in approval.
"You can't monitor the outside world, but once they come out, can you detect what treasures they have obtained?" Ling Xiao asked. "Yes, master," Xiao Wu replied. "Alright, then you just monitor the outside world directly. There's no use for you once you go in. If other races' geniuses get something good, try to take it back. As for the human geniuses, as long as they don't want to defect, let them have it," Ling Xiao ordered decisively. "At your command, master." Xiao Wu will guard vigilantly. Xiao Wu responded respectfully. Ling Xiao ignored her and continued cultivating, arriving in 3 hours. "At my current speed, my
my soul value increases by 25,000 points per minute, 1.5 million per hour, and up to 4.5 million in 3 hours. Still quite a way from advancing to the Grandmaster realm. He furrowed his brows. After just 1 hour back, he had increased his soul value by 1.5 million, reaching 4.6 million. Adding the 4.5 million from these 3 hours, a total of 9.1 million, he still needed half an hour to reach the target. It's okay, wait half an hour before going in, he decided. After advancing to Grandmaster, the undying divine body and innate law body would undergo a qualitative change, increasing his strength by at least 100-fold, reaching the 4th or 5th heaven in a short time, with a dramatic power surge. Besides, Xiaowu can sweep through the data banks of 9th rank civilizations. That is a powerful civilization about to enter the 10th rank, containing countless martial arts and combat techniques. I can completely overhaul my martial skills. However, 9th rank techniques are extremely difficult. Even if found now, they are hard to master. I'll have to wait for the secret realm inheritance. If I can obtain 10th rank martial arts and techniques from the secret realm, I won't have to bother with the 9th rank anymore. The fastest way to improve strength right now is to upgrade skill levels, he decided silently.
Skill upgrades do not consume repair attempts.
He closed his eyes and activated the consciousness training ground, sensing his body's condition.
Clang! The next moment, he clenched his fist towards the void, and a long spear burning with black flames suddenly appeared in his hand. The next moment, Ling Xiao launched a fierce attack. Shoo!
The air was instantly sliced by his spear, tearing sharp cracks through it. He thrust spear after spear, the spear tip striking the void like thunder. Each swing stirred a powerful aura, as if the heavens and earth trembled because of it. If a powerful person were by his side, they would surely be shocked. This is exactly the legendary realm.
Ling Xiao had actually stepped into the realm level.
Previously, his marksmanship proficiency had already reached 90,000. Breaking through to 100,000 would mean reaching the peak, surpassing the master level, and entering the powerful realm level strength that would bring a qualitative leap.
Time passed swiftly as he cultivated. Bang!
A gunshot rang out, and Ling Xiao lunged forward fiercely, the heavens and earth trembling as the profound realm completely merged into his flesh and blood.
Ding!
Congratulations, host. After 10 minutes of gun technique training, you have gained 10,000 proficiency. Gun technique skill upgraded to realm level, tier 1, 0/200,000. Tier 1 realm can only be mastered by geniuses, unleashing 13 times combat power. Each additional tier increases power by 3 times, reaching 40 times at tier 10. The prompt echoed in his mind, a gleam flashing in Ling Xiao's eyes, his strength soaring directly from 9 times to 13 times.
The artistic conception is truly terrifying.
10,000 proficiency points every 10 minutes, 3 hours to break through to the second level of artistic conception. Looks like I'll have to spend some time on this. Ling Xiao knew that advancing realms would take a long time, but the potential was immense, and the hope of inheritance even greater. He hesitated not at all and immersed himself in cultivation.
Ding!
10 minutes of gun technique proficiency increased by 10,000.
Ding! 1 minute of body repair, health increased by 40,000. Ding! 1 minute of soul repair, soul value increased by 25,000.
The prompts echoed in the mind, and strength surged at an astonishing speed.
3 hours passed in the blink of an eye.
In 180 minutes, the soul value surged by 7,200,000, and the vitality value skyrocketed by 4,500,000. The proficiency in the first level realm spear technique climbed to 180,000. Yet it was still just short of the final step. Breaking through the realm would require more time. Interstellar desert, shattered planetary debris scattered endlessly. Dozens of 6th tier ships quietly docked. S+ geniuses from over 3,000 intermediate star systems gathered together. This selection had no age limit, only S+ talent allowed, with countless top elites from various star systems converging. 3,000 star systems, over 10,000 geniuses gathered, each with astonishing potential. In the future, great masters and super strong individuals will emerge in large numbers, including those with planetary level talents.
If struck hard by enemy clans, the human race will be on the brink of collapse.
But the Formation Emperor has set up a 7th rank mid-grade grand formation covering the star region. Even if a 5th level stellar powerhouse attacks, it will take several hours to break the formation. This formation cannot be independently constructed by a 6th rank Formation Emperor. It requires years of accumulation to form.
And he has not yet mastered the ultimate technique of 7th rank formations. Even if he could set it up, it would take decades to take shape. 7th rank lower grade formation.
This formation was a portable ultimate skill obtained by the martial god back in the secret realm.
The moment it is activated, a move is executed instantly.
Left behind by the martial god, it was specially designed to protect the human race by the Formation Emperor. If a great war breaks out, it can support the human race, waiting for the martial god's return.
Now is the critical moment for the survival of the human race.
All top geniuses have gathered here, awaiting the arrival of the super genius from the human elite training camp. Among human geniuses, the strongest are all in the elite camp.
S-level geniuses take pride in entering the Yin-Yang Academy, but the students of Yin-Yang Academy regard entering the elite camp as the ultimate peak.
The threshold for the elite camp is extremely extremely high. Only S+ geniuses qualify, and even many S+ geniuses find it hard to reach. Therefore, even without having seen any members of the elite camp, everyone was still excited, their eyes fixed on Zhu Xing, eagerly awaiting the appearance of their idol.
Human race elite training camp? So Ling Xiao came too, someone in the crowd exclaimed.
Inside Zhu Xing's camp, Si Kongshue's expression was cold, but there was anticipation hidden in her eyes. Little girl, your spring heart is stirring. I told you before, showing SS-level talent means you can be with Ling Xiao every day. The voice of the extreme cold supreme echoed in her mind. No, I said before, the next time I see Ling Xiao, I must surpass him. Si Kongshue replied firmly. The extreme cold supreme looked helplessly at this strong-willed disciple. If she knew Ling Xiao's true strength, her goal would probably be hard to achieve.
Reaching the Grandmaster realm at 15, her talent was no longer SS level, but SSS level. Not to mention Ling Xiao's ruthless soul immortality technique.
The combination of these two makes it very likely that he will step into the Realm Lord realm in the future. The Realm Lord is the pinnacle that the extreme cold supreme longs for.
Alright, work hard. Maybe this secret realm hides rare treasures.
I estimate that person's level is at least Universe Realm, possibly even Domain Lord
level.
If it really is Domain Lord level, with his inheritance, it's not impossible for you to catch up to Ling Xiao, the extreme cold supreme encouraged.
I will do my best, master.
Si Kongshue nodded repeatedly, completely unaware of the deeper meaning behind the words.
Only with the inheritance of 2 domain lords could one possibly surpass Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's talent was terrifyingly extraordinary.
Buzz. Suddenly, a fluctuation appeared in the distant sky, and a massive spaceship several thousand kilometers in diameter tore through the void, heading straight for the chaotic star system.
Over 10,000 human geniuses were instantly invigorated.
The Guardian has arrived. Great. The junior brothers and sisters from the Genius Training Camp have also come.
They haven't returned since entering the camp. I really want to see brother Luo Yu.
I heard his swordsmanship has reached the master level, and he's also handsome.
What's so great about Luo Yu? Xu Yuntian's younger brother is the real handsome one.
He survived an attack by a planetary-level powerhouse and is hailed as the strongest human body cultivator in 10,000 years.
I heard a human SS-level genius has appeared. I wonder if we can meet him.
So what if he's SS level? He's only at the Grandmaster realm. We can all defeat him. Even so, he is undoubtedly destined to be the #1 human genius in the future. These people are all S+ geniuses, almost all at the Grandmaster level. Everyone held their breath and focused, waiting for a miracle to happen. His face was full of curiosity. He couldn't wait to see the super geniuses from the human elite training camp. These geniuses are all S+ level, and more than 30% of the people in the arena have previously entered the human elite training camp.
In the eyes of outsiders, these geniuses are unattainable, but to them, they are just junior schoolmates.
Even geniuses who have never entered the training camp are overshadowed and made to shine by these elites.
Boom!
The spaceship shook violently, crashing into the protective range of the formation. Crack! The cabin door slowly opened, and hundreds of geniuses wearing the elite human training camp combat suits gradually flew out. Leading them was Luo Yu, a young man in a black combat suit with muscles bulging like steel, and Xu Yuntian, a swordsman draped in a white robe, with 9 6th-rank lower-grade long swords floating around him. They were the strongest geniuses of this training camp session, both possessing power reaching the 9th heaven of the Grandmaster level.
Among the crowd, the senior trainees recognized them and warmly welcomed them one after another. However, when counting the number of people, someone frowned. 877. One less? Where is the SS-level genius Ling Xiao? Didn't come? Could he be afraid? Nonsense, he's an SS-level genius.
If he were really dead, it would be a huge loss. It would be strange if he didn't come. But if he's so afraid of death, how can he lead the human race in the future?
The discussion instantly erupted.
Si Kongshue was stunned, looking around for Ling Xiao's figure.
Ling Xiao afraid?
Although his strength isn't the very top, it's far beyond those young prodigies. The Supreme of Extreme Cold sneered disdainfully. I know his strength and also know he is bold. Hearing the master say this, Si Kongshue felt somewhat relieved.
All you human geniuses. An old and heavy voice sounded.
The digital human guardians flew out from the spaceship, and the leader was not the Luo Tian guardian, but the second strongest human guardian, Zun Yuan. Although Zun Yuan privately called Luo Tian Old Luo because he was the oldest martial god among the existing stellar-level strongmen, in public Zun Yuan was still the second in command of the human race. Guardian Zun Yuan's voice was resolute. This secret realm assessment is the key to the rise of the human race. You must give it your all to strive for more rewards.
Helping each other is the only way to create a future together. Only when the human race is strong can you and your descendants have a better future. As soon as the words fell, all the geniuses exchanged glances, transforming into streaks of light that rushed straight toward the spatial rift. Among them were planetary-level experts, exuding an imposing aura. Old Luo, out of respect for your age, are you going in? The Scarlet Guardian asked the nearby star-level experts. We old folks don't need to go. Someone must stay outside to guard, one said quietly. I suspect there's already a traitor among the human race who has leaked the information to the other 4 great races. Yeah, getting older, it's hard to gain anything anything by going in. You go ahead first.
Ling Xiao is here. Protecting him is up to you. Xi Lian's words brought knowing smiles from several guardians, who all nodded in response.
On my way.
The Scarlet Guardian's gaze was firm as he rushed into the spatial rift without hesitation.
Master, let's go too.
A dense crowd surged into the space. Xikong Shui's heart stirred, and she quickly flew toward the secret realm's entrance.
Buzz. Amid the spatial fluctuations, Xikong Shui's figure vanished, entering the secret realm. VZZZ.
One genius after another traversed the secret realm, appearing under a different starry sky. The starry sky was vast, and beneath their feet lay an endless continent, awe-inspiring.
The planet-level powerhouses' expressions changed drastically, their shock unmistakable. This secret realm is actually this huge.
The previously explored galaxy secret realms had diameters of at most 10 million kilometers, but this place far exceeds 10 million.
Could it really be the legendary Star Sea-level secret realm? Great!
Heaven bless our human race, this is a Star Sea-level secret realm.
If we can obtain treasures from it, our race will dominate the galaxy. Everyone was excitedly discussing, the atmosphere boiling. The Shanghai-class secret realm is actually this vast?
Among the crowd, the Scarlet Guardian's expression slightly changed. As soon as she spoke, everyone immediately quieted down and turned toward her.
This glance caused everyone's expressions to change drastically. Lord Scarlet Guardian. It is indeed Lord Scarlet Guardian. Greetings, Lord Scarlet Guardian. Planet-level and Grandmaster-level experts respectfully saluted in unison. No need for formalities.
This time, the secret realm's level far exceeded expectations. It's all based on luck.
I'll try first, and you can come later.
The Scarlet Guardian spoke calmly, red energy erupting from his body, lifting all those who saluted, and swiftly flying toward that continent.
Buzz.
Upon touching the continent, an energy fluctuation instantly swept through the entire body.
Beep.
Testing in progress, talent barely meets the standard, entry permitted. The cold electronic voice sounded, the face of the Scarlet Guardian changed drastically, a chill running down her spine.
The talent is only barely meeting the standard?
Her heart darkened. The previous Tatar planetary level powerhouse had S-level talent. It seems S+ is just barely qualified. The standards were more stringent than imagined.
Everyone, come in.
The Scarlet Guardian turned around and gave orders to the many human prodigies behind him. Everyone was excited and flew towards the continent. The first to enter was a 7,000-year-old planetary-level 4th-tier strongman, obviously just trying his luck. Then more planetary-level strongmen entered one after another.
Beep.
Large-scale scan, 334 people detected, 254 unqualified, immediate extermination. The sudden voice caused the faces of the planetary 4th-tier strongmen to change drastically, and those around them also turned pale.
Puff 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 puff.
Invisible energy suddenly erupted, instantly crushing all unqualified individuals within the continental barrier. Blood gushed out, turning into a blood mist that filled the sky. However, among the dead were those whose talents far surpassed the survivors.
But he died.
At this moment, everyone suddenly stopped flying.
What on earth is going on?
The Scarlet Guardian's face changed drastically, shock barely concealed.
She quickly pulled up everyone's information, her gaze sharp as lightning, rapidly detecting patterns.
Wait, all those who died were old.
No, it's not just about age. Their lifespan consumption exceeded 30%.
The data shows that these deceased planetary-level experts all lived past 3,000 years. Those who survived all have more than 3,000 years of lifespan remaining.
I see. Strong experts choosing successors would never pick those with too little remaining lifespan.
After all, if they die before breaking through to a new realm, all their early efforts would be wasted. The surrounding strong individuals quickly deduced this pattern as well. Xi Lian is already 20,000 years old, but the lifespan of a stellar-level strong individual can reach 100,000 years, making her age equivalent to that of an ordinary 20-year-old. Thinking of this, her heart tightened. Fortunately, the other guardians did not come, otherwise, no one would have been able to hold on. That means, even if Lord Wushan comes, he still can't enter here. Xi Lian's expression was grave, knowing that this time they could only rely on themselves in the secret realm. Those with less than 70% of their lifespan remaining, all withdraw. Return immediately to report to the other guardians. Her words forced a large number of strong warriors to reluctantly retreat. After all, most of them had already consumed more than 30% of their lifespan. All the geniuses who had gone through the genius training camp could only leave, having exceeded the age limit by the time they graduated. The only exception was the geniuses from the human race genius training camp. Except for a few old students who were about to reach 1,000 years old, everyone else stayed. Everyone cautiously ventured deeper into the secret realm, happily discovering that everything was safe. Everyone passed the talent test. More than 10,000 people, now only a little over 1,000 remain. Xikong Shui's eyes lit up, her hope for inheritance suddenly increased. Without hesitation, she rushed swiftly into the secret realm. Beep. Detected that the number of qualified talents is less than 3,000. Inheritance mode cannot be activated. A cold electronic prompt suddenly sounded in the air, shocking everyone.
Unable to activate the inheritance mode? Could it be that those who died sacrificed themselves in vain?
It's already very difficult to gather 1,000 S+ geniuses of the human race race with at least 70% of their lifespan remaining, and now we need 3,000.
Does that mean we have to cooperate with the other 4 major races? Xi Lian's face turned ashen.
Although she knew that other races were about to intervene and the secret realm had to be opened, this was precisely why the human race was eager to get ahead and obtain the inheritance first. Now the plan was completely shattered. She was furious and wanted to rush into the secret realm.
B. Unauthorized entry into the inheritance continent without activating inheritance mode will result in immediate death.
The cold alert suddenly sounded, instantly intimidating the impulsive Qilian. Fortunately, she was not wiped out immediately, or it would have been a regret beyond measure.
There's even a limit on the number of people. What's going on?
The extreme cold supreme was full of doubts. Judging by the scale of the secret realm, it is definitely at the domain lord level.
But why does a domain lord level secret realm limit the number of heirs? There are simply no SSS level or above geniuses here. Since top tier geniuses are lacking, we can only make up for it with numbers.
The Supreme of Extreme Cold quickly deduced the truth. The intelligent core controlling the secret realm grew anxious due to no one inheriting for a long time. If that is truly the case, the danger of this inheritance will greatly increase. Indeed, if the talent is strong enough, there is no need for a limit on the number of people.
System B. Talent barely meets the standard. Do you want to enter the inheritance site alone?
The prompt suddenly sounded, striking directly into Sikong Shue's mind.
She was stunned. Master, did you hear that?
She hurriedly transmitted her voice.
I heard it. Even SS-level geniuses are scrambling for it. Don't hesitate. Go. With me here, there's no danger.
The voice of the extreme cold supreme was steady and confident.
But master, if I go down directly, won't others suspect? It's too conspicuous.
Sikong Shue was anxious.
Don't be afraid. The smart brain has already hidden you.
Trust me. Fly a few meters and look back. Sikong Shue tentatively flew out more than 10 meters, looked back, and was surprised to see a virtual projection standing quietly, exactly like himself. She flew in front of Qi Lian, and sure enough, the other party's gaze penetrated through, completely unaware.
Amazing. Is this the technology of an advanced civilization? She was full of admiration.
Hurry down, that brat Ling Xiao is coming. You won't get any of the good stuff. The extreme cold supreme urged. She felt relieved in her heart. Ling Xiao was busy cultivating and hadn't arrived at the critical moment, so the treasure might still belong to them. But in reality, Ling Xiao had long analyzed with his 10th level intelligent brain and concluded, without a desolate level talent, no one could truly obtain the inheritance. No matter how desperate one was, this was a domain lord level inheritance. Without sufficient talent, it was simply impossible to approach. The secret realm means death. No one is willing to let mediocrity snatch it away. Even if Sikong Shui and the others pass the assessment, they can only obtain cosmic level treasures. In the future, they will bring stronger geniuses back, and one day an archaic level powerhouse will emerge. The extreme cold supreme clearly understood that cosmic level treasures were already a great gain. He would wait for Sikong Shue's talent to improve before aiming for the ultimate inheritance. The two of them dove down together and quickly landed. B. The inheritance assessment begins. Pass 3 levels to obtain the universe level inheritance of the secret realm master. The prompt sound rang again, and Sikong Shue was puzzled. Master, isn't this a domain lord level inheritance? How did it become universe level? The extreme cold supreme smiled bitterly. Maybe the secret realm master is very rich and bought a domain level secret realm. Don't overthink it, just focus on breaking through. Sikong Shue nodded without any doubt. Universe level is already very good. I'm afraid I won't even get a domain level. Sigh, poor kid. It's all my fault for being useless as a master. The extreme cold supreme was helpless, like a parent watching their child go hungry. B. Level 1 Combat Ability Assessment. Defeat 10 waves of enemies. A prompt suddenly sounded in the sky, and the atmosphere instantly grew tense. Roar. The earth suddenly erupted with a roar. Rumble. In the next moment, the silhouette of a colossal beast burst out from underground. A huge muddy hand broke through the soil and swung towards Sikong Shue like thunder. That is a 3rd-ranked 10-star Earth Spirit Beast. The voice of the extreme cold supreme suddenly rang out, striking directly into Sikong Shue's mind. Sikong Shue remained calm and fearless, suddenly slashing his long sword towards the sky. Her realm had risen to the early innate stage, with true chi condensed and her soul poised for transformation. The ordinary Earth Spirit Beast before her was not worth mentioning at all. The sword light exploded like dazzling lightning, cleaving the Earth Spirit Beast's massive paw in two with a single strike. The severed paw slammed heavily onto the ground, the gap facing directly towards Sikong Shue. Under the blow, she remained motionless, not a hair out of place, completely unharmed. A roar shook the sky, the earth trembled, and a giant, 100 meters tall and made entirely of earth, slowly took shape. The severed hand instantly healed, and the Earth Spirit Beast roared as it swung a devastating punch. Master said that elemental spirits can only be killed by supernatural powers. Then use the power of extreme cold to kill. Sikong Shue's cold gaze focused, and he forcefully pushed forward with his left palm. The coldness erupted like a glacial flood, instantly freezing the entire Earth Spirit Beast. With a loud crash, the giant mud beast shattered into countless fragments, and the star core slowly fell into her fair palm.
Congratulations on passing the first round of the first test.
The second round is about to begin, the prompt sounded calmly. A distant roar suddenly rose as a herd of starry sky wild bulls charged angrily forward. 10 wild bulls, all reaching the 10th heaven of the innate realm, their true chi surging, their strength surpassing the previous earth spirit beasts. Sikong Shui touched the tip of her toe, sword light burst forth, and her figure leapt into the air. Cold heaven sword technique. 10 sword rays, each 100 meters long, streaked across the sky like meteors, striking directly at the herd of wild bulls. A deafening roar shook the sky, dust and smoke filled the air, and a biting cold swept through. As the dust settled, all 10 barbarian bulls lay on the ground, lifeless. The first 2 rounds were too easy. Sikong Shui frowned slightly, puzzled. The extreme cold supreme spoke solemnly. This was just an appetizer. The real test comes in the next 8 rounds.
Sikong Shui's expression was grave, showing no sign of relaxation. The sky roared again with beast cries, and a new true chi level 2-star beast appeared, easily slain. Then, true chi level 3, 4, and 5-star beasts appeared one after another, each effortlessly defeated. The true chi 4-turn star beast's power is 4 times hers, yet it still struggles against her sharpness. The 7th round, the real challenge arrives. A Grandmaster Realm 1st Heaven star beast appears, with only true chi 1-turn, but possessing S-level talent. She, at the innate realm 10th heaven, would find it difficult to win without extraordinary aptitude. Sikong Shui's eyes were sharp, ready to strike. As the power of extreme cold was unleashed, the enemy was instantly killed. Sikong Shui furrowed his brows tightly. The challenge ahead had only just begun. Buzz. The air suddenly trembled, and a massive earth-walking dragon was teleported in. Its aura was fierce, reaching the 2nd level of the Grandmaster realm. Although it is still just a beginner-level true essence, its strength is twice that of the previous star beast. This is only the 8th round. Sikong Shui did not hesitate. The extreme cold power erupted once again. This time, after a fierce battle lasting 100 rounds, amidst the flashes of blades and swords, she finally unleashed the SS-level Ice Spirit Star Flame, and the cold flame instantly devoured the life of the Earth Dragon. Using Ice Spirit Star Flame in the 8th round already, Master, do I still have hope? She gasped, her eyes filled with unease. The Extreme Cold Supreme said in a deep voice, that's right, this Earth-walking dragon now requires an S+ talent to defeat. In the next round, a star beast at the Master Realm Triple Heaven level will appear. Without an SS-level talent, victory is impossible. Although you are an SS-level genius and can barely cope, your skills are not yet proficient. The enemy in the 10th round is likely at the Master Realm Quintuple Heaven level. Without an SSS-level talent, you simply cannot kill it. The voice of the Extreme Cold Supreme was as heavy as a mountain. Even Universe-level strong warriors require an SSS-level talent to select an heir. The secret realm owner is at the Domain Lord level. Below the Wild level talent, you don't even qualify for the assessment. Sikong Shui smiled bitterly. It seems I am still too weak, Master. The Extreme Cold Supreme smiled. Don't be afraid, I am here. The opponent's intelligence core has not yet detected it. I can lend you my Extreme Cold Holy Power. That is Wild level power, which will definitely allow you to sweep away everything. This Extreme Cold Sacred Power is astonishingly difficult to cultivate. The Extreme Cold Supreme had not mastered it at the same age. Back then, only succeeding at the planetary level. Now lending it to Sikong Shui is equivalent to granting her invincible support. I understand, Master. Sikong Shui clenched her fists, knowing that relying on herself was not enough, but she would never give up easily. Roar! The opponent for the 9th round appeared, as expected, a star beast at the 3rd level of the Grandmaster realm. Sikong Shui's footsteps were like the wind, the Ice Spirit Starflame danced wildly, the battle fiercely continued for 20 minutes, and finally, the opponent was arduously slain. Roar! Before catching a breath, a thunderous roar erupted from the depths of the starry sky, a terrifying star beast 200 meters tall rapidly descended, and the earth trembled violently. Boom! At that moment, the extreme cold holy power within Sikong Shui suddenly burst forth, like an icy storm sweeping out. Buzz! With a sweep of this powerful force, the star beast instantly froze, frost spreading all over its body. Crack! Then it exploded, turning into countless fragments scattered across the sky. The scene was soul-shaking. The terrifying extreme cold holy power made her heart race, unsure when she could fully control it. B. Tester detected activating new energy, extreme cold holy power, level, wild. Inheritance officially begins. Pass 3 trials to obtain the power of the secret realm's master. The inheritance of the domain lord level powerhouse, the full power of the Dark Supreme. Due to the reassessment of your talent level, an additional 3 matches are granted. Just as the extreme cold supreme strike fell, a clear prompt suddenly sounded in the sky. The appearance of the extreme cold sacred power caused Sikong Shui's talent to be directly judged as a powerful wild level. This also means that the real assessment has officially begun. A true legacy? It turns out to be the power of a domain lord level expert? Sikong Shui shouted in shock, her heart suddenly racing. What? A domain lord level legacy? I misjudged, little girl, we're in luck. The extreme cold sovereign was so shocked he could hardly believe it. Master, did you know all along? Sikong Shui asked suspiciously, but she quickly sensed something was wrong. The extreme cold supreme could cleverly
cleverly concealed the existence of an 11th level intelligent brain. There was no way he didn't know that this brain had reached the 11th level. Only a domain lord level powerhouse could possess such an intelligent brain.
Ahem, don't wrong master, I really didn't know.
The extreme cold supreme hurriedly denied. Sikong Shui understood in her heart that master was protecting her pride. Master, I know I am still weak now, but I will do my best and not let you down. Her eyes were firm, and her voice was heavy. As the words fell, the extreme cold supreme was deeply moved. Good. Master and disciple join forces to destroy that useless Ling Xiao, he shouted excitedly. Despite this, a strange feeling inexplicably arose in Sikong Shui's heart. Under the starry sky, all the human strongholds wore solemn expressions. The martial god has instructed that when the outsiders arrive, let them come. Under no circumstances should conflicts harm the human race, the Zuanyuan guardian said in a deep voice. The gathering of the four great races meant that a bloody battle was inevitable. The formation could hold for several hours, but that was under the condition of facing a single stellar realm 5th heaven or above stronghold. The four clans joined forces, with countless strong warriors. The formation would inevitably break quickly, lasting at most a few hours.
1 hour is meaningless, it's better to let them in. After all, the final assessment depends on talent.
Ling Xiao's talent absolutely crushes all rivals. In that case, let's quietly wait for Ling Xiao to emerge. I wonder when this kid will finish. The guardian Luo Tian sighed, his gaze fixed on the peak level 6-stage spaceship. Inside the spaceship, Ling Xiao was striving hard to break through. Ding! Congratulations, host. After 10 minutes of practicing gun techniques, proficiency has increased by 10,000. Skill level has risen to the realm level, 2nd stage, 0/30. Ding! Congratulations, host. After 1 minute of body repair, health points have increased by 40,000. Health points have reached 40 million, and the realm has advanced to Grandmaster 3rd stage. Ding! Congratulations, host. After 1 minute of soul repair, soul points have increased by 25,000. Soul points have reached 10 million, and the soul realm has advanced to Grandmaster 1st stage. At this moment, the system notifications rang continuously. Ling Xiao originally planned to stay for half an hour longer but ended up staying a full 40 minutes, raising his health realm to the powerful Grandmaster 3rd stage. Only with sufficient strength can one fear nothing. Ding! Congratulations, host. Your martial realm and soul realm have been stably upgraded.
Upgrading to Grandmaster realm.
Immortal divine body, innate law body control explosively enhanced. Immortal divine body, physical body repair speed times 10. Soul repair speed times 10. Physical body durability increased times 10. Soul endurance increased times 10. Combat power bonus soars to 1000%. Innate law body, activate tens of millions level talent blessing. 3 sharp alert tones exploded into Ling Xiao's mind, and his vision suddenly bright. The physical body fragmentation degree dropped from 1 in 1,000 to 1 in 10,000. The soul fragmentation degree even dropped to 1 in 1,000. In other words, the soul can be torn into 1,000 pieces. The undying soul technique instantly broke through to the 7th level of fragmentation, and combat power surged by 128 times at once. The degree of physical body fragmentation has increased tenfold, and the durability after repair has multiplied several times. The repair speed has also increased tenfold, making cultivation efficiency nearly dozens of times faster. More importantly, Ling Xiao's berserk absorption still has room for improvement. After a perfect breakthrough, the cultivation speed can surge several times more. With this series of enhancements, the cultivation speed is bound to reach 100-fold. Previously, 25,000 soul points were absorbed per minute. Now it skyrockets to 2.5 million per minute. In 1 hour, it reaches as high as 150 million. The realm will surge wildly to the 4th or 5th level, and the violent absorption loophole has not yet been fixed. If successfully repaired, the effect will multiply several times. First, raise the fragmentation and violent absorption to a perfect state, then talk about the rest. Ling Xiao did not hesitate at all, unleashing his own soul and body. Boom! In an instant, Ling Xiao's entire body turned into a blood mist filling the sky, leaving only a fingernail-sized piece of flesh. Buzz! A powerful force injected into the flesh fragments, rapidly reconstructing the body at an incredibly terrifying speed. Within the sea of consciousness, the soul frantically restored itself, fully returning within seconds. The soul's texture suddenly solidified tenfold. The energy absorption speed remained unchanged, but the rate of physical damage significantly decreased. Ding! Congratulations, host. Your berserk absorption proficiency has perfectly broken through. Blood absorption speed has soared from 40 times to 80 times. Soul absorption speed has increased from 25 times to 50 times. Ding! Congratulations, host. Your soul fragmentation level has risen to the 7th tier. Power boost increased by 128 times. The alert sounds exploded in succession. The innate law body control multiplied tenfold, and Ling Xiao instantly brought berserk absorption to its peak. Both the berserk absorption level and repair speed have improved. Blood and soul absorption speeds have doubled, and cultivation speed has doubled again. Now the cultivation speed has steadily surpassed 100-fold. Ling Xiao did not hesitate, sacrificing flesh and blood to cultivate for 1 minute. Ding! Congratulations, host. Your chi and blood increased by 4 million after after 1 minute of restoration.
Ding!
Congratulations, host, your soul increased by 2.5 million after 1 minute of restoration. 1 minute, chi and blood surged by 4 million, soul power increased by 2.5 million.
This speed is simply unbeatable. At this rate, in less than an hour, both realm and soul power will surge multiple levels. Ling Xiao quickly opened the attribute panel. Attribute table. Name, Ling Xiao. Number of repairs, 0 out of 6. Martial Arts Realm, Grandmaster 4th level. Spiritual Realm, Grandmaster 1st level.
Health 44 million, 1 point equals 30,000 tons of strength. Soul
13.1 million.
Profession, Formation Master, 5th tier Supreme, Legendary, 0/100 million. Skills, Marksmanship Dual Realm, 1600%, 10,000/300,000. Agility, Master Peak, 900%, 70,000/100,000. Talents, Undying Divine Body, Immortal Level, Combat Power * 1000%.
Innate Law Body, Desolate Level, Blessing 10 million times, 9 Heavens Starflame, Desolate Level, Dark Demon Flame, SSS Level.
Cultivation Techniques, Soul Immortality Art, Eternal Level, 6th rank Shattered, 128x. Demon Blood Escape, 10th rank Frenzied Absorption, 7th rank Supreme, Proficient. Martial Skills, Falling Star Spear Technique, 6th rank Supreme, 1500%. Meteor Fire Rain, 6th rank Supreme, 1300%. Flame Step, 6th rank Supreme, 1300%. Black Hole Battle Body, 6th rank Supreme, 1300%. Equipment, Divine Martial Set, 10th rank Medium Quality, Black Flame Spear, 7th rank Medium Quality. Starry Sky Thunder Wings, 8th rank Medium Quality. Beast Pet, none. Normal Combat Power, Planet Realm, 4th layer. Maximum Combat Power, Planet Realm, 8th layer. Ling Xiao's overall combat power suddenly surged, leaping across 5 minor realms.
Yet his true realm only advanced by 2.
The remaining 3 realm gaps were entirely filled by those newly awakened talents and powers.
An 8-fold strength difference propelled Ling Xiao's talent to a much higher level.
Even Xiao Wu couldn't accurately assess his rank, as Ling Xiao had never unleashed his full true power.
My talent is at least at the flood level, and might even break through to the universe level. If that's really the case, I can easily conquer the secret realm before me. I just have to be careful of the conspiracies of those cosmic powerhouses.
Ling Xiao sneered coldly, his gaze sharp as a cold blade. If anyone dares to come for soul usurpation, I want to see if they can withstand my soul refining technique. He knew he had become strong enough to shake heaven and earth, but facing opponents at the cosmic level or even the domain lord realm, these beings live for billions of years,
and would never fall easily. Residual souls, soul usurpation, and bizarre methods emerge endlessly. If he encountered these, Ling Xiao might not be able to escape unscathed. Time was pressing, with just over 5 hours left until the repair attempts reset the next day. This secret realm journey could not end now. Let's go!
Before the other 4 great races arrive, let's take all the treasures first. Ling Xiao stood up without hesitation, and the space around him suddenly trembled. Buzz!
In an instant, he appeared in front of the cabin door.
Click! The cabin door slowly opened, and a sharp gaze pierced deep into the starry sky.
Ling Xiao is awake.
In the shattered starry sky, the guardian Luo Tian's eyes lit up, immediately looking towards the spaceship.
The surrounding strong figures all followed his gaze, watching the cabin door.
A young man carrying a black gun on his back flew over at an astonishing speed, far surpassing that of a Grandmaster level expert.
This speed is too fast. Didn't he just break through to Grandmaster? No, Grandmaster 8 Heavens. He reached this level at 15 years old. Hiss, a 15-year-old Grandmaster 8 Heavens? That's impossible.
Ling Xiao's speed shocked the entire audience, and the expressions of all the strong warriors changed drastically.
What terrified them even more was his realm. 15 years old, Grandmaster 8th Heaven. SSS level genius. Absolutely top-tier talent. It's really true. Ling Xiao is indeed a top-level genius. Great.
With him, our human race will surely rise. The most excited were none other than Luo Tian the Guardian and the other human guardians.
Several guardians laughed out loud, their blood boiling with excitement. Even the distant powerful enemies were secretly shocked by this. It's confirmed.
Ling Xiao's realm has broken through to the 8th heaven of the Grandmaster level. A 15-year-old boy has already reached such a peak, truly astonishing. However, the traitors within the human race had long secretly passed the news out. Ling Xiao, you've finally emerged from seclusion, the Luo Tian Guardian exclaimed excitedly as he stepped forward. Sorry to keep everyone waiting, Ling Xiao said with a faint smile, his tone confident. Not long at all, even if we had to wait 1,000 years, we would be willing. The Guardians laughed heartily, their excitement barely contained. The Luo Tian Guardian's expression grew serious as he reported the current situation in detail. Given your strength and the potential threats from various races ahead, I suggest you refrain from acting rashly for the time being.
Ling Xiaotian is exceptionally gifted, SSS level.
Even without inheritance, reaching the Galaxy Realm or even the Starsea Realm in the future is just a matter of time.
If something happens now, the Guardians will never be at ease for life. I understand the intentions of all the seniors, but if I fear even this small risk, how can I call myself strong? strong.
Ling Xiao said firmly, rest assured, I will not fall easily. As his words fell, the guardians fell silent. Finally, Luo Tian nodded heavily. Good, be sure to be careful.
Ling Xiao smiled and said goodbye.
With the tip of his toe touching the void, he broke through the spatial rift and his figure sped away.
Boom!
Amid the spatial fluctuations, he passed through the secret realm, and the scene before his eyes suddenly opened up. What came into view was a vast starry sky, and beneath his feet was a huge, boundless continent, its edges disappearing beyond the horizon. Ling Xiao was shocked in his heart, estimating the diameter to be at least several hundred billion kilometers.
What kind of concept is this?
Earth's diameter is only a few thousand kilometers, 10 times a million, 100 million times 10,000, 100 billion kilometers. The area is a trillion times that of Earth, and the volume is an astronomical figure. This secret realm is extraordinary. Space here is extremely precious, and unless one is a domain lord level powerhouse, it is simply unaffordable.
As expected, it's a domain lord's secret realm.
Ling Xiao chuckled inwardly. This time, the opportunity has come.
But it's strange, such a secret realm exists within the human territory? Perhaps this was once the domain of an ancient powerhouse.
Wanting to get there, he headed straight for where the human strongholds were.
Beep.
Talent requirement met. Entry permitted. A prompt came from the sky.
Is someone coming? The guardians were alert.
It's a young boy, wearing the exclusive Guardian War God armor.
Could he be the legendary SS-level genius Ling Xiao? Finally, a living person.
As soon as Ling Xiao appeared, he immediately attracted the attention of the surrounding geniuses, each unable to hide their excitement.
Ling Xiao. Luo Ye flew over to greet him.
I've been waiting for you for a long time, she questioned. Just broke through in cultivation, delayed for a moment. Ling Xiao responded calmly, his gaze immediately locking onto the inconspicuous Sikong Shui in the corner. Soul fluctuations are abnormal, not Sikong Shui's. Ling Xiao raised his brows, keenly sensing something unusual, and immediately activated the undying soul technique, preparing to uncover the truth. In an instant, he suddenly realized that the she who was indifferent to Sikong Shui was not a real person at all. It seems she has already reached the threshold of inheritance. The extreme cold supreme fruit really gave her an unfair advantage.
That brat is truly a trouble.
Ling Xiao sneered, understanding in his heart that the inheritance had been snatched first by Sikong Shui.
Beep. Detection complete.
Your talent has reached the wild level, qualifying you for the assessment.
Upon successful assessment, you will directly receive
the dark supreme inheritance of the secret realm's master.
Please proceed to the continent to take the assessment. A prompt suddenly sounded in his mind. In an instant, he felt the surrounding power rapidly condense, actually manifesting a clone whose soul aura was almost identical to his own.
So this is how Sikong Shui passed in the past. A cold light flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes.
Since she had gone, how could he fall behind?
Without hesitation, he leapt into the air and swiftly flew toward the mainland, leaving behind a phantom to stall the others. While flying, his eyes scanned the ground, but he saw no sign of Sikong Shui.
Buzz. He landed steadily. What is the test?
Hurry up and tell me, I don't have time to waste, Ling Xiao said resolutely to the void. His arrogant attitude immediately stunned the intelligence controlling the secret realm.
There are 3 rounds in the inheritance assessment.
The first round requires going through 10 stages, with 1 test per stage, the intelligence reported calmly.
Enough talk, bring them all on at once.
Ling Xiao snorted coldly. As soon as he finished speaking, the intelligence in the sky instantly fell silent.
Damn it, are you here for an assessment or to challenge the hall?
How dare you demand 10 rounds?
If it were an ordinary genius,
the intelligence would have wiped them out instantly, but this wild-level genius before them is exactly the top talent needed for the inheritance.
Alright,
the intelligent brain reluctantly conceded.
In an instant, wild howls erupted all around, the thunderous roars of the beasts shaking the earth.
10 massive star beasts appeared, their strength ranging from Grandmaster level 4 to Grandmaster level 10, spanning 6 sub-levels, with a combat power difference of up to 64 times. Moreover, all 10 star beasts possessed 4th transformation strength, 4 times stronger than an ordinary Grandmaster level 10. In other words, Ling Xiao needed to increase his own combat power by 256 times to defeat them. If classified according to the usual levels, it would be equivalent to leaping from the 4th heaven of Grandmaster to the 2nd heaven of Planetary.
This is the terrifying power leap of a wild-level genius. Not bad at all.
Ling Xiao looked at these giant beasts, ranging from several thousand to tens of thousands of meters, and a cold sneer appeared at the corner of his mouth. Oomph! The next moment, a cold snort burst from his mouth, and dark energy instantly swept around like a raging tide. In an instant, the black energy barrier centered on Ling Xiao rapidly expanded, enveloping all directions. Puff, puff, puff. The star beast touched the barrier and instantly turned into a sky full of ashes. This scene completely stunned the intelligence brain monitoring everything. If it had a face, it would surely be covered in shock.
Ling Xiao actually possesses such terrifying combat power? Is he really a wasteland-level genius? What's the next round?
Ling Xiao asked the void without hesitation. If the treasure is snatched away by the Supreme of Extreme Cold, how could he let it go easily? He must clear the level at full speed. Congratulations on passing the first stage, preparing to teleport to the second stage. The intelligent brain seemed to see through his thoughts and, without hesitation, activated the teleportation array.
Buzz. With a wave of spatial fluctuation, Ling Xiao instantly disappeared from the spot. Linglong 3.1729 Part 1, Second Scene. In the endless dark space, a vast plaza floated above. In front of the plaza, a gigantic heavenly ladder stretched straight up to the sky. On the heavenly ladder, a graceful figure was struggling to climb. It was Sikong Shui. Buzz. The space shook violently, and Ling Zhao's figure suddenly appeared in the center of the plaza. He immediately caught the aura emanating from Sikong Shui, his gaze shooting straight up the sky ladder, seeing her firmly climbing upward. The second round, it's actually climbing the sky ladder?
Ling Xiao said coldly.
The intelligent brain quickly responded. That's right.
The climber who reaches the top will directly enter the next round.
This sky ladder has. Stop talking, I know.
Ling Xiao abruptly changed his tone, decisively cutting off the intelligent brain. The intelligent brain was left speechless, while Ling Xiao had already stepped forward, rushing towards the sky ladder.
Boom!
In an instant, a strong spiritual pressure enveloped Ling Xiao.
Testing willpower? Too easy.
Ling Xiao curled his lips into a cold smile. The intelligent brain explained, for every 1,000 steps climbed on this celestial ladder, the soul pressure doubles.
There are a total of
10,000 steps, with the soul pressure at the end reaching 1,000 times.
But as long as the will is firm, ordinary people can pass.
Ling Xiao rolled his eyes helplessly, thinking, I said I got it already, stop nagging. Without hesitation, he stepped onto the stairs. Swish! A shadow dashed toward the top like a meteor. The soul pressure suddenly increased, but it had no effect on Ling Xiao. Having cultivated the immortal soul technique, he faced such pressure with ease. 1,000-fold spiritual pressure does not require 1,000-fold spiritual power to sustain. 10 times the soul strength is enough to easily resist. This tenfold refers to the strength of the soul's essence, not a simple addition. Enhancing the soul's essence is extremely difficult. Only a soul mutation at the 10th level of the innate realm, or possessing powerful soul abilities and refined cultivation methods, can achieve this.
Those with extraordinary willpower can resist even stronger spiritual pressure.
Ling Xiao possesses all advantages in one body: a level 10 soul mutation, powerful spiritual energy, and top-tier cultivation techniques, with soul strength off the charts. In contrast, Sikong Shui has only a level 1 soul mutation, no enhancements at all, and her willpower alone supports her halfway.
Phew!
A sudden storm swept in. Normally, this fierce wind wouldn't shake her even a bit, but under this pressure, she could barely stand steady. In the storm, Sikong Shui staggered, nearly falling.
Buzz!
Ling Zhao's figure flashed, firmly catching Sikong Shui as she was about to fall.
Are you okay?
He smiled, warmth flickering in his eyes.
Sikong Shui snapped back to reality, her cheeks slightly flushed. Ling Xiao? The extreme cold supreme angrily transmitted his voice. You're here again? How come so soon? Ling Xiao was unwilling to back down. Since I'm here, how could I not come? For this inheritance, I must secure a good position.
The two exchanged sharp words, sparks flying everywhere.
Fuming with anger.
If Ling Xiao came, how could the master and disciple still play around? Stinky little brother, please have mercy on your sister. Look at us, an orphan and a widow, living such a hard life.
Can you let us have this inheritance?
At worst, I'll marry Xiao Shui to you. We're all family, no need to fight over it. Unable to scold her, the extreme cold supreme immediately switched to a softer approach, his eyes full of pleading, his movements coquettish, causing a chill to run through Ling Zhao's heart. Then let's choose together, practicing the techniques and martial skills together.
Anything I don't need, I'll give to you.
Ling Xiao spoke coldly, his words dripping with dominance. Whatever you leave behind, it's all yours.
All right, you decide.
The extreme cold sovereign's eyes lit up.
Leftovers? Those were cosmic level treasures, enough even to repair a divine
soul. She didn't care about cultivation techniques. After all, her cultivation resources in her previous life were by no means fewer than these.
Then it's settled. The two quickly finalized the deal.
Ling Xiao suddenly pulled Sikong Shui into his arms, the unexpected move instantly coloring her cheeks with a blush.
I'll take you up.
Ling Xiao smiled, and the soul barrier instantly enveloped Sikong Shui. With a step, his figure rushed toward the rooftop at the speed of light.
2 seconds later, they had reached the peak. The mastermind AI was so shocked that it was speechless. Who exactly is this person? Taking someone else up and still reaching the top so fast? Could the talent really be just at the desolate level?
Sikong Shui broke free from Ling Zhao's warm embrace, her head still dizzy.
This time my disciple is lucky.
Master, I just agreed with Ling Xiao that after he clears the level, the inheritance will be shared. The laughter of the extreme cold supreme suddenly echoed in Sikong Shui's mind. She was stunned, looking at Ling Xiao beside her, feeling a surge of emotion. If this inheritance fell into someone else's hands, it wouldn't be surprising if they fought to the death. Even biological father and son might turn against each other. But Ling Xiao was willing to share.
She suddenly became alert. Wait, master, you know Ling Xiao? Does he know you exist?
I am. When he saved you, I thought he had malicious intent, so I stepped in.
That's when I met him.
After he learned my name, he shamelessly begged to be my disciple, but unfortunately, my legacy is only passed to females, not males. The extreme cold supreme began to argue. Just a moment ago he said he wouldn't lie to his disciple, but now he's lying even
even more blatantly. That's strange, how could his personality possibly be one to ask others to be his master? Si Kong Shui wondered, but didn't expose him. What is the third test? Ling Xiao stood at the peak, his gaze firm, staring into the void. Click! As the words fell, a passage suddenly opened at the end of the heavenly ladder. A vast space instantly appeared before everyone's eyes. A colossal spaceship hundreds of billions of kilometers long was quietly docked in the distance. Hundreds of billions of kilometers. The sun was nothing but dust in front of it. This is the powerful 11th level spaceship, and excitement sparkled in Ling Xiao's eyes. After fixing the loopholes, it can directly upgrade to the 13th or 14th level? Damn, what level is the 13th or 14th? With a thought, Ling Xiao decided that this spaceship belonged to him and no one else. Stinky little brother, you can have this spaceship and the cultivation techniques and martial skills inside, but I'll take the rest. The extreme cold sovereign tested, clearly greed awakened by Ling Xiao's love for the spaceship. Let me choose first. Ling Xiao responded coldly, paying no attention. Buzz! A dazzling light suddenly gathered in front of the two. Soon, an elderly figure slowly appeared, standing upright before Ling Xiao and Si Kong Shui. He is precisely the guardian AI of this secret realm and also the core intelligence of this spaceship. After so many years, I have finally waited for you. The old man's voice was steady, with an excitement that was hard to conceal. The extreme cold supreme's eyes narrowed sharply, instantly alert. Wait, this is actually soul condensation. This is an intelligent life form. Ling Xiao's pupils contracted slightly. Xiao Wu had once said that only a 12th level intelligence could nurture a soul and become a true intelligent life form. And the person before me is obviously a rare super genius who was born with a soul at the 11th level. That's right, I am an intelligent life form. You can call me Black, Supreme of Extreme Cold. You may appear now. Black smiled and spoke, and as soon as the words fell, the Supreme of Extreme Cold's expression suddenly changed. The other party actually discovered me. But as an intelligent life form, Black's ability to recognize souls far surpasses the ordinary. Previously, the Extreme Cold Sovereign was able to hide by exploiting the weakness of intelligent life forms in soul scanning. However, Brack's ability has reached its limit, and even the remnant soul of a realm lord can hardly escape his sight. Buzz! The soul phantom of the Extreme Cold Sovereign instantly appeared before Brack. Supreme of Extreme Cold, I have been watching you since 10 million years ago. Blake's words thundered like an explosion, and the Supreme of Extreme Cold's pupils contracted sharply. Watching me since 10 million years ago? What exactly does this mean? The Supreme of Extreme Cold asked coldly. Watching. To put it bluntly, isn't it just surveillance? The story begins a billion years ago, Brack said solemnly. But to know the truth, you must first pass the legacy test left by my master. Only by passing it can you leave alive. Without saying more, Brack's expression was serious, not a joke. With this 11th level spaceship and his own intelligence, he could easily annihilate the remnant soul of the Extreme Cold Supreme. Ling Xiao sneered. Hurry up, I don't have time to waste. Hearing Black teasing, Ling Xiao interrupted rudely. Soon, the four great races will gather together. He had long planned to use the opportunity to exterminate the four races. The method was simply to fix the loopholes in this 11th level spaceship. By then, this spaceship will become his strongest weapon, wiping out the four major races and the Shadow Clan in one fell swoop. Then, he can fearlessly roam the vast universe. Black shook his head helplessly. In a billion years, he has hosted countless challengers, but never encountered one so arrogant. But thinking that Ling Xiao might possess talent beyond the Desolate level, even the Flood level, he also harbored a faint hope. A genius with Flood level aptitude without any training has potential dozens of times greater than an ordinary Flood level genius. In that case, enough talk, follow me. Black's expression was solemn as he turned and flew toward the massive spaceship. The group followed, weaving through the vast interior of the spaceship. Finally, they stopped in a huge, pitch-black, and deep cabin. Here, the darkness was like an abyss, swallowing all light, and even divine senses could not penetrate it. Even though Ling Xiao and the others possessed divine senses, they could not see a trace of light. Once inside, the world instantly plunged into endless darkness. It's actually a man-made dark domain. Your master was truly no ordinary person back then, the Extreme Cold Sovereign said in a deep voice, a grave expression flashing in his eyes. A domain, a powerful treasure that only top-level domain lords can master. Once inside the domain, the user is invincible. Unless the trapped person unleashes a stronger domain, even if their strength surpasses by several realms, they cannot shake the domain owner. The cost of creating this artificial domain was so high that even the Extreme Cold Supreme at his peak had to spend 90% of his fortune to build it. When my lord, the Dark Supreme, was dying, his momentum had already reached the Realm Lord level. Unfortunately, he ultimately fell due to severe injuries. If you want to know how he died, I will naturally tell you after you pass the assessment. Brack's words echoed in the darkness. The Extreme Cold Supreme's face changed drastically. The Dark Supreme's strength actually surpassed hers? She had previously regarded him as an ordinary domain lord and had greatly underestimated him. The gap between a first-level domain lord and a 10th-level domain lord is like heaven and earth. A 10th-level domain lord can kill tens of thousands of first-level domain lords with a single glance. As for the Realm Lord level, it far surpasses passes the 10th level, being countless times stronger. They possess their own miniature worlds. A miniature world is an evolved form of a domain capable of nurturing life. Buzz, as Brack's voice fell, a flood of information surged into the consciousness of Xikong Shui, Ling Xiao, and the Supreme Extreme Cold and Ancient Dark Magic Manual. After the transmission was complete, Brack slowly said, "The Dark Magic Manual was my lord's strongest technique in life, ranked alongside the Supreme Extreme Cold Scripture as one of the 8 sacred scriptures of the Casa Divine Kingdom. If anyone can proficiently cultivate it within 3 days and awaken the S-level ability Dark Power, they will become my lord's direct disciple and inherit all the legacies. The other 2 will be eliminated. The direct disciple may choose whether to spare them. The rest is up to you." Blake's tone was contemptuous, clearly not caring much about this cultivation method. The Extreme Cold Supreme was utterly shocked to hear that the other party actually knew the Extreme Cold Scripture. She had once guarded the Extreme Cold Scripture alone, only revealing it to a close friend who ultimately betrayed her. She was severely injured by a Realm Lord level expert, and if not for the Realm Lord's soul defense artifact, she would have died long ago. Now, the person in front of her actually knew about her past. The Dark Magic Scripture, also one of the 8 great scriptures, had once helped her raise her talent to the Desolate level through the Extreme Cold Scripture, becoming a powerful domain lord. Barring accidents, becoming a Realm Lord was just a matter of time. But because the scripture was exposed, she lost everything. She suddenly guessed that the death of this intelligent life owner before her was very likely also due to exposure caused by obtaining this cultivation method. Mastery in 3 days? Don't be ridiculous, the Extreme Cold Supreme said coldly. All 8 sacred texts reach level 12. 3 days is simply impossible. Back then, I chose Xikong Shui because he mastered it within a year, and that speed already shocked me. Before she finished speaking, the atmosphere suddenly grew tense, as if some crisis was approaching. 3 days? Absolutely impossible. If it were him, it would take at least 3 to 4 months to master it proficiently. But if someone could master it within 3 days, relying on the supreme power of the Dark Magic Scripture, then in just 10 million years, he could ascend to a Realm Lord. The lifespan of a Realm Lord is terrifying, lasting up to 10 billion years. With a defiant fate, one can even break through to the realm of the Divine King. So, this assessment is not aimed at you at all, the Extreme Cold Sovereign announced coldly. But Black was the first to speak. My assessment target is only one person, Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao's eyes flickered, and he smiled faintly. So confident in me? It seems you know my talent very well. He knew in his heart why the Ice Phantom Emperor happened to find the secret realm at this moment, and why the message was intercepted by himself. It was obviously all part of Black's scheme. But he was even more worried. Has he noticed the existence of the system, or seen through the abnormalities in my body? The system's voice suddenly sounded. Any existence that defies logic will be corrected by the system. Although it monitors billions of galaxies and records the host's entire life, it disguises all traces of system usage as innate talent awakenings. Ling Xiao immediately felt at ease. He was currently standing before a formidable enemy pondering system issues. If the system had been exposed, it would have been detected long ago. Clearly, the system had concealed all traces, and no one could sense it in the short term. Master it in 3 days? Easy. Ling Xiao laughed. This 12-level cultivation method, given his innate law body, 3 days is enough. Alright, let's begin. Black smiled, wanting to test whether Ling Xiao truly had a Hong-level talent. If there was no Hong-level talent, 3 months to master it would be the limit. If there was Hong-level talent, it would be difficult to master within at least half a month. After speaking, he slowly vanished. Little brother, don't underestimate the Dark Magic Scripture. When this technique is cultivated to its limit, it can awaken the arid-level talent Extreme Ene's sacred power. Not only that, the 12th level technique can enhance the power of the Extreme Ene's sacred power to surpass the realm of ordinary Hong-level talents, effectively elevating the talent directly to Hong level. This is precisely why it can stand alongside the other 7 great divine arts and become one of the 8 major techniques of the Kingdom of Casa. The Extreme Cold Sovereign said solemnly, even I have only awakened the Extreme Cold sacred power of the Extreme Cold sacred scripture, and so far have not been able to elevate it to the Hong level. Beside him, Xikong Shui hurriedly advised, Master, don't put pressure on Ling Xiao. Maybe he really can do it. The Extreme Cold Sovereign rolled his eyes. Nonsense. If he fails, we will all die. How can I not be anxious? Ling Xiao smiled and replied, within 3 days, it will be done. After speaking, he ignored everyone else, sat cross-legged in the void, and began to cultivate. Little brother, don't cry and admit defeat when the time comes. Face. The Extreme Cold Supreme saw Ling Xiao's expression and was so angry that he sat back down beside him, his face dark and coldly staring. Master, are we not cultivating anymore? Xikong Shui asked anxiously. Cultivate my ass. The Extreme Cold Supreme shouted angrily, both of us have an ice body constitution. Refining the Extreme Cold sacred scripture takes at least a few months, even a year to master. If we try to cultivate this dark magic scripture, it might take 10 years and we still wouldn't learn it. As soon as he finished speaking, the Extreme Cold Supreme suddenly lost heart. Forget it, I'll just refine the Extreme Cold sacred scripture. Hearing this, Xikong Shui could only nod
helplessly and began to focus on cultivating the extreme cold sacred scripture. Now, the only one they could rely on was Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao sat cross-legged suspended in the void, quickly sorting through the contents of the cultivation method in his memory, becoming more and more shocked as he read. This cultivation method actually has 5 levels of proficiency. Unlike the usual entry, proficient, expert, and perfect levels of ordinary methods, this dark demon scripture has an additional great achievement realm.
Entry, Awakening B-level Dark Power. Proficient, Awakening S-level Dark Power. Proficient, Awakened SSS level Extreme Power.
Mastery, Extreme Power evolves into Wild level Extreme Sacred Power. Perfection, Extreme Sacred Power sublimates into Flood level Talent with terrifyingly immense power. 12-tier cultivation method, extremely difficult to practice. Ling Xiao calmly analyzed in his heart. Even with his innate rule body, it would take him more than a decade or even several decades to reach the perfect realm. Unless I first upgrade the innate law body level, a glint flashed in Ling Xiao's eyes. After the breakthrough, the innate law body will advance to the Han level or even the Zhou level talent. At that time, cultivating the 12th level technique will be incredibly easy, and reaching the perfect realm in one go will no longer be a dream. He still had 6 repair opportunities, just enough to break through the limits of the innate law body and instantly ascend to a powerful Han level ability. However, I must not rush, Ling Xiao reminded himself. First, I need to seize the inheritance of that domain lord level powerhouse. The 6 repair opportunities are too precious to use all at once. Ling Xiao steadied his mind and began cultivating the dark demon scripture. The dark demon scripture communicates with the dense dark power between heaven and earth through the soul. As he cultivated, the dark power around him surged in like a tide, quickly infusing his entire body. Frenzied absorption, Ling Xiao shouted lowly, activating it directly. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. The dark power wildly corroded his soul at a suffocating speed, instantly approaching the zero boundary point. Frenzied absorption only accelerates the infusion of power. The speed of comprehension cannot be rushed. Cultivation and comprehension are 2 completely different realms. Ling Xiao's action was to shorten, as much as possible, the time required in the future to condense supernatural abilities such as Dark Force and Extreme Force. He once again fell into deep contemplation. With the innate law body enhanced by millions of comprehension points, he could see the complex and obscure operational paths in the dark demon scripture with absolute clarity. In an instant, he fully grasped the cultivation chapter of the dark demon scripture. Next, he could only rely on himself to continuously deepen his understanding, find the cultivation path that best suited him, improve his proficiency in the technique, and condense a powerful supernatural ability. Buzz! 10 minutes later, a black mark suddenly ignited in Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness, like the brightest star in the dark night, announcing that his power was gradually awakening. The dark light sphere suddenly blossomed. The surrounding accumulated dark energy instantly surged in wildly, and the sphere rapidly expanded at a terrifying speed. Eventually, a complete dark energy sphere floated above Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness, emitting a ghostly cold light. Ding! Congratulations, host, you have successfully cultivated the technique Dark Demon Scripture, Realm Lord level, to the entry stage, awakening the supernatural ability Dark Power, Grade B. The system prompt sounded calm and powerful in Ling Xiao's mind. He slightly raised the corner of his mouth, his eyes firm. Although his progress was much slower compared to other cultivation methods, mastering the basics in 10 minutes was already outstanding. Next is the proficiency stage. Ling Xiao's eyes flashed, and without hesitation, he threw himself back into cultivation. The power of his body and soul surged in unison. He was immersed in the dark domain, where even the supreme cold could not detect any trace of his cultivation. Although black was strong, it was an intelligent life form, and its only means of detection through divine sense was completely blocked by Ling Xiao's power of the undying soul decision. As his proficiency with the cultivation method increased, Ling Xiao's strength rapidly soared. Ding! Congratulations, host. Body repaired for 1 minute, vitality increased by 4 million. Ding! Congratulations, host. Soul repaired for 1 minute, soul value increased by 2.5 million. Ding! Congratulations, host. Body repaired for 1 minute, vitality increased by 4 million. Ding! Congratulations, host. Soul repaired for 1 minute, soul value increased by 2.5 million. The system prompt echoed through the sea of consciousness, the power of soul and body surging like a tide. Time passed, and in just 1 hour, Ling Xiao had already reached the 5th layer of the Grandmaster realm. Ding! Congratulations, host. Your chi and blood value has reached 80 million, leveling up to the 5th layer of the Grandmaster realm. Ding! Congratulations, host. Your chi and blood value has surpassed 280 million. Ding! Congratulations, host. Your soul value has broken through 170 million, advancing to the 6th layer of the Grandmaster realm. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully mastered the dark magic scripture, and your supernatural dark power has been elevated to S level. The dark power erupted with even deeper waves of energy, and Ling Xiao's aura grew increasingly fierce. But he did not stop. He continued to absorb the power. This was the perfect time for cultivation. After breaking through, a bloody storm was about to erupt. Outside the secret realm, the starry sky was vast. The human strongholds closely watched the the edges of the formation, wary of invasions from other races. Suddenly, spatial fluctuations surged, and one spaceship after another broke through the void. Tens of thousands of 6th-tier ships formed ranks, led by 4 7th-tier ships representing the strongest beings of different races. The airlock doors thundered open, and tens of thousands of talented individuals from various races descended. The skulls, towering 10 meters tall and entirely green, the burly, blue-skinned Tattars, the Crusoe with large eyes and human-like physiques, and the Sysos, small in stature but wielding heavy weapons, all appeared imposing and majestic. The leader-level emperors of the 4 clans looked down on all heroes with pride, their momentum like a rainbow, as the flames of war were about to ignite. The king, and also the Zyso emperor, the top elites of the 4 clans, each one a terrifying 8th-tier giant in the stellar realm. The moment they appeared, the expressions of all the human strongmen on the scene instantly darkened. Without the martial god, any one of the 4 could easily slaughter the human race. Not to mention, each tribe also brought along 30 to 40 stellar-level experts. The 4 great races with 1,000,000 years of heritage and the human race with only 100,000 years of heritage are worlds apart. This bunch of human scum actually got lucky and picked up the inheritance of a Star Sea realm expert. What a joke, but your doom has already arrived. Emperor Skull laughed wildly, his laughter tearing through the starry sky. His wild laughter activated the 7th-level formation protecting the human race, causing the formation to tremble violently. The end of the human race? I don't know, but I can guarantee that if you 4 great races dare to harm the human race, even within a single day, all your strong warriors will be reduced to ashes, the Zuinyuan guardian said coldly. His voice was as piercing as ice, igniting the fury of the people from the 4 great races, yet a trace of fear appeared on the faces of the strong warriors alone. They knew all too well that it was precisely because of their fear of that person that the human race had managed to survive until now. The guardian Zuinyuan speaks amusingly. We are all the 5 great races of the Milky Way, united as one. How could we have internal strife? Emperor Klasusu said with a smile. The tense atmosphere slightly eased. Old Lu is right. We are one family. Why spill blood like a river? Emperor Tatar grinned, his gaze fixed on the nearby rift in the starry sky, his greed barely concealed. Since this is a secret realm of the Milky Way, it's only fair for the 5 races to explore it together. The human race wants to monopolize it? Dream on. He spoke bluntly and dominantly. The school emperor snorted coldly, directly exposing their intentions. His master was the previous school emperor who was killed by the martial god, so he was especially keen on assassinating human geniuses. As soon as he spoke, the powerful figures of the 4 great races all stared coldly at the human race. In fact, the strongest humans were only at the 4th level of the stellar realm, with only 6 stellar-level experts. In their eyes, they were not even as good as a second-rate race. Many second-rate galactic races have far more stellar-level powerhouses than the human race, but it was precisely that martial god who secured the human race's steady place among the 5 major races. Facing the siege of hundreds of thousands of S+ geniuses from the 4 major races, tens of thousands of planetary-level powerhouses, and over 100 stellar-level experts, the hearts of the humans felt as heavy as 1,000 pounds. At this moment, the human geniuses fully realized the terrifying gap between themselves and the other races. Since the inheritance comes from the Milky Way, it should be explored jointly by the 5 major races. Formation Emperor, activate the formation. The Zuinyuan guardian suddenly smiled and turned to order the Formation Emperor. His decisiveness shocked the 4 major races. They had originally thought the Zuinyuan guardian would use martial god intimidation to make them hesitate. Unexpectedly, he directly activated the formation. Although the formation was powerless to withstand a real battle, if a fight broke out, Planet 4.8 would be destroyed, and everyone feared the martial god would take action. After all, even if the inheritance was seized, time was needed to assimilate it. Once the martial god made a move, the inheritance was very likely to be snatched away. Ahem, well then, thank you very much. Emperor Skull was also stunned. The nonsense prepared by the 4 great emperors was useless, and he could only respond awkwardly. Buzz! In the next moment, the entire shield suddenly lit up, its light bursting like a galaxy, shaking heaven and earth. Open it directly. The emperors of the 4 great races led the strongest geniuses of their clans, charging into the rift in the formation like sharp swords. In an instant, hundreds of thousands of top-tier experts surrounded the entrance to the secret realm, their momentum shaking the heavens. Are we going in? The Tatar emperor stared intently at the rift before him, tentatively asking the silent Zuinyuan guardian beside him. Easily. The geniuses of my human race have already rushed in. The Zuinyuan guardian smiled at the corner of his mouth, but there was a hint of helplessness in his eyes. Ling Xiao, oh Ling Xiao, so many talents have gone in these days, you must not mess up. The human tribe's strong warriors thought anxiously. Everyone, move out. At the command of the emperors of each race, the roar thundered in their ears. The inheritance must be seized. The strong warriors of the 4 races, like a flood of fierce beasts, instantly broke through the spatial rift. The few traitors among the human tribe's faces changed slightly, extremely anxious. The 4 races had not noticed their existence and had rushed into the secret realm in a swarm. Although these talents were top tier in strength, strength. They were still young and very prone to death. The traitors did not know that this place had long been sealed off by the supreme brain of the human race, blocking all information. Although it could not shield the supreme brains of the other three races, it completely isolated the news of the traitors. What's more, the supreme brain of the human race had already locked onto these traitors, vowing to capture them all in one net. The emperors of the four races exchanged cold glances, then rushed into the secret realm, fearing being beaten to it. They could still cooperate with the human race, but were highly guarded against each other. After all, the human race had only one dying martial god. If the martial god fell, any one of the four races could easily suppress the human race. The remaining three races would inevitably fight among themselves until one swallowed up and exterminated the others. Above the secret realm, spatial fluctuations roared as hundreds of thousands of powerful beings surged in like a tide. There are the humans. Charge, someone suddenly shouted. Seeing the appearance of the Scarlet Serpent Guardians and others, the crowd's morale soared, and they surged forward in a rush. Stop! A thunderous shout suddenly exploded. All the charging warriors instantly halted, looking up in confusion. The voice came from the long-silent Emperor Zaiso. You few, go scout first. Emperor Zaiso's gaze was sharp as he stared at the energy barrier below the continent. Wary of why the human race was waiting here, it was very likely a trap. He assigned 4 Zaiso prodigies to scout ahead. At his command, everyone became alert, all eyes fixed on these few. The selected geniuses exchanged glances and immediately broke through the air, flying towards the barrier. The human geniuses, seeing this, wore solemn expressions. These few were young, yet their strength was among the weakest. A buzz of spatial fluctuation suddenly arose as the few passed through the barrier. Beep. Detection complete. 7 people have passed the minimum talent standard and are admitted. The number is less than 3,000, so the inheritance cannot be activated yet. However, at this very moment, a cold alert tone suddenly sounded in the sky. This sound instantly made the strong and talented individuals of the 4 clans realize the truth. No wonder the human geniuses had long been lying in ambush here. It turned out they were insufficient in number. There are clearly countless geniuses outside, totaling more than 3,000. Fraud! It seems that only geniuses within the specified age range and who have reached S+ level can participate in the assessment. In an instant, many strong individuals saw through the hidden meaning. The 4 great emperors quickly pulled up the profiles of these human geniuses before them. At a glance, the age distribution was unusually obvious. As expected, the human race is extremely treacherous. If it weren't for Emperor Shisua's timely intervention, the 4 of our strongest clans would have lost 80% of their blood in an instant. Emperor Skull snorted coldly, glaring angrily. Let's go, us old folks are done for. All geniuses over 30% in age, withdraw immediately. The rest delve deeper into the secret realm together with the human race. The taciturn Emperor Shisua spoke steadily, and the 3 great emperors all nodded in agreement. All geniuses from the 4 clans who exceed the age limit withdraw from the secret realm immediately. The Tatar emperor shouted loudly. As the words fell, the strong warriors of the 4 clans looked at each other and began to withdraw. Still remaining were over 1,000 planetary level warriors and 8 stellar level warriors. There are even more than 30,000 masters and grandmasters, their numbers dozens of times that of the human race. The scene was oppressively suffocating. There are no friends here, only mortal enemies. In front of treasures, even members of the same clan will fight to the death. But if they compete with the human race, the first to fall will definitely be the human geniuses. From now on, it's all up to you. Take back the legacy. Failure is not an option. Be sure to be careful. The 4 great emperors' eyes shone like torches, and after speaking, they all withdrew from the spatial rift together. The remaining geniuses all rushed towards the continent. B. The number of examinees has met the requirement. Inheritance mode activated. As the influx of people surged, a cold prompt sounded again in the sky. Buzz. In the next moment, spatial fluctuations suddenly enveloped tens of thousands of beings. In an instant, everyone vanished without a trace. When they reappeared, the strong warriors of the 5 races were scattered across that vast continent, far apart from each other. There are 3 rounds in the inheritance test. Those who win all 3 rounds will become the sole heir of the secret realm's master, a Starsea realm expert, and receive the entire inheritance. This prompt echoed in their minds, stirring the hearts of the 5 races' geniuses. The legacy of the Qinghai realm strongholds is truly laid out before us. Whoever obtains this legacy can stand at the peak, fearless of any racial oppression. After all, the legacy must contain 9th-tier starships and top-tier battle armor, among other divine weapons and powerful tools. The first test begins. The sky suddenly thundered, and around the 5 clans' prodigies, enemies surged like a tide. The assessment was the same as that of Ling Xiao and Sikong Shui, requiring 10 rounds of trials. Although the difficulty was far less than that of Sikong Shui, it was by no means easy. Only one person was an exception. On the barren land, a 3-meter-tall Tatar youth listened in shock to the voice in his mind. 3 inheritance trials. Because your talent reaches nearly SS level, you meet the minimum requirement to begin. If you succeed, you will become the sole heir of the secret realm's master, a universe-level powerhouse, inheriting all the legacies. The prompt suddenly sounded. Wait, isn't the inheritance supposed to be
be at the Starseed realm? How can it be at the cosmic level?
The young Taliel was utterly shocked. Taliel, the strongest genius of the Tatar clan, with a quasi-SS level talent, was only 100 years old but had already reached the peak of the
7th heaven of the Grandmaster.
Barring any accidents, he was destined to become a planetary-level powerhouse within the next 200 years.
Yet the inheritance before him was terrifyingly at the cosmic level. Could it be that the so-called inheritances of others are fake? The true inheritance is only this cosmic level one?
Being so intelligent, he instantly guessed the truth, a wild laugh curling at the corner of his mouth.
Although I haven't reached SS level, I am a quasi-SS genius.
This universe-level inheritance, I, Taliel, must have it. He suddenly drew a giant sword from the storage ring, the blade shining like a star.
Roar!
The sky suddenly roared, and a star beast of the Grandmaster's 7th heaven level thundered down, thousands of meters tall, its roar shaking the heavens.
5th rank 7 stars? Mere trash.
Taliel sneered, swinging the giant sword, the sound of air tearing sharply, a sword shadow thousands of meters long slashing down.
Rumble! The star beast was instantly slashed into a bloody pulp, powerful yet as fragile as paper before him.
Congratulations on passing the first round. The second round begins.
Amid the star beast's roar, the second round cruelly commenced.
Talier, relying on his overwhelming strength, instantly killed all opponents and advanced continuously. With each round, the star beast's strength soared, and the pressure sharply increased.
In the 6th round,
a 5-star level 10-star beast appeared, with strength 8 times his own. Taliel's expression grew serious, and he truly began to fight earnestly. By the 8th round, the star beast had ascended to the planetary realm, with a strength difference of 16 times. This had surpassed the S+ genius limit, and his face turned ashen. According to the pattern, the 10th round will be the second level of the planetary realm, undoubtedly a desperate situation, but he could only fight with all his might.
Rumble, rumble, rumble. After an hour of fierce battle, he finally emerged victorious, but was exhausted and worn out. The 9th round begins.
An alert sounded, a massive shadow suddenly appeared in the sky, and the ground trembled.
Taliel's pupils contracted sharply, his face turning deathly pale. 6th rank 2-star. Impossible.
At this moment, the terrifying 6th rank star beast descended, and the next round was even more unimaginable.
Roar!
The beast's claw struck like lightning, hitting instantly, and Talier was powerless to dodge.
Rumble, rumble, rumble. Amidst the deafening roar, Talier fell.
The greatest genius of the Tatar tribe had thus fallen. Within the secret realm, the first round of trials was exceptionally brutal, with the 4 major clans suffering heavy losses. Fortunately, the other inheritances are all at the Xinghai realm, and still 30% of the strong ones passed, numbering over 10,000. The human race, however, is not optimistic,
but they only accounted for a few hundred people. The rest of the human geniuses all died in the brutal assessment.
The 5 strongest warriors who passed the first round of assessment were quickly transported into that mysterious heavenly ladder space. There, those with strong willpower can pass the test, while those with weak willpower are trapped forever, unable to escape.
After all, the system that sent you in may not necessarily send you out. Over time, everyone will die in this endless space.
But Ling Xiao knew nothing about these. At this moment, he had been secluded in the dark realm, cultivating for a full 10 hours. His number of repairs had long been refreshed. The only reason it hadn't ended was because he was pushing the dark magic scripture to the realm of perfection.
That's right, perfection.
Once successful, he will awaken the arid level supernatural ability, Extreme Sacred Power. At that time, as long as the repair is complete, he can directly leap from the 10th rank to the 13th, or even the 14th rank, and his strength will undergo a terrifying leap.
Ding! Congratulations, host, your vitality has increased to 2.56 billion. Your martial realm has advanced to the 9th heaven of Grandmaster.
Ding! Congratulations, host, your soul value has increased to 1.66 billion.
2 prompt tones suddenly entered Ling Xiao's mind.
His martial arts realm had reached the 9th heaven of the Grandmaster level, and his spiritual realm had further broken through to the 8th heaven, making him extremely powerful. Yet he still closed his eyes to cultivate, focusing on the dark demon scripture. Buzz! Suddenly, the black, extremely energy orb in his sea of consciousness trembled violently.
Buzz, buzz, buzz.
Mysterious waves surged wildly, the extreme power contracting inward from the inside, the aura soaring violently. The light sphere rapidly collapsed to 1% of its original volume, but the pressure it emitted suddenly surged. Although it had risen to the extreme sacred power, its volume was far inferior to the 9 heaven star flame beside it.
The next moment, the surrounding dark forces surged toward the supernatural light orb like a tide.
The extreme sacred power began to slowly expand, its strength condensing to the brink of its peak. This process was slow and lengthy. Ling Xiao could only wait quietly and continue cultivating. 2 hours later, the chi and blood value surpassed 3 billion, and the extreme sacred power was fully condensed. Ding! Congratulations, host. The dark magic scripture cultivation is complete, awakening the desolate level ability, Extreme Sacred Power. A prompt sound rang out, and Ling Xiao's mouth curled into a cold smile.
Finally complete.
The power of the ability has reached its limit. Even if the cultivation method is perfected, it can only enhance the power of the Extreme Sacred Power, not upgrade its level.
His gaze was firm as he whispered a command. System, immediately repair all the flaws in the Extreme Sacred Power. The cultivation method has reached the limit of Extreme Sacred Power, so there is no need to wait for the perfect realm to repair it. However, perfecting the cultivation method still requires a long time, at least 10,000 years, and at most tens of billions of years. Unless his innate law body level far exceeds the 14th rank, it is difficult to achieve rapid progress. Ding, command received. Detected a flaw in the Extreme Sacred Power amounting to 300 trillion. Preparing to start repairs. The alert sound came, and Ling Xiao widened his eyes in disbelief. 300 trillion vulnerabilities? How is that number possible? Previously, when he repaired the 9 heavens star flame to the desolate level, the vulnerabilities required were far from comparable. What's the big deal about reaching tens of billions of times? Now directly breaking through 300 trillion times. This is simply defying the heavens. Don't forget, my immortal body is only at 200 billion times. Wow, this time I must forge a heaven-defying artifact. Ling Xiao was excited and immediately sent his divine sense into his sea of consciousness. Rumble. A beam of extremely dazzling golden light instantly illuminated the entire sea of consciousness. The originally black Extreme Holy Power Orb instantly turned golden under the golden light. The huge supernatural power orb began to expand wildly, its speed terrifyingly suffocating. In an instant, the volume of the light sphere far exceeded that of any other supernatural light sphere. It expanded wildly, tenfold, hundredfold, thousandfold, 10,000-fold. Ling Xiao gasped sharply. The light sphere was about to burst his own sea of consciousness. If the light sphere exceeded the sea of consciousness, would the sea of consciousness simply explode? Sure enough, a few minutes later, the volume of the light sphere reached its limit, and the sea of consciousness was stretched to an enormous size. Crack! The sea of consciousness finally couldn't hold back and exploded with a roar, turning into countless fragments scattered across the sky. Ling Xiao's pupils contracted slightly, and his heartbeat suddenly accelerated. This was no ordinary breakthrough. If the fragments of the sea of consciousness dispersed, the soul would dissipate along with them. Buzz! At the critical moment, the soul power stored by Ling Xiao surged wildly into the void of the sea of consciousness. The endless power connected the scattered fragments of the sea of consciousness into one. Under this power, the sea of consciousness quickly repaired itself, expanding dozens of times in size. But Ling Xiao showed no joy. That supernatural light sphere was still wildly expanding. The sea of consciousness was filled once again. Boom! Another loud bang, and the sea of consciousness shattered again. Helpless, the soul's power surged out once more to repair the sea of consciousness. However, Ling Xiao heavily realized that the consumption of soul energy was visible to the naked eye. Although the sea of consciousness was barely repaired, the next collapse will be the death sentence. No, my star core is only level 6, the same as before I took it. Even if repaired, it won't solve the fundamental problem. Ling Xiao stared at the continuously expanding supernatural light sphere, fully aware that it was far beyond what he could endure. Helplessly, he suddenly opened his eyes and stood up, stepping out from the dark realm. Black! I have succeeded in my cultivation. Ling Xiao shouted loudly, his voice shaking the void. As soon as the words fell, Xikong Shui and the Extreme Cold Supreme waiting nearby were both shocked. Damn, this brat disappeared more than 10 times and has already mastered it? What kind of prodigy is this? The Extreme Cold Supreme exclaimed in astonishment. It seems Ling Zhao's talent far surpasses mine. Xikong Shui sighed, feeling inexplicably happy inside. Buzz! The dark domain instantly dissipated, and the dark space suddenly brightened. A huge space with a diameter of several thousand kilometers appeared before the three. But Ling Xiao had no time to think further. Buzz! Black finally appeared. He had just shown up. Everyone stared at Ling Xiao in shock. He actually succeeded? How is that possible? If he really succeeded, how could he not feel anything at all? However, when he saw Black, Ling Xiao did not hesitate and immediately broke through the energy shield of the Undying Soul technique that enveloped his entire body. Immediately after, he began to wield the mastery-level Dark Magic Sutra. Boom! An extremely terrifying dark force burst out of his body like a devastating flood, the aura instantly crushing everything around it. The faces of the Extreme Cold Supreme and Black changed drastically, suffocated by the dense darkness. Ling Xiao slightly clenched his hand in the air, and the SSS-level Extreme power instantly condensed in his palm. Mastery level. The Dark Magic Scripture has actually been cultivated to mastery. How is this possible? Black screamed in shock. The Dark Magic Scripture is a 12th level cultivation technique, and Ling Xiao mastered it in just 10 hours? How insanely talented is he? Cosmic level? No, it's the terrifying universal level. This speed, this talent, is the pinnacle existence across the entire universe. And this pinnacle actually appeared in the Milky Way, among the insignificant human race. I need a star core above the 9th level, the higher the better. According to what you said, I should now be your master's successor, right? You must have something like this. Ling Xiao said with a serious expression, sensing his sea of consciousness nearing the zero boundary point. Yes. Black reacted quickly, waving his right hand. Amid the spatial fluctuations, a star core shining with dazzling brilliance appeared in his palm. This is the star core of an 11th tier angel from the Holy Light Divine Kingdom, my master's
universe's strongest star core. He handed it to Ling Xiao without hesitation. Ling Xiao's pupils contracted an 11th tier star core.
Although the contained holy light divine power is 10th tier, if the loopholes could be repaired, it could generate a terrifying power on the order of 300 trillion with unimaginable consequences. But he was not afraid at all. With the energy reserve of this star core, he would surely be able to fully comprehend it. System, fix the vulnerability in this star core. Ling Xiao ordered openly without any hesitation. The system had said that no system items could be exposed unless used in front of an existence beyond the system. Obviously, these people were still far from the system's level. Ding, command accepted. Number of vulnerabilities detected 80 trillion. Beginning repair. The prompt sound rang out, and a flash of shock passed through Ling Xiao's eyes. An 8 trillion gap, far exceeding his immortal soul decision, with several trillion more in total. In other words, after repair, the star core's level could at least reach the immortal level. Buzz. The star core immediately burst forth with dazzling brilliance, countless profound runes frantically emerging, covering every inch of the star core. Ding! Congratulations, host. You have successfully obtained the Divine King level star core, the Holy Sacred Light star core. Consuming it will awaken the Divine King level ability Holy Sacred Light and grant a large amount of 13th tier soul energy. However, Ling Xiao suddenly froze. Wait, isn't this an 8 trillion loophole? That's several trillion more than the soul immortality technique, so why is it only Divine King level? He furrowed his brows, feeling that something was off. When each ability first breaks through 1 trillion vulnerabilities, the system will automatically upgrade by 1 level. Vulnerabilities range from level 1 to 10, while E-level supernatural powers range from level 10 to 100. According to this standard, vulnerabilities reaching from 1 trillion to 10 trillion mark the realm of the God King. The Undying Soul technique possesses tens of trillions of vulnerabilities, originally corresponding to the God King realm, while the Undying Divine Body, with 200 trillion vulnerabilities, has stepped into the immortal level. Because the Undying Soul technique is the host's first soul-type cultivation method to break through the trillion-level barrier, and the Undying Divine Body belongs to the supernatural ability category, the system has correspondingly upgraded their levels. The Star Core belongs to the supernatural ability category, so the Holy Light Star Core did not receive any enhancement. Similarly, your currently upgrading Extreme Mean Sacred Power has not been blessed. The final upgraded level will reach the immortal level supernatural ability. By this reasoning, the host's martial cultivation, attack, agility, and defense types of cultivation methods have not yet received upgrade rewards. Please find high-level cultivation methods to fix the vulnerabilities as soon as possible. Faced with Ling Xiao's confusion, the system quickly clarified. Ling Xiao hurriedly calculated and was surprised to find it was true. He had not noticed this before. So there are rewards after all. God King level is God King level. It's already very powerful. He nodded lightly, fully focused. Without hesitation, he swallowed the star core in one gulp. Rumble. In an instant, a pure and supreme soul power surged into Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness. In a flash, he clearly felt a dazzling light rapidly condensing within the sea of consciousness that was the new Divine King level supernatural ability, the Holy Divine Power. Ling Xiao had no time to further examine this Holy Divine Power, even though it was currently the strongest existence aside from the supernatural ability he was about to obtain. But compared to the immortal level ability he was about to obtain, the gap was shockingly vast. Boom! At that moment, Ling Xiao's sea of consciousness shattered again. From the depths of the endless void, a flood of energy surged into his consciousness space, quickly repairing the broken sea of consciousness. In less than a second, a huge, hundredfold, and incredibly solid new sea of consciousness took shape. As the new sea of consciousness took shape, the still wildly expanding energy orb finally stabilized and stopped growing. From before until now, the diameter of the orb had expanded 1,000,000 times, with its volume even more astonishing. Buzz. The light surrounding the energy orb quickly faded, revealing to Ling Xiao's eyes a huge, pitch-black orb. The other orbs around it seemed insignificant, like dust in comparison. Only the light sphere condensed by the divine holy power shrank into a small orb, slowly hovering to the side. If it had been before, Ling Xiao would have been shocked by the immense size of the divine holy power light sphere, tens of thousands of times greater than the 9 heavens star flame. But at this moment, his gaze was completely drawn to an even larger, more terrifying black light sphere. Ding! Congratulations to the host for successfully awakening the supernatural ability, divine holy power, God King level. Ding! Congratulations host, devouring the 13th level star core, gaining 13th level soul power, 80 trillion. Ding! Congratulations host, the extreme holy light anomaly has been repaired, successfully evolving into the power of destruction, immortal level. 3 prompt sounds simultaneously entered Ling Xiao's mind. He immediately checked the detailed descriptions of the power of destruction and the holy divine power. Holy sacred light, cosmic level superpower, also known as divine king level, innately gifted, destined to become a divine king effortlessly in the future. The first ray of light at the birth of the universe, the original derivation of the cosmic divine light, possessing supreme power to purify all evil in heaven and earth. The introduction of the holy sacred light shocked Ling Xiao
Xiao. It was actually a derivative of the universe's very first light, supremely defying the heavens. He eagerly opened the introduction to the power of destruction, his heart filled with anticipation. The power of destruction has already crushed the holy light. The power of destruction is one of the 8 supreme divine forces that created the universe. They are time, space, death, destruction, life, fate, reincarnation, and yin-yang. Among them, time dominates all, followed closely by space, and among the remaining 6 divine forces, the power of destruction is the most lethal and powerful, controlling the end of all things. To fully master the power of destruction is to be able to destroy the entire universe. As soon as the system introduction ended, Ling Zhao's heart suddenly tightened. The top-tier divine power that created the universe? This trump card is far more powerful than Sumo's universe's first light. After all, that first light is just one of the 8 divine creations. Wow, this immortal level power is truly terrifying. Controlling it could even destroy the universe. I haven't fully mastered it yet. I've only controlled the elements. Next, I need to elevate the elements into laws, condense them into a domain, and then evolve it into a small world. The small world is at most at the realm lord level. There is still a long way to go before complete control is achieved. But the power of the immortal level, I don't know how much it can enhance my strength. A trace of anticipation flashed in Ling Zhao's eyes as he quickly opened the attribute panel. Attribute panel. Name, Ling Xiao. Number of repairs, 4 out of 6. Martial arts realm, Grandmaster 9th heaven. Soul realm, Grandmaster 8th heaven. Vitality, 3 billion, 1 point equals 30,000 tons of strength. Soul, 2 billion. Profession, Formation Master, 5th tier supreme, 0/100 million. Legendary, skills, gunmanship, dual realm, 1600%, 10,000/300,000. Agility, Master Peak, 900%, 70,000/100,000. Talents, Undying Divine Body, Immortal Level, Combat Power * 1000%, Innate Law Body, Wasteland Level, Blessing 10 million times, 9. Heaven's Starflame, Wasteland Level, Dark Demon Flame, SSS Level, Holy Light, Cosmic Level, Power of Destruction, Immortal Level. Cultivation Method, Soul Immortality Technique, Eternal Level, 6th tier Fragmented, 128x, Heavenly Demon Blood Escape, 10th tier, Frenzied Absorption, 7th tier Supreme. Martial Arts, Falling Star Spear Technique, 6th rank Supreme, 1500%, Meteor Shower, 6th rank Supreme, 1300%, Flame Step, 6th rank Supreme, 1300%, Black Hole Battle Body, 6th rank Supreme, 1300%. Equipment, Divine Martial Set, 10th rank Medium Quality, Black Flame Spear, 7th rank Medium Quality, Starry Sky Thunder Wings, 8th rank Medium Quality. Beast Pet, none. Normal Combat Power, Triple Stellar Realm. Maximum Combat Power, 10th Stellar Realm. Ling Xiao stared at the limit combat power bar, so shocked that he was speechless. Stellar Tenfold Heaven? According to the current level calculation, it surpasses 2 major realms. Combat power 2 major realms above the level? This is just too crazy. The standard for normal combat power has changed from whether or not to use the demonic blood escape to whether or not to use the power of destruction. In other words, the previous P combat power has now become the norm. Using the demonic blood escape, the power is at the stellar triple heaven level. Adding the power of destruction, the strength soars to a terrifying stellar 10th heaven. This power made even Ling Xiao feel unreal. But the system's calculation is absolutely without error. No, I have to go out and test the strength of the 4 major races. Ling Xiao did not hesitate, opened his eyes, and abandoned all other thoughts. Master, Ling Xiao just consumed that 11th tier star core, will he be alright? Si Kong Shui looked at Ling Xiao with a face full of worry. Don't worry, he won't do anything to harm himself. He's absolutely fine now. The Extreme Cold Supreme replied in a deep voice. Her gaze was unusually serious because in that moment just now, Ling Xiao's aura completely vanished. Even though he was right in front of her, she couldn't sense the slightest trace of his aura. Obviously, Ling Xiao unleashed some extremely terrifying secret technique. She had no way of knowing. Ling Xiao's destructive power was like an absolute black hole, devouring all his aura. The Supreme Cold could not sense his existence at all. Who? Ling Xiao suddenly exhaled a mouthful of foul breath and slowly opened his eyes. In those eyes, the power of destruction flickered like falling stars, instantly intimidating the peak soul levels of the Extreme Cold Sovereign and Brack, 2 domain lords. Endless fear surged like a tide, causing their entire bodies to tremble. How is this possible? I, a proud 11th level peak intelligent lifeform, have actually lost my soul in front of the young master. Brack retreated in shock, an unprecedented instinctive fear rising in his heart. The feeling passed in an instant, and Brack quickly steadied his emotions, filled with excitement. Master, I found it. I have finally found the successor who can avenge you. His eyes burned with fanaticism. Ling Zhao's talent was terrifyingly extreme. It was feared that no one in the entire universe could match him. Become a realm lord? Easy. When the time comes, he vows to completely annihilate his master's enemies. The Extreme Cold Sovereign cowered behind Si Kong Shui, his voice trembling. Stinky brother, what exactly have you done? Your aura has changed completely. Ling Xiao chuckled lightly. Me? I haven't done anything. But if you order me, I can do it. The
laughter was like an ice blade piercing the bone.
The extreme cold sovereign was so frightened that he darted into Si Kong Shue's body.
This guy, what ruthless moves hasn't he used? He almost imprisoned her forever before. Si Kong Shui couldn't help but tease, "Master, are you afraid of Ling Xiao?"
The extreme cold supreme hurriedly defended himself. "No way.
How could I be afraid of him? I'm just feeling unwell, don't call me out."
But her actions betrayed her fear. At this moment, Black knelt down and performed a grand salute, respectfully saying, "Your humble servant Black pays respects to the young master." He has completely acknowledged Ling Xiao as the sole heir of the old master.
Ling Xiao smiled calmly. "Get up, don't be so polite. Thank you for the star core just now." Black replied respectfully, "Young master, you are too modest. Everything of the master belongs to you."
Ling Xiao's eyes shifted. "I'm planning to test my strength. You escort me out first."
"Master, do you need protection?"
"The external enemies are all stellar level 8-fold heaven experts. Your strength."
Black nervously advised against it.
Ling Xiao sneered. "Do you think I would use those guys as a test?" A few minutes ago, in the secret realm ladder space, on the rooftop more than 7,000 floors up, Jilian trembled all over, each step as heavy as 1,000 pounds. She gasped for breath, her head splitting as if it was about to explode at any moment.
Could it be? It's about to end?
She looked ahead in despair, seeing more than 2,000 stairs remaining, the pressure on her soul almost tearing her apart. She turned her head to look behind her, a cold smile appearing at the corner of her mouth. Except for her, no other strong warriors from the 4 tribes had crossed the 5,000th floor.
What does it matter if I die here? The geniuses of the other 4 clans are no match for me. Jilian's gaze was icy.
Though his talent was inferior, he crushed everyone with sheer iron will.
If talent were measured by willpower, his would definitely be SS level. Unfortunately, even the strongest will has its limits.
After all, even with a Xinghai realm inheritance, it's hard to pass without SSS level talent.
B. The inheritance has been seized by a human genius.
The human race will be expelled from this secret realm.
All remaining individuals are to be exterminated.
A cold alert suddenly sounded in the sky, ringing clearly in the ears, causing the entire heavenly ladder space to tremble. The 5 races' geniuses who were desperately climbing froze instantly.
The next moment, everyone's face turned pale. The human race actually obtained the inheritance. How is this possible? Hasn't no one ever climbed more than 10,000 steps? How could the human genius be ahead? Could it be that they have already passed the first test and quietly moved on to the second? In my mind, a figure flashed. Ling Xiao, that SS level genius. Great! It must be Ling Xiao. He really succeeded.
Jilian heard the prompt and was so excited she almost trembled. Ling Xiao's passage means that the strong warriors of the human race will be spared from total destruction. Buzz! Suddenly, the surrounding fluctuations became intense.
Boom boom boom.
The strong warriors of the 4 clans exploded violently on the heavenly ladder, blood raining down and staining the entire space red. Buzz! Immediately, all the human race's geniuses were transported by the spatial force, and Qi Lian was among them. In the starry sky, the strong warriors of the 5 great races stared intently in the direction of the secret realm, their expressions grave.
This unopened secret realm was their first venture, and they couldn't help but feel uneasy. So much time has passed, yet there is no news at all? Could this inheritance place be more dangerous than we imagined?
If completely annihilated, those 5 clans might take tens of thousands of years to recover. The 4 emperors wore heavy expressions, speaking in low voices.
No one returned for more than 10 hours. The situation was extremely grim.
The Zuanyuan guardians and others were on high alert.
Just discovered that Ling Xiao might be an SSS level genius.
If he falls now, it would be a fatal blow to the human race.
Not to mention the Scarlet Guardian and many other geniuses.
They felt regret. The inheritance of the Starsea realm experts is truly not something easily obtained.
Buzz! Just as everyone anxiously waited, the space in front of the secret realm suddenly fluctuated.
Buzz 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 buzz. Hundreds of powerful members of the human race appeared with the fluctuations, shocking everyone.
Humans? Why are only humans coming out? What is going on? Humans after all. Why hasn't our tribe's genius returned? Jilian also came back alive? Could it be that she obtained the inheritance?
The strong warriors of the 4 clans immediately became extremely anxious. Entering the secret realm together, only the human clan returned, which was very abnormal.
Jilian, come here quickly. The Zuanyuan guardian shouted urgently, seemingly afraid that other clans would make a move.
Jilian led the human geniuses to quickly gather.
Jilian, what exactly happened in the secret realm?
Emperor Skull angrily shouted as he stepped forward, his aura overwhelming.
No comment.
The humans have no obligation to explain to you.
If you want to know, go see for yourself.
Jilian snorted coldly in response, showing no weakness. The face of King Skull instantly darkened.
Go in?
If he dared, he would have gone in long ago. Since all the elders of the clan have appeared, tell us what happened inside.
We just want to know if there are any survivors among the strong warriors of the 4 tribes.
As soon as the words fell, Emperor Shisua suddenly flew out, his face grave. If it weren't for fear of the martial god, how would these petty humans dare to be so rude to us?
The 4 clans have long since exterminated them.
He said coldly, don't wait in vain. All the people of the 4 clans are dead. Not a single one remains. wins. We barely escaped. As for the others, no comment.
You may leave now.
At these words, Qilian spoke coldly, her tone as icy as a blade.
Dead? All the geniuses who went in are dead.
The faces of the 4 clan's strong warriors changed drastically, anger burning in their hearts.
Since all the geniuses of the 4 clans are dead, why are you still alive? Could it be that you killed the geniuses of my clan?
King Skull roared, his momentum like a raging storm as he leapt forward. The Zuinyuan guardian snorted coldly and stood in front of all the human strong warriors.
Qilian said, no comment. The secret realm is fraught with countless dangers. Do you think just because many people enter, they can easily obtain the inheritance?
Our human race suffered heavy casualties, only this few managed to escape.
Can't your 4 races afford to lose?
The emperors of the 4 races looked grim.
The secret realm was more dangerous than expected.
In previous hundreds of explorations, only a few had died, but this time it was a complete annihilation.
Did you come out because the inheritance was taken by your human race?
The Tatar emperor spoke coldly, his gaze sharp as a knife, instantly piercing through all the humans. Indeed, among the humans, there was the SS-level genius Ling Xiao, the most likely to have obtained the inheritance.
As soon as this statement was made, the aura of the 4 clan strong warriors surged dramatically, their eyes sharp and cold as ice. Boom, boom, boom.
The 4 emperor kings' momentum exploded, and a world-destroying sense of oppression instantly enveloped the human clan. The pressure weighed like a mountain, all the human warriors' faces turned pale, barely able to breathe. Tell me, if Ling Xiao is not here now, is he currently receiving the inheritance? The Tatar emperor asked coldly. That's right, bring that kid out, the school emperor shouted angrily, his fierce aura forcing all the humans to bow their heads in submission, unwilling to resist.
Insult! This is blatant insult. Are you forcing the human race to go to war with you? Our human race will fight to the death if necessary.
The guardian Zuinyuan roared, full of murderous intent.
If the inheritance is in your hands, so what if we go to war? Are you waiting for your genius to grow up and destroy us?
As long as we kill all of you, when Ling Xiao comes out, the
inheritance will naturally belong to us. Even if we can't wait for Ling Xiao, we can at worst relocate the entire tribe. Do you think the martial god can find us? The Tatar emperor sneered coldly.
The usually calm emperor Zaiso slowly spoke at this moment, his voice calm but as piercing as ice.
As the words fell, the faces of the human race turned pale, unable to move.
As long as Ling Xiao appeared, the one who would definitely die was him.
How is that possible?
If the human race really obtained the inheritance, there wouldn't be only a few people returning. Qilian retorted coldly, her eyes sharp as blades with a cold gleam. Her gaze burned like raging fire, anger surging, yet she was helpless. Without the martial god, they could only be trampled upon. As soon as the words fell, the experts of the 4 clans exchanged cold sneers, filled with extreme contempt.
Perhaps it's because so many of your human race died that Ling Xiao was able to inherit the legacy, allowing you to come out? Don't think about escaping. Where is Ling Xiao? Not telling?
Then I'll just directly search your soul. Emperor Skull sneered coldly, his voice sharp as a knife. The human prodigy's face changed drastically, the threat of soul-searching descending like a nightmare.
I say.
The legacy was obtained by Ling Xiao of the human race. It also contains the power inheritance of a Star Sea realm.
Expert, I've told you everything. Let me go. I'm a spy from the Tatar clan, and this time I've delivered a lot of intelligence to you.
A genius from the Wa tribe with a small mustache under his nose trembled as he begged for mercy. Ironically, he was actually a graduate of the human race's elite training camp.
Traitor!
The Luo Tian guardian roared, his palms striking down like thunder.
Boom!
Blood mist scattered, and the traitor was instantly shattered.
Unfortunately, the news had already leaked.
The emperors of the 4 clans' expressions changed abruptly, exchanging glances.
The Starsea realm inheritance, could it really be true? They understood that once they took action, there would be no turning back. This legacy must come with great power, even advanced spacecraft. Kill them all, show no mercy.
Leave one person to guard Ling Xiao, and the rest start the great migration of the race.
The Tatar emperor gave the order coldly. Though reluctant, he knew if they didn't escape now, then when?
This was a plan they had long agreed upon, a secret realm inheritance powerful enough to overturn the galactic order. No matter which race obtains the inheritance, the others can only flee for their lives.
Good, this is the only way. Let's go.
The 3 great emperors responded in deep voices. The 4 emperors' eyes were cold and stern, all staring intently at the human crowd.
Formation Emperor, activate the formation.
The guardian of Zuinyuan shouted loudly. The silver-haired elder hid among the crowd, a star core flying from his hand into the sky. Buzz. Frenzied energy instantly enveloped Zuinyuan and the guardians, causing the surrounding space to begin twisting and destabilizing.
Hurry! Attack the lower left corner of the formation. The 7th-ranked Tatar formation master shouted angrily.
The 4 emperors hesitated not at all and simultaneously launched an attack, bombarding the lower left corner of the formation.
Boom!
The formation violently shook, instantly shattering into millions of fragments.
Ha!
The formation emperor spat blood, his body weakening as he collapsed to the ground.
Failed! The Zuinyuan guardian sighed faintly. The humans were as desperate as an abyss. Still want to run? Die by my hand. Emperor Skull roared in anger, slamming down his palm seal with a thunderous crash. A blue giant hand of wind, 1,000 times larger than Earth, fiercely smashed down toward Zhuan Yuan and the Guardians. The human race coldly watched the four clans, vowing never to beg for mercy. A giant palm crushed down, murderous intent surging to the sky. Die! In the depths of the starry sky, suddenly, a calm and steady voice struck the eardrums of everyone. In an instant, the colossal handprint that had covered hundreds of thousands of kilometers shattered like an illusion and vanished without a trace, as if it had never appeared. Everyone gasped in shock. This kind of power was no ordinary feat. Even stellar-level warriors would find it difficult to achieve. They all turned their heads, searching for the source of the voice. What came into view was a young man, Ling Xiao, hands behind his back, floating in the void, his gaze cold and stern, staring straight ahead. Ling Xiao? How could he appear? A human warrior shouted in terror. Run, Ling Xiao. It's over. Completely over. The faces of the human guardians were filled with pain and helplessness. They were willing to sacrifice themselves. As long as Ling Xiao lived, there was hope for the tribe's rebirth. But now, it was all too late. Ling Xiao was alone. How could he possibly withstand the powerful warriors of the four tribes? Ha ha ha, so you are Ling Xiao? I will kill you with my own hands. A stellar-level warrior closest to Ling Xiao laughed wildly, unleashing a cataclysmic aura as he suddenly charged at him. Not good. Stop, thief. Damn it, stop right there. The human guardian roared in anger but was firmly restrained by the powerful warriors of the four races, unable to move an inch. They wanted the Zhuan Yuan guardian to witness Ling Xiao being killed and dying in agony. Stellar first rank? You really underestimate me. Ling Xiao sneered coldly, his gaze sharp as a torch. Buzz. In an instant, his whole body radiated dazzling light. Swish. In a flash, his figure vanished without a trace, moving at an astonishing speed that left even the emperors of the four clans dumbfounded. The next moment, Ling Xiao transformed into a streak of light and suddenly collided with the stellar-level powerhouse. Rumble. The strong exploded in the starry sky, turning into a blood mist filling the heavens. This sudden turn of events made the faces of the five tribes pale. Too strong. Ling Xiao is even stronger than when he killed thousands of the Phantom Clan. The human girl Roya shouted excitedly. The faces of the guardians changed drastically. That was the record before entering the inheritance land. Ling Xiao actually possessed terrifying planetary-level strength even before the secret realm. 15 years old, planetary level? What kind of talent is this? Could it be the legendary SSS level or above? Everyone gasped, their hearts pounding with fear. Boom boom boom. Explosions erupted continuously, light flashing between the four clans. Every time they encountered a stellar-level expert, they instantly turned into a mist of blood. Whether at the 6th or 7th stellar heaven level, none escaped. The emperors retreated in fear, their faces pale. Impossible. How could he be this strong? He's only 15 years old. What is going on? It must be a powerful weapon inherited from the secret realm. Otherwise, how could we be in such a sorry state? The four clans fell into an unprecedented crisis. The emperor was completely panicked at this moment. Even the strong ones at the 7th level of the stellar realm were killed by him in an instant, not to mention those of them at the 8th level. Buzz. Ling Xiao's figure suddenly appeared before the four emperors. The sudden appearance intimidated them, causing them to retreat repeatedly. Ling Xiao, however, ignored their panic, his gaze filled with surprise. Damn, I thought the system's mention of ultimate combat power referred to the power of destruction, but who knew it was actually the power of the holy light? He was shocked in his heart. Just now, except for using the power of destruction to smash the giant palm of Emperor's skull at the start because he was afraid of falling behind, he hardly used the power of destruction again. Instead, he found that relying on the burst of the holy light, he easily slaughtered star-level 7-fold heaven experts, as simple as cutting melons and chopping vegetables. 10-fold heaven experts would probably be instantly killed by a single strike of his holy light. The stronger power of destruction is simply unnecessary. He's this strong without using the power of destruction. Just how terrifying would he be if he used it? He thought eagerly. The few emperors before him were simply unable to test his ultimate combat power. After wiping out these scraps, I need to check out the Shadow Phantom Galaxy. The Shadow Phantom Emperors. There are experts at the triple-tier galaxy realm. Ling Xiao's gaze swept coldly over the four emperors. Seeing the murderous light in his eyes, the four emperors' expressions changed drastically. Wind shatter palm. Emperor's skull roared, swinging out a palm strike. In an instant, a large blue-purple gale palm imprint took shape, carrying the power to destroy heaven and earth, crushing down towards Ling Xiao. The Skull Clan possessed astonishing talent and extraordinary wind power, and the emperor before them was a genius among geniuses, wielding an S-level gale. If this blue-purple gale struck an ordinary stellar level 9 heavens expert, it would instantly annihilate them. However, Ling Xiao calmly extended his right hand. Ha! A dazzling laser burst forth from his fingertips, cutting through the void and heading straight for Emperor's skull. The fierce wind palm imprint was instantly pierced by the laser, revealing a hole, but the laser did not weaken at all and continued to shoot fiercely. Third brother, dodge quickly. The other three emperors shouted in alarm, eager to rescue. A person can never catch up to the speed of light. The school emperor of the stellar eightfold heaven's speed simply cannot withstand the radiance of this sacred holy light. Ha! The laser pierced through his skull. His soul was instantly torn apart.
apart, and his life vanished in an instant.
Shock and disbelief filled the school emperor's eyes, and then he lost consciousness.
The impending powerful wind palm imprint before touching Ling Xiao surprisingly dissolved on its own.
This scene shocked everyone. He's dead? The 4 emperor kings were actually killed in one strike. Impossible.
Not only the 3 emperor kings, but all the human strongholds were dumbfounded. At only 15 years old, Ling Xiao killed an emperor king with one move, a feat even more shocking than his previous sweep of the 4 clans' stellar-level strongholds. No one knew that this scene not only shocked the strongest in the Milky Way beyond measure, but also made the 11th level top-tier intelligent lifeform Brack in the Secret Realm, as well as the Peak Domain Lord, the Extreme Cold Supreme, widen their eyes in astonishment at this combat power.
What exactly is this energy?
Their hearts were filled with doubt and shock.
The holy light power once controlled by the Lord? Is the holy light really that terrifying? Brack suddenly gasped sharply.
Ling Xiao had only used the power of the holy light once, and then passed it on to Ling Yuran. Black was unaware of these details. He only knew that Ling Xiao possessed the holy light, as well as extremely powerful forces like the Dark Flame and the Nine Heavens Star Flame.
But the power before him was clearly not ordinary holy light. Its might far exceeded his imagination.
Suddenly, he recalled that he had once given Ling Xiao a sacred star core of an 11th rank angel, and his expression abruptly darkened.
Wait, is this actually the power of the holy light?
But this power is so strange.
Although the holy light is strong, it is far inferior to the aura before me. What exactly is happening?
He originally thought that Ling Xiao only gained control of this power after devouring the star core of the Celestial Master Clan that had comprehended the holy light power.
Now it seems the situation is far more complicated than he imagined.
But he was clear on one point. Ling Xiao's talent was becoming increasingly astonishing, and the possibility of him avenging his master in the future was growing greater. Thinking of this, he couldn't help but become excited. This damn little brother, his strength is getting more and more terrifying. He has actually reached the stellar level.
Damn it, does that mean I can only let him bully me in the future?
However, at this moment, the Extreme Cold Supreme's mind was completely consumed by the hatred from her previous imprisonment. The path of revenge seemed to be getting further and further away, and she was too angry to care about anything else. Suddenly, she remembered something and hurriedly spoke to Black.
Black, do you have anything that can restore the soul?
Give me some. After all, Ling Xiao and I are so close.
Black sneered and refused mercilessly.
Everything here belongs to the master. It was passed down to young Master 267, so it belongs to him.
I have no right to use it. Besides, your relationship isn't as good as you say.
The Supreme Cold was so angry that his teeth clenched tightly. She glanced out of the corner of her eye at Sikong Shui, who was intently watching Ling Xiao fight, and her eyes lit up.
What relationship isn't good? When my disciple marries your young master, won't she be your mistress?
And I am your young master's master, so this relationship is very solid. Saying this, she pulled Sikong Shui into a hug, beaming with pride. Sikong Shui's face flushed red, and she hurriedly retorted, Master,
when did I ever say I wanted to marry Ling Xiao?
If you don't marry him now, you'll have to marry him in the future.
Don't you like that brat? Once he's strong enough, I will have him come and marry you. It's settled.
The Extreme Cold Supreme completely ignored Sikong Shui's objections. As soon as he spoke, Black's brows furrowed tightly. Seeing Black's reaction, the Extreme Cold Supreme was secretly pleased, thinking that after obtaining the treasure to restore his soul and regain his strength, he would take his disciple and escape from here, so that even an 11th level intelligent lifeform wouldn't be able to find her. She secretly praised herself for her intelligence. No, that can only be considered the matter of Sikong Shui and the young master. Unless you also marry the young master, hold a wedding, and have a little master, the things can only be given to you.
Black smiled slightly and responded contemptuously. Playing these little tricks with an 11th level intelligent life like him? Does she really think he relies on luck to be an intelligent life?
Moreover, this Extreme Cold Supreme was someone he had personally watched grow up.
Nonsense.
No means no. Who cares about marrying that stinky kid?
Xiao Shui, let's go.
As soon as the words fell, the Extreme Cold Supreme was so angry it was like he had stepped on a tail, roaring as he dragged Sikong Shui out of the spaceship. The Extreme Cold Supreme's talent, as the young master's wife, is barely acceptable. I wonder about the young master's ice-type talent. If he can cultivate the Extreme Cold Sacred Scripture, the combination of the two powers would surely be astonishing. Moreover, if one could collect the other 5 sets of techniques and cultivate them all, it might truly unleash a staggering power. Black watched the two leave in a fury, a complex light flashing in his eyes. He pondered silently in his heart. If the Extreme Cold Supreme heard him mention the other 5 sets, he would surely be shocked. Those 5 cultivation methods are powerful secret manuals divided into 8 parts by an immortal supreme being.
And
that legendary immortal level cosmic entity mastered 8 invincible powers, which are precisely the powers contained within the 8 cultivation methods. As long as one can cultivate the 8 methods to their peak, they can reverse heaven and earth and control the power that defies the heavens. It is rumored that back then, that immortal powerhouse used this peerless, defying heaven energy to annihilate an immortal level strongman in one fell swoop. And now, Brack holds several of the 5 manuals, at least 3, besides the Dark Demon Scripture and the Extreme Cold Holy Canon. There should be one more yet to be revealed. However, all of this must wait until Ling Xiao returns to hear the truth from his own mouth.
Are the three of you going to die together, or one by one?
In the starry sky, Ling Xiao's eyes were as cold as a blade, staring directly at the three emperors before him, his voice cold and merciless. As his words fell, the three emperors' hearts trembled violently, exchanging glances filled with fear. At this moment, their reverence for Ling Xiao far surpassed the level of a martial god, reaching its peak. Ling Xiao, we have no intention of becoming your enemies. Let us go, and our 4 clans will immediately withdraw from the galaxy. The Zaiso Emperor spoke coldly, his voice carrying a deep threat. You should understand, if it truly comes to a fight to the death, by the time you kill all our strong warriors, the human civilians will have long been slaughtered.
Do you really want to see such an outcome?
Exactly. The Tatar Emperor followed with a threat. The combined population of our 4 tribes far exceeds that of the humans by 100-fold.
Killing us would be igniting a war of destruction.
The third emperor also nodded repeatedly. The atmosphere tensed to the point of almost freezing.
As soon as they spoke, the faces of Zhuan Yuan guardians and all the human strongmen not far away turned ashen. Finally, a top-tier expert like Ling Xiao appeared, yet they still could not make a move against the 4 clans.
They were right. Once the battle starts, the 4 clans will surely launch a frenzied counterattack, and the humans simply cannot withstand it. Even if all the strongmen of the 4 clans are killed, humanity will still suffer a catastrophic disaster.
Sigh, Ling Xiao, it is we who have held you back.
The guardian Luo Tian sighed aloud, his voice full of helplessness and bitterness. The human strong warriors present were filled with raging anger, yet had nowhere to vent it. Ling Xiao remained silent, knowing well that the rise of humanity was too late. If we could live for another 100,000 years, the human race would no longer need him and could have already wiped out the 4 tribes.
Respected human Ling Xiao, we do not want to die either. Now, our 3 tribes order a withdrawal from the galaxy, never to return. We will leave all technology behind and only take our people. How about that?
Emperor Shisua saw Ling Xiao remain silent and immediately softened his tone, speaking respectfully. He only wanted to save himself and his people. The emperor's choice was understandable. After all, the human race poses the greatest threat. If the human race is not destroyed, they will inevitably be exterminated. In fact, when the human race expanded thousands of years ago, apart from being ruthless to starve beasts, they mostly used conciliation and assimilation with other races.
Hundreds of weak civilizations merged into the human race, becoming one.
Even against the 4 clans, the human race never had the chance to completely annihilate them. Since the age of martial gods, the human race has been able to wipe out all the strong warriors of the 4 races in one fell swoop.
Stellar-level warriors easily slaughter planetary-level warriors.
As long as the human race takes its time, 10,000 years is enough to dominate the galaxy. However, martial gods have never initiated massacres lightly, unless a crisis is imminent. However, the 4 clans have always suspected the true intentions of the human race, maintaining vigilance and hostility at all times.
Become a martial god? They are not confident. Killing those strong ones? It is merely a means to forcibly increase strength. They dare not take risks and can only maintain this superficial peace. But as long as there is an opportunity, the human race will be completely exterminated. Now, they know the opportunity is gone and can only retreat.
As time drags on and the human population soars, they will inevitably be exterminated. As soon as these words were spoken, the human strongholds stirred slightly in their hearts.
The enemy's retreat means handing over the entire territory to the humans. When they want to turn back, there will be no way.
In theory, this is undoubtedly a godsend opportunity for the humans to control the galaxy without expending a single soldier. However, Ling Xiao's lips curled slightly, revealing a faint smile. The conditions you mentioned are indeed tempting.
However, there is one thing I guess you don't know yet.
Ling Xiao's gaze was sharp as he stared at the 3 emperors and spoke slowly.
As his words fell, the strong warriors of the 4 clans and the human race all tensed up. Was he about to start a war? What is it?
King Zaiso asked, bracing himself.
Have you heard of the Phantom Clan? Ling Xiao's smile deepened.
At these words, the faces of the 4 clans' strong warriors changed abruptly.
The Phantom Clan is recognized as a top-tier powerful clan, with the lowest rank being Grandmaster.
No one knows their origin, yet they have appeared across the galaxy since 1,000 years ago. The Phantom Clan became the highest secret among the 5 clans. Anyone who saw them was hunted down, and countless souls were even searched, but all memories were sealed, leaving no clues at all. The strong warriors of the 4 clans did not know that the Phantom Clan's memories were all sealed with powerful spells, leaving no chance for any leaks.
What does this have to do with us now? The Tatar Emperor asked in a deep voice. It's very much related.
Ling Xiao smiled even more broadly, fiercely waving his right hand through the void, and a dazzling light burst forth. The 3 emperors and the powerful figures of the 4 clans all retreated, their faces full of fear.
However, in the next moment, everyone felt awkward.
Buzz. Light flickered, and a huge projection of the starry sky hovered before their eyes. The powerful figures of the 4 clans exchanged glances, unable to hide their embarrassment.
This is our Milky Way.
Ling Xiao pointed to the brilliant Milky Way on the star map and smiled.
Everyone was stunned, fully understanding.
The star map's range gradually expanded, and the Milky Way rapidly shrank. Originally a vast galaxy,
galaxy. In the end, only a single shining point remained, and a massive galaxy slowly appeared. This galaxy was incredibly huge, causing everyone's pupils to constrict slightly. They recognized it. It was not far from the Milky Way, but they had never discovered any signs of life. The dispatched probes and personnel all confirmed that the place was deserted. They did not know that it was a galactic shield, a concealment method used by advanced civilizations against lower-level civilizations. Being watched by a lower-level civilization is an insult to an advanced civilization. The explorers' memories were also tampered with, making it impossible to uncover the truth. Unbeknownst to them, it was their continuous probing that caught the attention of the Phantom Clan, who decided to invade the galaxy and confine it. This galaxy is a massive one detected by the human race many years ago, designated IC-1101, with a diameter of 5 million light-years, about a million times the size of the Milky Way. It also has another name, the Phantom Galaxy.
Ling Xiao announced slowly, and the faces of the strong warriors from the 5 tribes changed drastically.
Phantom Galaxy? The Phantom Clan? Could it be?
At this moment, everyone was extremely shocked. A galaxy a million times the size of the Milky Way was targeting them. They speculated that the Shadow Clan within the Milky Way must have come to scout. The strongest of the Shadow Clan had reached the galactic level, with tens of thousands of stellar-level experts and millions of planetary-level experts in the Shadow
Clan.
Now, key points across the Milky Way are garrisoned with 100,000 planetary-level experts and hundreds of millions of Grandmaster-level experts.
As long as we take action, the 4 races will be wiped out instantly.
Ling Xiao once again dropped a bombshell that shocked the entire audience. He accurately marked the locations of 100,000 members of the Phantom Clan and also captured numerous images of miniature secret realms.
He revealed the true intentions of the Phantom Clan one by one. Boom! The minds of all 5 races roared, shocked to the point of hardly believing the facts before their eyes. The dense clusters of light spots reflected countless fearful faces.
These spots of light are the most important defensive strongholds of the 5 clans.
Once lost, the 5 clans will instantly become slaves.
What is even more despairing is that the overall strength of the Phantoms far exceeds that of the 5 clans, with an astonishing number of planetary-level experts. It takes at least 2 or 3 working together to match one opponent.
Panic spread completely. You mean, the 5 tribes must join forces to destroy the Shadow Clan?
Emperor Zaiso finally spoke, his gaze sharp as a blade. His words were like a spark, igniting a consensus among the strong of the 5 tribes.
However, some among the 4 tribes were dissatisfied in their hearts. Seeing that he was about to be driven out of the galaxy, why still fight desperately for the human race?
At this moment, the Zuan Yuan Guardian stepped forward.
You want to leave? The Shadow Clan will never let you leave the galaxy.
You have only one path: unite and resist, or face total annihilation. His voice was heavy, each word like thunder. The faces of the strong from the 4 clans darkened. That's right, the Shadow Clan survives by devouring souls and would never let people go easily.
Since we're joining forces, all previous conditions are void. The Tatar Emperor sneered as he spoke. So what do you plan to do?
The Guardian of Zuan Yuan stared at him, knowing that resisting the Shadow Clan was a heavy burden on the 4 clans.
The human race was too weak, and the war could collapse shortly after it began. Nonsense, our 4 clans have a huge population. After the war ends with heavy losses, we definitely won't let you leave at will. I want to sign a treaty.
For 1,000,000 years, the human race shall not initiate attacks against our 4 clans, nor prevent us from staying in the galaxy, unless we voluntarily leave. After the war, your human population will sharply decrease, and you must cede half of your territory.
The Tatar Emperor announced loudly. Since the war has begun, the subsequent issues must be settled in advance.
That's right, otherwise we'd rather flee now, maybe saving many lives. Unlike you humans, the Shadow Clan's strong warriors have long been lying in ambush, with nowhere to escape. Although the number of strong warriors sent from the Shadow Star system is small, it is almost impossible to defeat them.
We must not return empty-handed, even if we die trying.
The other 2 emperors coldly echoed in agreement. The faces of Zuan Yuan's guardians and others darkened. These people were taking advantage of the chaos to rob half of the human race's territory. Whether they could win was still uncertain.
If they agreed now, wouldn't that be betraying the country? The first condition is acceptable, but the territory absolutely is not.
Besides, the battle hasn't even started yet. It's too early to discuss this now.
The Guardian Luotian finally couldn't help but shout sharply. Too early? If we don't talk now, will there still be a chance once the battle starts? Exactly. What if we win and your human race counterattacks? What will we do then? Both Ling Xiao and Wushan must sign the contract simultaneously. The Guardian of Luotian spoke firmly, and the atmosphere suddenly tensed. The 2 emperors snorted coldly at the same time, secretly thinking, if we can't reach an agreement, they plan to run? None of these stellar-level powerhouses will be able to escape. Only battle offers a glimmer of hope.
They thought that the Shadow Clan sent out just these 100,000 stars and hundreds of millions of Grandmasters, unaware that once the real fight breaks out, the stellar-level elites of the Shadow Clan will arrive within a day. By then, even if the 5 great races give their all, victory will be impossible. impossible.
Wait, you've misunderstood what I meant, haven't you?
Ling Xiao suddenly spoke, his tone calm but carrying an undeniable authority. Everyone was stunned, looking at him with confusion.
When did I ever say I needed help from your 4 clans?
Ling Xiao said coldly.
The strong warriors of the 5 clans looked at each other. Could he be trying to face the Shadow Clan alone?
Even though he was powerful, possessing the terrifying strength of the galactic realm, he was ultimately just one person.
What exactly do you mean? Emperor Shisuo watched him warily. Don't rush, I just want you to watch a show.
Ling Xiao's gaze was icy and sharp, gradually freezing over.
Haven't you always said that the human race is few in number and simply no match for us?
His voice was icy and piercing, like a sharp blade cutting through the night sky. Just now they threatened him, not taking him seriously at all.
Now, he was going to make them understand what despair truly meant.
As his words fell, the faces of the 5 clans' strong warriors changed drastically.
Could it be that Ling Xiao was really going to make a move?
He chuckled lightly and pointed at the starry sky. Everyone looked up, only to see the huge starry sky projection instantly split into 100,000 small screens, each several tens of kilometers in diameter, clearly displaying the ambush locations of the Shadow Clan's strong warriors. Experts familiar with astronomy were horrified. These screens were showing the ambush star regions of the Shadow Clan. With a rumbling sound, the starry sky simultaneously split open, and countless ships flew out from the cracks, surging toward the 5 clans like a tide.
The strong warriors of the 5 tribes looked pale. Are they going to make a move? Quick, notify the tribe. Full defense. Can't get through. The star region has been sealed off.
Panic spread, and the 5 races fell into despair.
Ling Xiao, what exactly is going on? Luo Tian, the guardian, asked anxiously. A terrifying thought surged in his mind. Could Ling Xiao be a spy for the Shadow Clan?
This thought made his face turn pale, because it was impossible for the human race to suddenly produce such a powerful genius. If Ling Xiao heard this, he would definitely be so angry that he would spit blood.
I'm an undercover agent of the Shadow Clan? You're overthinking it.
Suddenly, an excited voice came. Guardian, those Shadow Clan ships stationed within the human territory are heading towards the territories of the other 4 clans. Everyone looked on in surprise, seeing tens of thousands of ships flying towards the star regions of the 4 clans.
An unbelievable thought flashed through their minds. Could Ling Xiao really control the powerful members of the Shadow Clan?
Wait, the Scarlet Guardian said in a deep voice. It must be the legacy of a Xinghai realm expert. Ling Xiao obtained a 9th rank intelligent brain, hacked into the Shadow Clan's command system, and the attack orders must have come from him.
Suddenly, a commotion arose, and cries of surprise broke out. As his words fell, the human crowd's hearts surged with emotion, extremely excited.
The strong warriors of the 4 clans finally understood why Ling Xiao wanted them to witness such a tragic scene of the Shadow Clan.
They actually want them to watch helplessly as their entire race is completely exterminated. Ling Xiao, you are truly ruthless.
Emperor Shisuo finally lost his composure and shouted angrily.
Interesting, Ling Xiao sneered coldly. Before you came, weren't you also planning to wipe out all of my human race? And now you accuse me of being ruthless? Do you really think that once you obtain the inheritance, you will become kind saviors and spare other races?
The words of the Shisuo Emperor stirred silence among the 5 clans present.
Since the secret realm opened, it was destined that only one clan among the 5 could survive. The other 4 would either be driven out of the galaxy or be exterminated, with no exceptions. Now that the truth was revealed, they were about to be wiped out, and fear was the first emotion they felt. Ling Xiao, could you spare some lives for the Shisuo clan? After all, we belong to the same galaxy.
I am willing to die, the Shisuo Emperor finally spoke softly. The young man of the human race, upon hearing this, surprisingly felt a trace of sympathy in his heart. As long as some lives can be spared, we are all willing to die, the Tatar king echoed in a deep voice.
Another king then added. Ling Xiao gave a cold laugh, showing no mercy at all. Good performance, keep it up. As soon as the words fell, he pointed into the void, and another scene appeared.
In the scene, the emperors of the 4 clans conspired to annihilate the human race, already treating humans as playthings in their hands. Whether or not they obtained the inheritance, they were doomed to perish. At most, they could hide for a few hundred years and return after the martial god fell. This scene ignited the fury of the young human who had once felt sympathy.
Shameless, you once arrogantly sought to destroy our human race, and now you beg for mercy?
The 4 clans have long decided to exterminate our human race. On what grounds should you be allowed to live?
Lord Ling Xiao, please annihilate all the 4 clans. I am willing to pursue and kill the fleeing enemies.
The roar shook the sky as the human genius cursed the 4 races furiously. The 3 great emperors' faces changed abruptly, and they shouted angrily,
Die for me, you little brat, die.
Filled with murderous intent, the 3 emperors simultaneously launched an attack on Ling Xiao. Ling Xiao smiled, coldly watching the 3 rushing at him.
Good awareness, but unfortunately, your speed is too slow. A dazzling brilliance suddenly erupted from his body, the blinding light making it impossible for everyone to keep their eyes open.
Buzz. A radiant light enveloped the 3 emperors, instantly turning them into nothingness.
The emperors of the 4 clans all perished.
The brilliance had not yet faded, rapidly spreading millions of kilometers, turning all the strong warriors of the 4 clans into nothingness. As the light gradually dimmed, dimmed. The human warriors were horrified to find that only storage rings and high-level battlesuits remained on the battlefield. Ling Xiao was unwilling to waste good items and left them to the human race to help their strength rapidly increase. Old Luo, keep these things safe. Also, don't let the human race approach the territories of the 4 clans recently.
If the Shadow Clan finds out, I'm afraid they won't be able to return.
Ling Xiao glanced at the storage rings floating in the void and gave a calm order.
Understood, we will spread the news immediately. Guardian Luo Tian agreed.
In the air, the flames of war have ceased, leaving only the future of humanity poised to strike. The Guardian of Heaven nodded excitedly, eyes fixed on the screen. The planets of the 4 great races were slaughtered one after another. Blood stained the starry sky, and corpses covered the land. There was no mercy, only fervent excitement, for it was the bloody battles against these 4 races that forged their current strength. The hatred for these 4 great races was deep and irreconcilable. Seeing them on the brink of extinction, the heart was filled only with exhilaration. Back then, the human race was almost exterminated. If it weren't for the rise of the martial god, there would have been no trace of humans left in the Milky Way. Old Luo, there's one more thing, Ling Xiao said coldly. With a swipe of his finger, a list was rapidly sent out, landing directly in Old Luo's hands.
Hundreds of trillions. This number is staggering. Although it accounts for less than 1/10,000th of the total human population, it represents the true number of traitors. On average, there is one traitor among every 10,000 people, a probability that sends chills down the spine. Old Luo and the others looked at the list, their gazes sharp as knives, filled with shock and anger. There were actually 5 or 6 traitors present. Take them down for me. The Guardian Luo Tian's voice thundered as he gave the order without hesitation.
As soon as the list was announced, several traitors' faces changed drastically.
Boom! The 4 planetary level experts instantly unleashed their aura, attempting to escape. Humph!
With a cold snort, several stellar level energies suddenly blasted out. Ha! The 4 planetary level experts bled from their 7 orifices and instantly went limp. Swish! The human strongman burst out like a fierce tiger from its cage, quickly locking onto the targets, and more than a dozen Grandmaster level geniuses were captured one by one.
Unfair!
We are not traitors, one of the planetary level strongmen shouted in panic, filled with deep regret.
If only he had known Ling Xiao was defying fate, how could he have betrayed the human race? But betrayal is betrayal, no matter the excuse, the crime is unforgivable. How dare you still deny it?
Ling Xiao shouted angrily, back when the Kestarl Emperor died on a mission with you, you came back alive, your traitorous trick was completely exposed.
In the intermediate
star system you ruled, no S+ level genius has appeared for hundreds of years, all because you secretly assassinated them.
You several are heinous criminals, and you still dare to claim innocence?
The human guardians were burning with rage. The traitors before them were once their students, the future hope. Now they had betrayed their people, only to cling to life. Among more than 3,000 planetary level elites, there were actually over 10 traitors hidden, an extreme tragedy.
Guardian Luo Tian said coldly, regret? It's only a matter of time.
But how many talented human warriors you have killed? Your crimes are unforgivable. Some regretted out of guilt, others regretted because they were exposed. Suppress them, wait for Lord Wushan to return, and execute them all at once.
The Guardian Luo Tian ordered coldly, his eyes gleaming like blades.
Energy suddenly erupted, like thunder exploding, fiercely striking the dantian and soul cores of those strong warriors.
Boom, boom, boom. In an instant, their energy cores shattered like glass. A mouthful of fresh blood was spat out, and they fell one after another into the void, then were quickly taken away by their companions behind them. Ling Xiao's eyes were like blazing torches, anger burning in his chest. These traitors, I almost lost my life at their hands, he growled softly. The Yen-Yang Emperor was exactly that ruthless character who betrayed the human race. He not only colluded with foreign tribes but also slaughtered human geniuses for his own selfish desires. The human high command had warned him before but did not take action. If they had discovered his collusion with the alien race back then, he would have long been dead without a grave. There are quite a few selfish traitors like this among the humans. Now all of them have been placed on Ling Xiao's death list. There may be none left alive. As soon as the words fell, several guardians instantly understood Ling Xiao's resolve. Guardian Luo Tian said coldly, rest assured, all the traitors are wiped out. Ling Xiao nodded lightly and quickly flew deeper into the secret realm. Buzz! As he entered, the huge spatial rift instantly closed.
Inside the secret realm, Ling Xiao stood in front of a massive spaceship, excitement gleaming in his eyes. First, repair the vulnerabilities on the level 11 spaceship and see if it can be upgraded. He touched his chin, full of anticipation. After the upgrade, this spaceship will surpass imagination.
More importantly, only if the spaceship is upgraded will the intelligent life form Black be completely loyal and not betray. Although Brack is currently normal, Ling Xiao never allows the slightest threat to exist.
After all, this is a presence that has monitored the galaxy for hundreds of millions of years.
System, scan the number of vulnerabilities in the spaceship. Ling Xiao ordered.
Ding, detected number of vulnerabilities, 80 trillion.
The system responded calmly.
This means that after the repair, this 11th tier spaceship will leap to become a formidable 13th tier spaceship. A 13th
13th tier civilization is equivalent to a divine kingdom level, extremely terrifying.
The Milky Way is only a large planetary level. Above it are the galaxy realm, star-sea realm, and even supergiant galaxies controlled by universe-level strong beings. Above that is the star domain, gathering billions of galaxies.
The astral realm is composed of tens of thousands of star regions.
The divine kingdom civilization ranks above the astral realm, its power beyond imagination.
Ling Xiao did not hesitate. Repair immediately.
Once the repair is complete, he will be able to introduce the 13th level civilization into the virtual universe, completely blocking external surveillance. The powerful intelligence of the 13th level would simply ignore his ant-like existence. The virtual universe controls the origin of the universe. Ling Xiao will freely soar within it, with no threats able to touch him. Ding warning, repairing the spaceship will cause the secret realm space to expand to its limit, possibly bursting the secret realm. If the host does not enter the spaceship to repair it or leaves the secret realm, they may be squeezed into the void turbulence, endangering their life. The system prompted.
Ling Xiao furrowed his brows slightly, his gaze firm, and stepped into the spaceship.
However, the sudden alert sound directly rushed into Ling Xiao's mind.
What? This big? This secret realm actually has a diameter of 1 light year. Black said this 13th level spaceship is actually this terrifying in scale?
Ling Xiao was completely stunned.
A light year?
That is the distance light travels in 1 year, about 90 trillion kilometers.
The entire solar system is only about 1 light year in size, and this spaceship is actually close to that scale?
He swallowed hard, a terrifying thought of the 13th level civilization flashing through his mind. That is an existence that can be measured in trillions of light years, creating such a massive ship, not satisfied with just a small space.
Let's leave here first.
Ling Xiao's eyes were sharp as he turned and flew deeper into the spaceship. Soon, he entered a huge cabin.
Buzz.
Light and shadow fluctuated violently, and an old man slowly appeared. Black, young master. The old man saluted respectfully. Black, pilot the spaceship out of the secret realm, Ling Xiao said without hesitation.
Black's face darkened, and he said awkwardly, young master, there are 2 major reasons why the spaceship cannot fly out of the secret realm right now.
First, when my master was escaping, the spaceship was attacked by pursuers from the dark universe, and the power system was completely destroyed. Although it can be repaired, the second reason is more troublesome. I cannot expose the spaceship, or our enemies will monitor us.
Ling Xiao's heart sank. The master was already dead. The virtual universe certification was invalid, and flying out of the secret realm would immediately attract
the attention of powerful enemies. Those were realm lord level strong adversaries coming on fiercely, leaving Ling Xiao and Black with only a dead end.
I see.
Then gather all the good things in the secret realm into the spaceship's storage room, Ling Xiao said, a trace of ruthlessness flashing in his eyes.
Black was stunned. Young master, all the treasures have been secured. What's left are just scraps. Even the secret realm itself is quite valuable. The secret realm isn't cheap?
Ling Xiao frowned deeply. He knew he had the ability to upgrade the spaceship, but Brack was completely unaware. In that case, let's repair both the secret realm and the spaceship together. Ling Xiao sneered.
Since the spaceship can't move and the secret realm is priceless, why not repair both? Double upgrades mean double gains, right?
System, repair all vulnerabilities in the secret realm and the spaceship.
Ding, command accepted. Detected 5 trillion vulnerabilities in the 11th level secret realm, starting repairs.
In an instant, golden light burst forth from Ling Xiao's body, instantly enveloping the massive spaceship.
The light rapidly spread, covering the entire secret realm.
Black stood stiffly, as if frozen in place.
Rumble.
The heavens and earth shook violently. Ling Xiao looked up towards the outside of the secret realm, battle intent igniting in his eyes. The spaceship rapidly expanded wildly in an instant, spreading quickly in all directions. The spaceship, which had already reached hundreds of billions of kilometers, now rapidly inflated like a balloon. The expansion speed was astonishing. In a moment, its volume increased 100-fold, breaking through 1 trillion kilometers. Immediately, the spaceship continued to expand, reaching a length of 100 trillion kilometers. At this moment, the spaceship's size was terrifyingly immense, with a diameter reaching 1 light-year.
This meant it was even larger than the entire solar system.
Although called the solar system, with the sun accounting for more than 90% of the mass, it was like a fish swimming in the sea before this spaceship, incredibly tiny. A single spaceship could reach such a scale. With just a casual sweep, it could probably turn the solar system to ashes. But this is not the end. The spaceship continues to expand wildly. Not only the spaceship, but the secret realm also surged to a diameter of 10,000 light-years. Although the continent inside occupies only 1/10,000th of the space, it still has a diameter of several light-years. So enormous, even all the planets in the Milky Way combined cannot compare. A spaceship 1 light-year long was above, like a plate on a dining table. The secret realm continued to expand, with the continent and the spaceship expanding in sync. Eventually, the secret realm stabilized at a diameter of 100 million light-years, and the continent reached a size of 1 million light-years.
A continent 1 million light-years across was incredibly terrifying.
Even more terrifying was the spaceship, which had now reached a diameter of 10,000 light-years. Placed in the starry sky, it was almost equivalent to the entire entire Milky Way. But it was just a spaceship. If such a colossal ship were to fly across the Milky Way, the resulting fluctuations would be enough to instantly destroy the Milky Way and even the Phantom Galaxy. Ling Xiao looked at the astonishing data before him and couldn't help swallowing nervously. Fortunately, he had not placed the spaceship repair at the center of the galaxy, otherwise, the moment the repair was completed, the galaxy would have been destroyed. At that time, the human race would have faced total annihilation. Ding! Congratulations, host, the secret realm loophole has been successfully repaired, and the secret realm level has been upgraded to the 13th rank God King level. Effect gained 1, source power concentration increased from 100 to 1 million times, and the intensity of the laws increased from 100 to 1 million times. Effect 2, enable specified entrance and exit binding, allowing the host to freely enter and exit the secret realm from any location in this universe. Ding! Congratulations, host, all vulnerabilities of the 11th level spaceship Dark Demon Ship have been repaired, and the spaceship level has been upgraded to 13th level advanced. Dark Demon Ship 13th level advanced spaceship. Equipment 1 13th level advanced main weapon, 10 13th level low-grade secondary weapons, 1 million weapons from levels 10 to 12, 1 13th level intelligent life form. The cultivation space totals 1 quadrillion rooms. Ability, matter transformation, 13th level technology, spaceship size can be freely changed, minimum 100,000 kilometers, maximum 10,000 light years. Superluminal travel, can travel at a speed of 1 trillion light years per hour in the dark universe. The system prompt sounded, and the latest attributes of the spaceship appeared before Ling Xiao's eyes. Seeing this data, a glimmer of light flashed in his eyes. The source power and rule concentration in the secret realm are at least 100 times lower, and at most 1,000,000 times higher. The intensity varies in different locations, and Ling Xiao can instantly reach any corner of the secret realm. Although a millionfold rule concentration cannot directly increase comprehension speed by 1,000,000 times, the qualitative leap is absolutely extraordinary. Moreover, with Ling Xiao's own powerful innate rule body, comprehending the rules became much easier. Now that he possesses this ability, he is invincible. More importantly, Ling Xiao can actually travel freely within this universe. To any place in the universe, Ling Xiao can instantly step into a secret realm. This ability is simply unbeatable. This means that the world is like a private domain in his hands, accessible at any time and under his control. More importantly, he possesses a 13-tier spaceship. Even if a God King level powerhouse pursues him, as long as Ling Xiao can slip into the secret realm, it is the pursuer who is certain to die. He can also pilot this spaceship to roam freely in the universe. With the rank of the spaceship, Ling Xiao's status is already unshakable. He can be said to roam unimpeded. The spaceship can be reduced to a minimum diameter of 100,000 kilometers. According to the level calculation, it is about level 8. Although not top tier, it is already extremely powerful, Ling Xiao said with a cold smile at the corner of his mouth. He decisively activated the spaceship. Buzz! A strong fluctuation erupted in the void, and the spaceship rapidly contracted at an astonishing speed. A diameter of 10,000 light years, equivalent to 1 quintillion kilometers. In the blink of an eye, the spaceship shrank by 1,000,000,000,000 times, becoming a colossal object with a diameter of 100,000 kilometers, 10 times larger than Earth, and a volume 1,000 times that of Earth. Activate the spaceship's intelligence system. Suddenly, a cold electronic voice came from the void. The spaceship's intelligent core, Black, had been upgraded to a 13th level advanced intelligent life form. He was not only a psychic but also incredibly powerful, capable of easily defeating a God King. Most importantly, Black is absolutely loyal to Ling Xiao and has long abandoned his former master. Start! Ling Xiao ordered without hesitation. Buzz! As the words fell, a wave instantly enveloped Black. A stream of data flashed by, and he opened his eyes. Black felt the power within his body and exclaimed in shock, "I've reached the 13th level." Immediately, he quickly looked towards Ling Xiao. "Black, greetings to the master." He knelt down and saluted, showing utmost respect. "Rise, no need for such formalities." Ling Xiao smiled. With such powerful support, life safety is almost assured. "Thank you, master." Black slowly stood up. "You said before that you would tell me about the previous owner. Now, please do. By the way, also give me an introduction to the current state of the universe." The ship's level had been restored, and Ling Xiao lowered his guard, asking with great curiosity, "At your command, master." "I will start from the beginning." Black spoke. "The great universe is divided into 4 major regions. The first region is occupied by the Star Beast race, ruled by the 10 divine beast races, possessing thousands of supreme realm elites. Their greatest characteristic is having a star core within their bodies. Races without star cores are called intelligent races, mainly distributed in the second region. Although the region is the smallest, it contains more than 800 supreme divine nations. The supreme divine kingdom is established by supreme realm strong beings, with each divine kingdom governing at least tens of trillions of cosmic divine kingdoms. Cosmic divine kingdoms are divided into 3 tiers. The lowest are 3rd-tier divine kingdoms ruled by God King realm. Higher are 2nd-tier divine kingdoms controlled by immortal realm strong beings. The highest are 1st-tier divine kingdoms governed by undying realm strong beings. The Below the third-tier cosmic divine kingdoms are the star realms, controlled by realm lord-level strong beings, whose civilizations are called cosmic empires.
Below that is the
star regions, territories controlled by domain-level powerful beings, if capable of nurturing civilizations, are known as cosmic kingdoms.
If the strength is slightly weaker, it is a galaxy.
The weakest galaxy civilizations are controlled by star-level powerful beings, whose strength is at the galaxy realm,
capable of controlling super-large galaxies.
Even stronger are the Starsea realm, controlling giant galaxies. Universe-level powerful beings dominate supergiant galaxies.
The gap between each level is immense, and the chasm between civilizations is equally insurmountable. The Milky Way you are in is currently ruled by the Destruction Supreme Divine Kingdom.
Below it are, in order, the Dark Demon Heavenly Cosmic Divine Kingdom, Black Dragon Star Realm, Extreme Cold Star Region, and finally the Milky Way.
Brack slowly revealed the information he had.
When it came to the human domain, he was particularly detailed. When Ling Xiao heard Extreme Cold Star Domain, a cold light flashed in his eyes.
Wait, the Extreme Cold Star Domain you mentioned, is it the one ruled by the Extreme Cold Sovereign?
The Extreme Cold Sovereign once personally said that her territory was the Extreme Cold Star Domain.
If that is truly the case, it is both reasonable and understandable. A remnant soul state makes it difficult to travel far, so it can only linger within its territory. The Master speaks truly. The Extreme Cold Star Domain is controlled by the Extreme Cold Sovereign.
1,000,000 years ago, she was shattered by a powerful being and has yet to recover. That powerful being is none other than the ruler of the Black Dragon Star Realm, the Black Dragon Lord, who killed your previous master. Blackrock's tone was icy cold, and when mentioning the Black Dragon Lord, his hatred was hard to conceal. The previous master was like a close friend. With his friend killed, his anger burned fiercely. If it weren't for Ling Xiao's orders, he would have long since wanted to slay the Black Dragon Lord.
Now, his strength is sufficient. I see. By the way, what about Sikong Shui and her master? They just returned, so why haven't I seen them?
Ling Xiao suddenly remembered this matter. Inside the secret realm, Sikong Shui, under her master's control, flew towards the exit.
I'm exhausted. Why is this secret realm so huge? How long have I been flying?
She looked down. Even with the strength of a galactic realm flying, she still couldn't see the boundary. She was on the verge of collapse.
Billions of kilometers away, she was already distant, yet the view remained boundless. Could the secret realm really be 100 light-years in diameter?
This was definitely not an 11th level realm. It was clearly a 12th level secret realm. If she knew the secret realm had expanded to a diameter of 100 million light-years, she would surely explode with anger. It was simply impossible to enter the dark universe here. Otherwise, it would take millions of years just to get out. The secret realm's space was far more powerful than the main universe and was difficult to rupture and repair. After damage, the main universe quickly healed itself, but the secret realm required precious heavenly materials and earthly treasures to restore.
Master, let's go back. Let Ling Xiao see us out. Sikong Shui couldn't help but speak. No, we're not going back.
If you want to go back, go by yourself. The Extreme Cold Supreme flew off in a huff, determined to prove he could fly out of here on his own.
By the way, you said the universe is divided into 4 major regions. Where are the other 2 regions? Ling Xiao asked Black with confusion.
Black replied, the 3rd region is sealed and contains the Tianma clan.
The origin of the Tianma clan is unknown.
In ancient times, they nearly exterminated other species in the universe, but were ultimately sealed away by the combined forces of the Star Beast clan and the intelligent species.
Here lies the remnant of the ancient universe, the heart of the cosmos. Once its center, the universe continuously expands.
In those days, the Demon clan ruled everything, but the great beings of the intelligent races and the Star Beast clans united to seal them away, fleeing with their people into the newly expanded cosmic territories. Thousands of years passed, and the new universe was gradually occupied by the intelligent races and Star Beast clans, covering about 1/10 the area of the ancient universe. One day, the first intelligent life broke through its limits and became a supreme being.
He rapidly expanded and established an empire for all intelligent life of the mechanical race.
At first, the 2 major races did not pay attention, but as the mechanical race consecutively produced the 2nd and 3rd supreme beings, their power rapidly expanded, becoming the 4th largest faction in the universe, occupying 1/5 of the new universe's star regions.
The ruler of the mechanical race is the virtual universe.
Strangely, the existence of the virtual universe allowed the mechanical race to avoid conflicts with other races, and neither the intelligent race nor the Star Beast race interfered with the development of the mechanical race. As for why this is so, even I do not know. Perhaps only those supreme beings understand the truth.
Brack slowly told Ling Xiao everything he knew.
Ling Xiao was filled with doubts, but he understood that even Brack, a 13th level civilization being, could not answer these mysteries. Set that aside for now, strength is more important. Ling Xiao clenched his fist, his eyes firm. Right now, I am only at the Grandmaster level, not even touching the true realm of the strong. Although helpless, he was not in a hurry. More than 10 days of cultivation had already made him a terrifying existence.
The strongest warriors of the human race are no match. If given a few years, how will the horizon be rewritten? By the way, Black, besides the Dark Demon scripture, what other top-level techniques in martial arts do you have? Ling Xiao asked urgently.
Master, the spaceship and I have reached the 13th level, but the technique and martial arts library has not been updated. Besides the Dark Demon scripture, the highest levels include the Extreme Cold Sacred Classic and the Divine Light Sacred Classic.
The Divine Light Sacred Classic comes from that 11th level angel, the Supreme Holy Light. My lord obtained this technique and its star core after killing him back then. These three are all among the 8 sacred texts of the Kingdom of Kasa. The Kingdom of Kasa, a second-tier divine kingdom, is ruled by the Kasa Divine Emperor, an immortal-level powerhouse who once killed an immortal-level great being using the 8 divisions sacred scriptures.
It is rumored that combining the 8 divisions techniques can reach the 15th level of immortality, but this is just a legend. After the Kasa Divine Emperor died in the Heavenly Demon Seal, the 8 divisions techniques scattered everywhere. 1.3 billion years ago, my predecessor, the Dark Supreme, gathered them all and cultivated for hundreds of millions of years to achieve great success. Unfortunately, in one battle, he was discovered by the Black Dragon Lord who also possessed the Wind Scripture, one of the 8 divisions. The former master was blasted to death, and shortly after his fragmented soul escaped, it dissipated completely. The Extreme Cold Supreme once discovered the Extreme Cold Scripture and was pursued by the Black Dragon Lord when it was nearing perfection. Although it did not escape, its fragmented soul survived thanks to a soul defense artifact, its luck far surpassing that of my master. Blackrock sighed as he recounted. The cultivation methods of the 8 divisions each have 12 levels, and combined can reach the 15th level of immortality? This is a treasure. I must acquire them all. Ling Zhao's eyes gleamed with desire.
If one can master all of this.
If one can master the 8 martial arts techniques, Ling Xiao will gain 2 major shocking advantages.
First, the power of all 8 elements can be directly enhanced, and the level will be at least 13th rank, extremely formidable.
Second, after the fusion of the 8 martial arts techniques, the strength will soar to the 15th rank.
This 15th rank is still the original martial arts level without any enhancement.
As long as it is strengthened, the level will soar extraordinarily. The 15th level itself already belongs to the realm of immortality. If further strengthened, it can surpass the supreme peak and be within reach.
However, in the vast universe, finding the 8-part cultivation methods is extremely difficult.
Although the virtual universe offers 15th level cultivation methods for sale, the prices are outrageously high, and Ling Xiao simply cannot afford them. Even if he could repair the cultivation technique for sale, it would be difficult to bear the risk. Without enough strength to show himself, the virtual universe, though seemingly safe on the surface, is actually filled with hidden dangers.
Once the opponent's bottom line is crossed, who can stop the seizure? I can only find a way to slowly collect them.
Fortunately, I already have 3 volumes. I'll first cultivate the remaining 2 to the extreme before doing anything else, Ling Xiao decisively decided. Black, bring up the highest level physical cultivation techniques from the martial skills database: gun techniques, body techniques, defensive martial skills, and the other 2 techniques as well.
Give them all to me, he ordered coldly. At your command, master.
Black respectfully responded, instantly mobilizing all his martial arts techniques. Scrolls of martial arts manuals quickly appeared before his eyes. The Dark Supreme's favorite collection of martial arts techniques in life. All of these techniques are top-tier 11th level. Ling Xiao nodded with satisfaction. As long as he breaks through the innate law body's limit tomorrow, he will be able to quickly cultivate these techniques to perfection. Without breaking through limits, with his current talent, it would take at least several decades to perfect a single cultivation method, and the state of perfection is far beyond ordinary levels. Those who achieve it are almost legendary, requiring a lifetime of honing. Someone summarized that the time needed to go from proficiency to mastery is less than 1/10,000th of the time required to go from mastery to perfection, and the time increases even more as the cultivation method's level rises.
Master, I have a cultivation method here that you might need, Black suddenly said. Ling Xiao asked curiously, what cultivation method? Black did not say much and directly showed the introduction of the cultivation method.
Ling Xiao's pupils suddenly contracted, and he exclaimed excitedly, damn, this cultivation method suits me perfectly.
Spirit differentiation, 9th rank, lower grade, with 4 levels.
When cultivated to the first level, consciousness can split into 2, fighting on 2 fronts, doubling cultivation efficiency. The second level has 4 consciousnesses, the third level has 8, and the fourth level even has 16 consciousnesses existing simultaneously. This cultivation method is simple and straightforward, dividing consciousness, which is equivalent to multitasking. At the highest level of cultivation, Ling Xiao can simultaneously use 16 consciousnesses to cultivate in sync. Although it is only 9th rank, for a genius like Ling Xiao, it is practically a divine skill.
Master, this cultivation method is extremely popular in the great universe.
If cultivated to the limit, out of the 16 consciousnesses, 15 can control the physical body and reality to practice cultivation methods and martial skills, while the 16th consciousness can enter the virtual universe to explore. This not only solves the problem of having too many cultivation methods but also greatly accelerates the cultivation speed.
Brack explained with a smile. Indeed, this cultivation method is a divine artifact to me.
Although it is 9th rank, it has great potential. Ling Xiao nodded with satisfaction.
9th rank is no problem.
I still have 2 repair opportunities left. One is planned to be used to strengthen what has already reached perfection.
Frenzied absorption.
And this time, without a doubt, it was the soul-splitting cultivation method right before his eyes. Ling Xiao closed his eyes and immediately began to cultivate. He thought to himself, put everything else aside for now, break through this level first.
Fucking awesome. The difficulty of cultivating this soul-splitting technique is damn high.
Every time, you have to tear off a small piece of your soul, activate its independent consciousness,
and then absorb it back.
Ling Xiao sneered. This thing can only be handled by top-tier experts. If your level is too low, tearing your soul apart will turn you into an idiot in minutes. A slight smirk appeared at the corner of his mouth, and a trace of arrogance flashed in his eyes. Tearing the soul apart? Child's play. Shra! A tearing sound ripped through the air from the depths of the soul. Ling Xiao hesitated not at all and split his soul in two. Immediately after, he followed the guidance of the cultivation method and began to activate the consciousness of the torn soul fragments. Activating consciousness seems simple, but the real difficulty lies in tearing the soul and then quickly merging it back before it dissipates after the soul fragments are activated. If the fusion is not done in time, not only will the soul be damaged, but a long period of recuperation will be required, and in severe cases, cultivation progress may even regress. The soul healing elixir is priceless. If you don't have the money, don't try it. Ruining yourself isn't worth it. But for Ling Xiao, the hardest step was actually the simplest, activating the consciousness that others saw as the easiest. In a few seconds, the independent consciousness of the soul fragment was successfully awakened. Buzz! The two halves of the soul instantly merged, without any abnormalities, perfectly fused. After the fusion was complete, Ling Xiao felt an additional subordinate consciousness. This consciousness could only practice and comprehend martial arts techniques, completely obeying the main consciousness and never acting on its own. Practicing martial skills and comprehending techniques now proceeded simultaneously, no longer interfering with each other. Previously, he could also cultivate both at the same time, but the efficiency always dropped somewhat. Now, there was no obstacle at all. Ding! Congratulations, host. The soul differentiation technique has successfully broken through the first level.
Number of consciousnesses, 2.
A prompt sound rang out. Ling Xiao smiled with satisfaction and immediately ordered the second consciousness to continue cultivating the soul differentiation.
In an instant, the soul split again, and the new consciousness gradually took shape. The main consciousness controlled the body, eyes scanning the remaining techniques.
The system said that when the vulnerabilities in physical body type cultivation methods and some martial skills reach the trillion level blessings can be unlocked.
It is unknown whether these cultivation methods have potential. Excitement flickered in Ling Xiao's eyes as he began to check the vulnerabilities one by one.
The first one, an 11th rank peak physical body type cultivation method, had 300 billion vulnerabilities, far from the standard. After repair, it would at most rise to the 12th rank. Later, he had seen miracles where a single repair boosted the rank by 4 or 5 levels, but obviously this cultivation method had limited potential. He himself was extremely perfect, so there was naturally little room for improvement. He turned to the second corporeal cultivation method, which had over 50 million flaws, still somewhat unsatisfactory.
Ling Xiao continued to browse through, reviewing the 11th level cultivation methods one by one.
One of them had flaws exceeding a trillion. As long as it was repaired and combined with system support, it would directly advance to the immortal level. Ling Xiao calmly said, using this opportunity on a trillion level flaw is too much of a waste. Helpless, he continued searching, determined to find a more suitable breakthrough point. Unable to find the perfect one, he could only choose a 10th rank mid-grade cultivation method with flaws as high as 330 billion for now, temporarily preserving this upgrade opportunity.
In the future, he might find a top-grade method with fewer flaws.
Ling Xiao jumped directly from 11th rank low-grade to 10th rank, where cultivation methods were as numerous as the sea, numbering in the thousands.
He searched frantically and surprisingly found
several methods with flaws exceeding 20 to 30 billion.
Although the rank was low, a high number of flaws meant better quality. A lower rank meant it was easier to cultivate to a perfect state.
This cultivation method, Ling Xiao's eyes lit up as he locked onto a 10th rank mid-grade technique called Body of the Mad God. It had a loophole count as high as 330 trillion. It was said to be a peerless technique personally crafted by the god King Ares. The cultivation requirements were extremely strict, needing at least the 10th transformation of the Qi and Blood realm. When activating the war god body, flesh and blood rapidly dissolved. The dissolution speed increased with cultivation level.
If the practitioner failed to kill the enemy quickly, they would burn out completely.
The technique was divided into 6 heavens, each heaven doubled the physical strength, reaching up to 32 times at the highest level. Ling Xiao was secretly pleased. The number of loopholes was astonishing. If he could cultivate it to the limit, his strength would be immeasurable. He realized this technique was similar to his Tianma blood escape effect, both relying on sacrificing one's own flesh and blood to gain power.
Theoretically, only one could be chosen, and they could not be used simultaneously.
If they could stack, his Tianma blood escape would repair in seconds and then sacrifice again, making his combat power increase by thousands of times, which was simply absurd. After weighing the options, he chose the Mad God body without hesitation. Although the demonic blood escape technique could be upgraded to immortality, the process was long and required countless repairs, and raising the limit also required realm ascension, making breakthroughs difficult in the short term. Of course, he would continue to cultivate the demonic blood escape, as it could not only strengthen the body but also enhance the soul. The blood escape index was also extremely important. Although it could not be stacked, he still wanted to see if there was any additional blessing. Ling Xiao immediately split off consciousness and began cultivating the Mad God body. At this time, his divine soul had already split into the third layer, allowing him to control 8 consciousnesses simultaneously. The Mad God body, formations, spear techniques, movement techniques, and more were all included in the cultivation plan. Even so, he still had 1 or 2 consciousnesses in a dormant state. My cultivation methods and martial skills are too few. This soul differentiation flaw amounts to 300 billion. After repair, it can differentiate into hundreds of consciousnesses. Theoretically, I can cultivate hundreds of martial skills simultaneously. Dormant consciousnesses only slow down cultivation, so it's better to open multiple martial skills. He pondered skills like alchemy, forging, and machinery, secretly deciding the more martial skills, the greater the abilities, and the higher the chance of being undefeated on the battlefield. After all, he is Ling Xiao. Rumor has it that some great powers choose their successors with extreme strictness, only caring whether you know swordsmanship or boxing, whether you are an alchemist or a forger. Under such conditions, countless geniuses failed to even qualify for the assessment and were abruptly eliminated. Ling Xiao would never allow himself to become like that. He could forego inheritance, but his qualification must never be taken away. With this in mind, he hesitated not for a moment and frantically selected from the martial arts library spear techniques, fist techniques, saber techniques, sword techniques, hammer techniques, leg techniques, every weapon style he could think of. He gathered them all. With the massive inventory of Dark Supreme, none of these martial skills are without flaws. The minimum flaw level is in the trillions. There are currently no fixes, but there will always be opportunities in the future. The gun technique he chose, Great Destruction Gun Technique, has an astonishing flaw level of 13 trillion. The body movement skill 9 Heavens Instant Flash has 8 trillion flaws, and the soul and physical defense skill Great Sun Golden Body has 7 trillion flaws. Once these 3 cultivation methods are mastered to the extreme and all flaws are repaired, they will become Ling Xiao's most powerful trump card. His strength will surely surge. Not only that, he also acquired the basic entry knowledge of 9 strong secondary professions such as refining artifacts, alchemy, machinery, and runes, all transmitted into his mind. Ding! Congratulations, host, your soul differentiation cultivation has reached a perfect state and your consciousness differentiation can reach 16, the system prompt sounded. For Ling Xiao now, perfect cultivation of 9th rank techniques is effortless. After all, he had already spent an hour selecting these martial skills. System, immediately fixed the vulnerabilities in soul division and frenzied absorption. Ling Xiao ordered decisively. Ding! Detected 300 billion vulnerabilities in soul division, 200 billion in frenzied absorption. Starting repair, the system responded swiftly. Boom! In an instant, a torrent of memories flooded the mind, and 2 advanced cultivation techniques suddenly appeared. Because they had been previously cultivated to perfection, Ling Xiao instantly broke through the limit. Ding! The soul differentiation level has risen to the boundary lord level, with an 8-layer limit, and consciousness can be divided into 256 parts. Ding! The berserk absorption has advanced to the boundary lord level, with blood and energy absorption speed increased by 256 times, and soul absorption increased by 128 times. After hearing this, Ling Xiao smiled broadly. 256 consciousnesses? This means I can cultivate 256 different techniques simultaneously. The berserk absorption directly increased by 2 major realms, the cultivation speed more than tripled, almost reaching his expected limit. Qi and blood recover 13 million per minute and soul power reaches 8 million per minute. At this speed, even he himself was shocked. His body automatically entered training mode, with more than 30 consciousness clones operating simultaneously, practicing 18 weapon styles, 10 secondary professions, and all remaining techniques with full effort. Using the consciousness martial arena, dozens of clones fiercely sparred in the arena, with speed and efficiency off the charts. At this moment, Ling Xiao's frenzied cultivation was unstoppable. Black stood aside, eyes unblinking, taking everything in. Ling Xiao cultivated more than 10 types of techniques, martial skills, and professions at once. He was completely stunned. Ahem. Master, although you can divide your soul, cultivating so many at once, can your soul handle it? The more consciousnesses operating simultaneously, the greater the burden on the soul. Brock finally couldn't help but speak up to remind him. Train all at once? You only have one body. This is also why the consciousness differentiation level is only at the 9th rank and cannot be infinitely divided. Otherwise, it would be useless. Very few people can simultaneously control more than 4 consciousnesses, but Ling Xiao had already arranged all the consciousnesses and slowly opened his eyes. I understand clearly, no need to worry, I know my limits. With a slight slight smile at the corner of his mouth, he slowly stood up.
Crack, crack, crack. Bones crazily creaked. Cracks suddenly burst open on his body and then instantly closed. Black swallowed nervously. What exactly has Ling Xiao cultivated? Why is his physical body recovering at an absurdly fast rate? Ding!
Congratulations, host. Sword technique unlocked. Level, early beginner, 0 out of 100.
Ding! Saber technique unlocked. Level, early beginner, 0 out of 100. Ding! Fist technique unlocked. Level, early beginner, 0 out of 100. Ding!
Secondary profession alchemist activated. Level, first rank low grade, 0/100.
Ding!
Secondary profession artificer activated. Level, first rank low grade, 0/100.
Ding!
Secondary profession formation master activated. Level, first rank low grade, 0/100.
Ding!
Martial art frenzied god body has reached the entry level.
Ding!
Martial skill 9 heavens flash reached beginner level.
Ding!
Martial skill great destruction spear technique reached beginner level. Just a few seconds after standing up, the notification sounds kept ringing continuously. Ling Xiao secretly sighed. This is really like cheating. Unfortunately, these cultivation methods and martial skills are only beginner level. Mastering them perfectly will still take a long time. There's no choice but to wait until tomorrow. He shook his head helplessly. As for other secondary professions and skills, they could catch up to the levels of the previous formations and spear techniques.
Let him go practice. By the way, it's time to deal with the Phantom Clan.
Ling Xiao suddenly remembered.
Blake, start the spaceship and head to the Phantom Galaxy.
His tone was calm.
Yes, Master, the spaceship is starting. Course locked to the Phantom Galaxy. The Phantom Galaxy, 5 million light-years in diameter, is immense.
Hundreds of thousands of years ago, it was home to multiple intelligent species. But after the Shadow Clan appeared, the strong were numerous, each fearless of any physical attack. The natives were completely unable to resist and were utterly defeated within 3,000 years. Over hundreds of thousands of years, the Shadow Clan expanded wildly and slaughtered, eventually exterminating all other races tens of thousands of years ago. Their gaze is now fixed on the surrounding areas. At the peak of dozens of massive galaxies, tens of thousands of years ago, they began to infiltrate and lay out the surrounding star regions.
Now, 5 or 6 large galaxies have been completely destroyed by the Phantom Clan.
The next target is the Milky Way, controlled by the 5 major races. The infiltration of the Milky Way has lasted for 1,000 years, all for a single strike to crush the 5 races, bringing 10,000 years of slavery and slaughter. At this moment, dozens of stellar-level powerhouses gathered on the Phantom Emperor star at the core of the Phantom Galaxy. This terrifying star, with a diameter of 300 million kilometers, has a volume exceeding that of many giant stars. In the Milky Way, there is simply no planet as massive as this. This planet was not naturally formed. It was forged by a galactic-level powerhouse among the original inhabitants of the Phantom Galaxy, who used great power to merge millions of planets and countless meteorites. Unfortunately, in just a few 100,000 years, this planet has been ravaged by the Shadow Clan to the brink of disintegration.
On the planet's surface, volcanoes erupt incessantly, and the land is scorching like a hell.
The Shadow Clan rebels in it. The volcanic heat causes them no harm, instead becoming a perfect backdrop.
Master, over 1,000 years have passed. Shouldn't we make our move on the galaxy?
The Phantom Shadow Temple, covering an area of 1 million kilometers, had a dark phantom shadow hundreds of kilometers tall, respectfully speaking, at its center. Their ruler was a galaxy-level Phantom Shadow powerhouse. At this moment, the Phantom Shadow ruler transformed into a man-shaped figure shrouded in darkness. The massive original form was a burden for a powerhouse of this level, so he chose to transform into an ordinary man. Though his figure was that of a normal person, he exuded a terrifying aura that made the space tremble.
How is the infiltration plan progressing? The Shadow Overlord asked calmly. Reporting to the Overlord, 100,000 planetary-level kin are lurking throughout the galaxy. With just one command, the 5 major races will collapse overnight.
Once the intelligence core blocks enemy communications, the galaxy will become a prison for our race. The Peak Stellar Realm Shadow spoke again. He was the strongest in the Shadow Galaxy besides the Overlord.
What is the current status of the human clan's martial god? In deep thought, the Phantom Overlord furrowed his brows.
Over the years, he had devoured the souls of the galaxy-level strong warriors he had slain, and had just completed the fusion, knowing very little about the situation in the Milky Way. But he had grasped the general situation. When the martial god rose, he foresaw that it was very likely to advance to the galaxy level. Originally, he could have wiped out the Milky Way in one stroke, but he chose to stay temporarily, scheming for greater benefits. Calculations now suggest that the martial god's power may have already reached the galactic level. If not, survival would be unlikely.
Master 15, it is somewhat regrettable.
Although the martial god has trained through multiple 8th and 9th tier civilizations in recent years, he has yet to break through to the galactic level. Unfortunately, his civilization does not meet the entry standards for our Ice Star Domain's virtual universe. Otherwise, he could have used the virtual universe to aid his leap. The stellar tenfold heaven shadow expert said helplessly. If the martial god steps into the galactic realm, the Shadow Overlord must personally intervene to devour his soul soul, and his strength will rise to an even higher level. What a pity. By the way, a new genius has recently emerged among the human race. How is the talent of the new star? Is there hope to break through to the galactic realm? If there is hope, I can patiently wait for tens of thousands of years. Besides, I can exchange a broken mirror pill in the virtual universe to help the martial god enter the galactic realm. The Shadow Sovereign spoke with a firm tone. After all, emerging civilizations without a background and not connected to the virtual universe are extremely difficult to find. Harvesting the fruits after tens of thousands of years will definitely be a wonderful thing.
Back then, the native inhabitants of
the Shadow Clan were chosen by him precisely because they had no backing and their civilization level was only at the 8th tier. He even decided to personally help the martial god break through the realm.
Master, records show that the human race indeed has an SS-level gifted genius named Ling Xiao.
His talent theoretically far surpasses the martial god, but I do not recommend cultivating him because his awakened ability is the fire attribute of the solar star flame.
The Shadow Overlord reported calmly. The above is data on the human race,
but my monitoring shows that Ling Xiao has obtained the inheritance of a certain 7th level civilization, possesses an independent 7th level intelligent brain, and also wields the holy light power that is extremely lethal to the Shadow Clan.
His talent is very likely to reach SSS level.
The elder of the Shadow Clan respectfully responded. As the one in charge of the supreme main brain, he had insight into all human race data, including many secrets. Ling Xiao possesses the holy light power, which few know about. His only time taking action was when entering the Yin Yang Academy.
Even though the
7th level intelligent brain shielded the human race's supreme main brain, it could not conceal it from the Shadow Clan's 8th level main brain. As soon as the words of the great elder of the Phantom appeared, the expressions of more than 10,000 star-level powerhouses around him changed drastically.
How is this possible? The power of the holy light? This child must not be allowed to stay.
Not to mention the galactic realm. Even at the 10th level of the star realm, with the power of the holy light, he has the strength to defeat the Phantom Overlord. What the Phantom Clan fears most is not fire energy, but light energy. Although fire emits light, the power of the holy light is the highest level of light energy they can come into contact with. A flash of light appeared, causing all the strong members of the Shadow Clan to tremble. Since it is the power of the holy light, I will wait no longer.
Immediately issue the order for a full-scale attack on the Milky Way. Dispatch
100 stellar-level elites to kill this Ling Xiao at all costs. He must not be allowed to live, the Shadow Overlord ordered coldly. Even he furrowed his brows at the words holy light.
An SSS-level talent meant that Ling Xiao was almost certain to become a galactic-level powerhouse. If he escaped and came looking for trouble later, even the Overlord would be doomed to defeat. Must be eliminated immediately.
Dispatching 100 stellar-level powerhouses clearly shows his fear of the power of the holy light.
Understood. Understood. Order received.
The stellar-level warriors who heard the order were all ecstatic. They were finally going to slaughter the Milky Way. They quickly rushed towards their ships.
Wait, why is my communicator malfunctioning?
A stellar-level phantom asked suspiciously. Before he finished speaking, the surrounding stellar-level warriors all checked their communicators, only to be horrified to find that they were all out of order.
My system is down too.
Elder, is there a problem with the Supreme Mainframe?
Cannot contact the Supreme Mainframe.
Over 10,000 stellar realm shadow experts in the hall trembled. A single communication failure could be explained, but a total failure affecting everyone, even the Supreme Mainframe being unreachable, was no small matter. Deep within the temple, the sovereign sat on the throne, his expression grave, attempting to contact the Supreme Mainframe, but to no avail. Suddenly, his pupils constricted, and he shouted angrily,
"Why is everyone gathered here today?" The sound was like thunder, shaking the entire venue.
All the stellar-level strong members of the Shadow Clan were instantly stunned. The Grand Elder of the Shadows hurriedly responded.
He quickly stepped forward, his voice firm. "Lord Sovereign, weren't you the one who summoned us to discuss the plan to attack the Milky Way?" The Grand Elder frowned, his tone filled with doubt. "Weren't you the ones who came to consult me? I was still cultivating when you woke me up. It seems our Shadow Clan is being monitored by a higher-level civilization."
The Shadow Sovereign took a deep breath, spoke coldly, and slowly rose from the throne, his gaze piercing the depths of the starry sky like a sharp sword.
His voice thundered, "Since you've come, don't think about escaping. Let's go and see which civilization dares to make a move against my Shadow Clan."
Burning with rage, the Shadow Sovereign showed no fear, only endless fury. The Shadow Clan was by no means a single branch. The Shadow Star system was just one of many bases.
The true Shadow Clan was unimaginably powerful.
As his words fell, he flew out of the temple, followed closely by over 10,000 stellar-level elites, their momentum overwhelming.
Boom, boom, boom.
At this moment, countless 6th-level spaceships surged in like a tide from all directions.
Immediately after, one planetary-level powerhouse
after another descended upon the Phantom Emperor star. The sky was covered with countless ships, creating an extremely shocking scene. All the Phantom Clan strongholds in the arena felt a heavy weight in their hearts, realizing that the situation was dire. Gathering all planetary level and above powerhouses could only mean one thing: to capture them all in one fell swoop. They had used used this method before against other 7th-level civilizations with minimal losses.
But now, it was their turn, and fury burned throughout the entire clan. Who is it? Show yourself if you dare.
The Phantom Emperor snorted coldly, his voice exploding like thunder, instantly sweeping across all directions.
The Phantom Emperor's star trembled violently.
The next moment, the Phantom Emperor, accompanied by 10,000 stellar-level elites, soared into the sky, instantly piercing through the atmosphere and leaping into the starry sky. In the starry sky, millions of 6th-tier ships were densely arranged, surrounding an area spanning hundreds of millions of kilometers, forming a terrifying encirclement.
Boom!
Suddenly, a melodious bell toll exploded from the depths of the endless void.
An invisible wave swept through at an astonishing speed.
Passing through stars and spaceships, everything it touched instantly turned to nothingness. The destructive shockwave continued to crush forward, shaking the minds of all the Shadow Warriors.
The black mist on their bodies surged wildly, clearly intimidated by the unprecedented sight.
Damn, that's the sound of the 10th-level tech weapon, the Star Execution Bell.
The Shadow Emperor's face changed drastically as he exclaimed in shock. What? 9th-level tech weapon? Star Execution Bell? Who exactly have we offended? That's it, are we doomed to die? Despair spread. 10th-level technological weapons represented world-destroying power. With the strength of the Phantom Emperor, 8th-level intermediate
technological weapons could be resisted, but above the 9th level, especially the 10th level, it was like using a nuclear bomb to strike mosquitoes.
At this moment, the Phantom clan could only watch death approach helplessly.
Buzz. The destructive chime swept through, and everything it touched turned to ashes. Whether it was a 6th-tier spaceship, a 7th-tier spaceship, or planetary-level and stellar-level powerhouses, even the enormous Phantom Emperor star, all instantly turned to nothingness before this terrifying force. The Phantom Emperor trembled all over, despair surging like a tide.
They're dead, everyone is dead. However, as the energy wave swept by, he was surprised to find that the force actually bypassed him.
He didn't understand why the powerful one in the shadows spared his life.
He knew he was doomed.
At first, he was indifferent. The Shadow Clan dominated the Ice Star domain, ruling over 10 supergiant star systems and possessing over 100 cosmic-level strong warriors. Even if the opponent used advanced technology to block him, he was not afraid. If the opponent was not a mortal enemy of the Shadow Clan, they would never act rashly. But now, he was completely panicked. The opponent wielded a 10th-level weapon, with strength comparable to the Shadow Clan, and there must be a cosmic-level powerhouse within their ranks.
Even if he killed him, the Shadow Clan's leaders would never go to war with a 10th-level civilization over a mere lackey.
Despair engulfed his heart. In the midst of chaotic thoughts, the main star of the Phantom Galaxy and thousands of life-bearing planets, along with all the strong beings, instantly turned into nothingness, their souls and bodies scattered across the starry sky. The starry sky was empty, with only one extremely terrified Phantom Emperor remaining.
Buzz.
Suddenly, a fluctuation came from the depths of the starry sky, and a medium-sized spaceship slowly appeared. The spaceship steadily stopped in front of the Phantom Emperor. The spaceship, with a diameter of 1,000,000 kilometers, was reduced in size but still exuded a powerful aura above the 9th level.
Click.
The cabin door opened, and the young boy stepped out slowly, followed by a mysterious old man.
Galactic human race? Impossible.
The Phantom Emperor's face changed drastically, full of shock, upon seeing Ling Xiao and the old man.
He had already taken human form, with expressions indistinguishable from those of a human.
He was not imitating the appearance of the galactic race, but was the strongest humanoid intelligent species in the arid race universe, looking exactly like the galactic race. Although the arid race had mediocre innate talent, their vast numbers and wide distribution produced countless geniuses. They possess extremely strong assimilation abilities. After hundreds of generations of intermarriage, the descendants of other races also become part of the archaic tribe. Coupled with the legacy of ancient royal strongholds, the archaic tribe has always dominated the pinnacle of intelligent races. Although the human race in the Milky Way resembles the archaic tribe in appearance, they are mostly lower-tier races. In the universe, humanoid races emerge endlessly, and the measure of nobility is based on their similarity to the archaic tribe. Ling Xiao was exactly one of the outstanding ones among them. Content unfinished, to be continued. No matter how many resources there are, it is difficult to elevate a civilization beyond the 10th tier. Most civilizations ultimately hover around the edge of the 7th or 8th tier, unless discovered by the archaic tribe and accepted, or unless two prodigies defying the heavens appear to lead the civilization beyond its limits, connecting to the virtual universe, undergoing trials, and gaining power equal to the archaic tribe's bloodline. Only then can they truly integrate with the archaic tribe and embrace an infinite future. Otherwise, they can only struggle to survive in the corners until their species becomes extinct.
The Phantom Emperor was shocked, not because such similarities are uncommon among low-level species like the galactic humans and the archaic tribe.
What shocked him was that it was actually the galactic race controlling the 9th-level spaceship. No mistaken identification, it was Ling Xiao wearing the Wushan suit evolved from the Shenwu set.
Having a thorough understanding of the human race, how could he be wrong?
That's right, I am from the galactic race.
Now you should understand why I have wiped out your Shadow Clan, right?
Ling Xiao stared at the Phantom Emperor, a cold smile curling at the corner of his mouth. I am Ling Xiao, the one you just said you would send 100 stellar-level experts to kill. As the words fell, the Phantom Emperor's expression changed drastically. Many strong members of the clan had long warned the human race should not be provoked lightly. Once accepted by the Huang clan, the Phantom clan might face destruction. After destroying several humanoid race star systems, he had long forgotten these words. At this moment, seeing the galactic human race controlling such advanced technology, he concluded that this person must have been recognized by a powerful member of the arid race. That powerful arid race individual was very likely the elder beside Ling Xiao. It was just strange that the elder's demeanor was more like a servant to Ling Xiao. You spare my life, is it really just for these? Speak, what is your purpose? The Phantom Emperor stared coldly at Ling Xiao, showing no trust. I'll give you a chance to fight me. If I win, you will surely die. If I lose, I will let you go. How about that? A playful smile appeared at the corner of Ling Xiao's mouth. Lose? Impossible. Obviously, the Phantom Emperor did not believe that a 15-year-old boy could defeat him. If that were true, Ling Xiao's talent, even in the Star Realm, would be considered a super genius. The Star Realm, a 12th-tier civilization, Ling Xiao's talent is SSS level, yet still far from the top tier and geniuses in the Star Realm. Are you sure? Can you make the decision? The Phantom Emperor was excited, guessing that Ling Xiao wanted to use this opportunity to prove his strength in front of the Arid clan's powerful figures and gain better treatment. But to target a powerhouse of his own star system level? Even with the power of the Holy Light, it was too reckless. He shifted his tone and looked at Black. Small matter, no need to report? Get started, or you'll lose the chance. Ling Xiao saw the Shadow Emperor's misunderstanding but did not want to explain, speaking coldly. Then, he quickly rushed toward the other party, lightly grasping the void with his right hand. Buzz! In an instant, a long spear burning with black flames appeared in his palm. Although he obtained an 11th rank weapon from Brack, it was really too much of a bullying to face the mere Phantom Emperor with an 11th rank weapon. A 7th rank mid-grade weapon? You really look down on me. Seeing this, the Phantom Emperor's face instantly darkened. Since Ling Xiao was so arrogant, there was no need for him to be polite either. Rumble! An extremely terrifying aura erupted from the Phantom Emperor's body. Endless black mist surged, spreading in all directions in an instant as he transformed into a dark storm. A colossal shadow that blocked the sky and sun suddenly appeared. That was his true form. He stared coldly at Ling Xiao, not daring to be careless in the slightest, fully aware that Ling Xiao was no match. Master, the phantoms are a race born from the souls of powerful practitioners of psychic powers after death, transformed into shadowy forms. They have many branches. Throughout the universe, although they belong to the same race, each branch has its differences. The strongest among them are comparable to supreme beings, with eternal and indestructible strength. At the very least, they originate from the souls of deceased realm lords. The ancestor of this phantom branch was a realm lord-level powerhouse who transformed into a shadow after death, and after tens of millions of years, it has developed into a powerful 10th-tier civilization. Black respectfully explained to Ling Xiao, the phantom race can not only use psychic powers but also wield shadow power, and the potency of these two abilities is astonishing. Black had long discovered this phantom branch and studied it deeply up to the 10th tier of civilization before stopping. The phantom race is born from the shadows of intelligent species, strange and mysterious, often lurking within the territories of intelligent species, standing out uniquely. Ling Xiao heard of this clan for the first time and became interested. It was rare for the strong to awaken even their shadow into life and become powerful. No wonder they feared light energy so much. Rumble! A terrifying telekinetic force surged toward Ling Xiao like a flood of wild beasts. He saw a transparent giant hand covering the sky, crushing down with the power to destroy heaven and earth. This pure telekinetic force, Ling Xiao could never underestimate it as the full strength strike of a galactic-level powerhouse. Although the holy light can suppress the enemy's true form, it is difficult to directly block attacks. Demonic blood escape. Body of the mad god. Ling Xiao shouted angrily, instantly unleashing his strongest physical enhancement technique. Rumble! In an instant, Ling Xiao's entire body exploded into a sky full of blood mist. Blood mist surged into the remaining flesh and blood at an astonishing speed. In an instant, a terrifying aura erupted from the flesh and blood that was almost indistinguishable to the naked eye. The flesh and blood quickly repaired itself, and the complete Ling Xiao appeared under the starry sky, but the aura had drastically changed. Rumble! A raging blood energy surrounded the entire body, and strength surged dramatically. The demonic blood escape technique can increase Ling Xiao's combat power by 30 times, while the mad god's body provides a 16-fold boost. The fusion of the two causes his combat power to surge threefold, equivalent to a 100-fold increase. The formidable power makes his muscles attract surrounding objects like a black hole. The 7th-rank black flame spear in his hand trembles violently. Devastating gun technique. Eradicate them for me. Ling Xiao let out an angry roar, his body bursting with endless vitality, condensing a wild god's phantom towering 10,000 meters high. In the wild god phantom's hand, a sacred holy light condensed into a 10,000-meter-long spear, dazzling and piercing. He charged toward the sky-covering giant hand together with the spear in Ling Xiao's hand. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The two spears collided head-on with the giant hand, shaking the heavens and earth, and the shockwave rolled fiercely. The heavens and earth suddenly trembled violently, overwhelmingly fierce. Crack! The black flame spear in Ling Xiao's hand suddenly split, shards flying everywhere. Before he could react, the spear shattered with a loud explosion. Countless fragments swarmed at Ling Xiao like a swarm of bees, piercing his body, blood splattering. But he quickly recovered, his gaze sharp as an eagle's. Rumble! Not only the black flame spear, but also the spear in the Phantom God's hand and the giant palm imprint formed by the Phantom Emperor shattered simultaneously. The starry sky suddenly trembled, as if it was about to collapse. The massive body of the Phantom Emperor shuddered violently, the giant palm imprint shattered, his soul severely injured, and his heart deeply shaken. A mere 15-year-old mortal boy actually managed to shatter his full-strength strike? It was simply absurd. Divine light impact. Ling Xiao shouted sharply, striking heavily into the void with his right palm. The phantom of the mad god behind swung his fist, blasting out a beam of light that shot straight into the sky, dazzling and instantly illuminating the starry sky. The black mist on the Phantom Emperor's body frantically dissolved, his massive form trembling as if in a cold shiver. It's not holy light. This is not holy light, he screamed in terror, quickly activating his shadow power to flee. But at his galactic realm, he was simply no match for the light of Ling Xiao. Boom! A sudden burst of light exploded, heavily striking the Phantom Emperor. In an instant, the holy radiance completely engulfed his massive body, turning it into nothingness. In the distance, Black witnessed this scene and re-evaluated Ling Xiao's strength. Although Ling Xiao could easily kill the Phantom Emperor, it was mainly because the light-based ability countered the Phantom Clan, with a very strong attribute suppression. But without great strength, it is absolutely impossible to defeat the opponent. During the initial clash, although Ling Xiao was slightly at a disadvantage, he did not lose a single point, clearly showing that the galactic realm had been established. The Master's realm is only at the 10th level of Grandmaster, yet he possesses such terrifying power. What exactly is that light, and what was the power used earlier to neutralize the attack of Emperor's School? It feels even more terrifying than this light. Brack's heart surged with turmoil, but as a servant, he knew he should not ask too many questions. Is he dead? Ling Xiao sighed deeply. The Phantom Emperor was suppressed by the holy light and was instantly killed before even unleashing his destructive power. It was truly a pity. He has now reached the 10th level of Grandmaster, cultivating the Great Destruction Spear technique and the Frenzied God Body, with an estimated peak combat power at the 3rd level of the Galactic Realm. He was 8 times stronger than when he killed the Skull Emperor before cultivating the technique. But the Phantom Emperor before him is not an ordinary 3rd level Galactic Realm. Its strength is equivalent to the 4th or 5th level of the Galactic Realm. Without attribute suppression, Ling Xiao's holy light would not be a match at all. Attribute restraint causes the opponent's strength to drop by more than tenfold. It seems that taking the path of comprehensive development is the right choice. Only then can we face formidable enemies like the Phantom Emperor. Being able to constantly suppress the opponent, this feeling is even more thrilling than outright annihilation. Enough! A cold smile appeared at Ling Xiao's mouth. Ding! Congratulations, host. A new day has begun. The number of repairs has been refreshed. You now have 6 repair opportunities. The system prompt sound instantly entered his mind. Before cultivation, I had Black notify all members of the Phantom Star System to assemble. After the cultivation of the technique ended, we waited another 4 or 5 hours before finally gathering everyone. The day was already over. Ling Xiao's eyes slightly narrowed, feeling that the cultivation time was getting longer and longer, but he was not afraid of the long duration. Strength was the key. Now is the best time to activate the breakthrough limit function. Breaking through the innate law body's limit will cause a surge in talent, and the cultivation speed will definitely soar. He glanced at his attributes, a confident curve rising at the corner of his mouth. All skills had reached the realm level, almost all at the 2nd realm, especially his gun technique, which had already reached the 3rd realm. At this speed, other skills will soon catch up as well, and a full-scale outbreak is imminent. Ling Xiao's gaze was firm, and he gave the system an order without hesitation. System, immediately break through the limit of my innate law body. Ding! Command accepted. Beginning to break through the limit of the innate law body, integrating 6 repair attempts. The system responded swiftly. Boom! In an instant, the raging golden power swept through his entire body like a devastating flood, and Ling Xiao was instantly enveloped in golden light. He did not avoid Black's gaze at all, knowing that the system had shielded all abnormalities. Publicly using the system's abilities, no one could detect the slightest anomaly. As the golden power poured in, the world before his eyes changed rapidly. Countless threads of law shimmered between heaven and earth. These threads had always existed, but no one could perceive them. Now, with the breakthrough of the innate law body, he could clearly sense them. This awareness came from his consciousness training ground, a cultivation space he had personally created, where the threads of law were fully exposed. The real world was supposed to be hidden, but now, he could actually gaze directly at this invisible network of power. The level rose by at least 2 tiers, causing the law to manifest in reality. Ling Xiao's heart surged with excitement and anticipation. Ding! Congratulations, host, your innate law body has broken through its limit. leveling up to innate supreme body cosmic tier. The system notification sounded again, and a flash of light appeared in Ling Xiao's eyes.
Innate supreme body? The name was incredibly imposing. Cosmic tier, the realm of the divine king, the pinnacle just below the realm of immortality. He immediately pulled up the details of the Yu Jie innate supreme body. Innate supreme body, a derivative physique originating from the human emperor's body of the human race, with extraordinary talent, capable of strongly sensing the power of the laws of heaven and earth. Possessing this physique, becoming an immortal level supreme is almost certain.
Effect: comprehension increased by 100 billion times, cultivation speed increased by 100 billion times.
It exerts supreme deterrence over the human race.
This effect ignores the opponent's level and bloodline concentration.
The system prompt sounded again. Xiao Ye's eyes suddenly lit up.
Setting aside the supreme deterrence effect on the human race, the fact that both comprehension and cultivation speed increased by 100 billion times alone made the innate supreme body incredibly awe-inspiring.
This is a derivative physique of the human emperor's body.
In other words, once the innate supreme body advances, it will inevitably enter the human emperor realm.
Human emperor, just the name sounds overwhelmingly powerful.
Ling Xiao looked at the introduction, a spark of anticipation igniting in his heart. He knew that the supreme physique was no ordinary trait, its power was terrifyingly immense. Previously, he had heard Black mention that the human race's bloodline was formidable, and the Huang race was the pinnacle among them.
If the galactic human race could enter the
virtual universe to measure bloodline concentration, and if it highly matched the Huang race, it would mean that Earth's bloodline was indeed descended from the Huang race. It was merely a twist of fate that they ended up stranded on the outskirts of the Milky Way, long losing contact with the Wild Clan, eventually evolving into today's galactic human race.
Ling Xiao silently decided that sooner or later he must enter the virtual universe to verify this.
Even if the bloodline doesn't match, with his current talent, he can quickly rise to the ranks of the universe's super strong, with no need to rely on any race. The galactic human race, he intends to make it the strongest.
Ding!
Congratulations, host. All martial skills have reached the triple realm, merging into Weapon Master, 19x enhancement, 0/500,000 proficiency. A sudden alert sounded in Ling Xiao's mind, causing his heart to jolt.
Weapon Master? No matter what kind of weapon, I can enjoy the same enhancement. Does this mean the weapons I use are no longer limited to the dozen or so I've trained with? A gleam of brilliance flashed in his eyes. The universe is filled with countless weapons, especially in the Great Universe era, where all kinds of strange arms emerge endlessly. If he no longer needs to learn each one individually, wouldn't that save time and effort?
Ling Xiao thought to himself. He had planned to use his consciousness clone to learn all the weapons before, but now it seemed completely unnecessary. More importantly, my attribute panel is finally streamlined, he laughed. If all the martial skills were displayed, the interface would be chaotic. Now, unified into a single data point, it was incredibly clean. Since martial skills can be merged, can secondary professions be combined as well? He asked the system curiously. Although he appeared to be cultivating 10 secondary professions on the surface, he actually possessed far more.
Ding!
If secondary professions are at the same level and cultivated simultaneously, they can be merged into 10 main professions. After merging, the host no longer needs to repeatedly fix vulnerabilities, and
all professions share the legendary quality bonus. However, if one profession's level exceeds the others, the merge will dissolve, and professions with unfixed vulnerabilities will drop to normal levels. The system's explanation was quick and clear, and Ling Xiao suddenly understood.
That's right. Although there are many martial techniques, the principles of exerting force are essentially the same. Having trained in more than 10 types of weapons, theoretically, one can master all weapons. Just like my swordsmanship, though I haven't practiced much, my sword skills can at least reach a master level. Ambition burned in his eyes, and the path ahead was clearer than ever. The secondary professions were completely different, but after the system merged them, it surprisingly brought an incredible bonus, saving a total of 9 repair attempts. Ling Xiao scanned all his professions. His formation technique had already reached the 6th rank upper grade, while the rest were all 6th rank lower grade.
Talent has improved again. A comprehensive breakthrough to 6th rank upper grade won't take long. Let's pause the formation technique training for now.
Without hesitation, he ordered one consciousness to stop training, and the other consciousnesses immediately accelerated their training in other professions frantically.
Ding!
The alchemist practiced for 1 minute, gaining 1 billion experience, leveling up to 6th rank mid-grade, 500 million/700 million.
Ding!
The artificer practiced for 1 minute, gaining 1 billion experience, leveling up to 6th rank mid-grade, 500 million/700 million.
Ding!
The mechanic practiced for 1 minute, gaining 1 billion experience, leveling up to 6th rank mid-grade, 500 million/700 million. The system notification sounds rang continuously, and all professions advanced 1 minor tier in just 1 minute.
With another minute of practice, all could reach 6th rank high grade. The speed was astonishing, leaving Ling Xiao shocked.
After all, he was born with a supreme body, possessing cosmic-level special abilities, equivalent to the terrifying 13th rank. With such talent, his cultivation acquisition of 6th rank skills was astonishingly rapid, otherwise, his 13th rank status would be ridiculously weak.
1.5 minutes later, all secondary professions completely broke through to the upper 6th rank. Ding! Host secondary professions have all been promoted to upper 6th rank, legendary level, 800 million/1 billion, unlocking the secondary profession master title, number of professions, 10.
Hearing the prompt, Ling Xiao slightly nodded and turned his gaze to the attribute table.
Attribute table. Name, Ling Xiao. Repair count, 0 out of 6. Martial Arts Realm, Grandmaster, 10th Heaven. Soul Realm, Grandmaster, 9th Heaven. Chi and Blood, 6 billion, 1 point equals 30,000 tons of strength. Soul, 4 billion.
Secondary Profession Master, 10 types, 6th rank superior, legendary level, 800 million/1 billion. Skill, Weapon Master, Triple Realm, 1900%, 0/500,000. Talent, Undying Divine Body, Immortal level, Combat Power times 1000%, Innate Supreme Body, Cosmic level, Combat Power boost 100 billion times, Holy Divine Light, Cosmic level, Power of Destruction, Immortal level. Cultivation Methods, Soul Immortality Technique, Eternal level, 6th stage broken, 128 times, Heavenly Demon Blood Escape, 10th stage, Frenzied Absorption, 13th stage, Superior, Frenzied God Body, 10th stage, mid-level, 16 times, Juntian Divine Cannon, 3 out of 10, 13th stage, mid-level, Mastery, Martial Skills, Great Destruction Spear Technique, 11th stage, Supreme, 2000%, Holy Light World Annihilation, 11th stage, Supreme, 2000%, 9 Heavens Instant Flash, 11th stage, Supreme, 2000%, Great Sun Golden Body, 11th stage, Supreme, 2000%. Items, Dark Armor, 11th stage, Supreme, Dark Magic Spear, 11th stage, Supreme, Angel Wings, 11th stage, Supreme, Beast Pet. Normal Combat Power, Stellar Realm, 7th layer. Maximum Combat Power, Galactic Realm, 4th layer. Staring at the attribute table, Ling Xiao's heart surged with excitement. The relic left by the Dark Supreme was astonishing. Usually, a peak domain lord possessing 1 or 2 top-tier grade 11 weapons is enough to dominate, yet he had several. He first chose the Dark Armor, worn by the Dark Supreme during his lifetime. Although it was not the strongest armor reaches the 12th rank, lower grade. It was shattered by the Black Dragon Realm Lord in the final battle. Without this armor, the Dark Supreme would have long since fallen, unable to escape, let alone break through to the Realm Lord level before death, endure for thousands of years, consume countless spiritual medicines, and still ultimately not escape death. The Dark Magic Spear also originated from the Dark Supreme. Since he was not skilled in using long spears, this weapon, though powerful, was never used to its full potential by him. Sealed until now, this weapon has finally fallen into Ling Xiao's hands. The Angel's Wings are by no means ordinary. It was once heard that the Dark Supreme slew a powerful angelic warrior and seized the opponent's holy light scripture. Even more astonishing, he invited a top-tier artifact smith to refine the Angel's Wings and forge them into an 11th grade supreme magical artifact. This ruthlessness earned Ling Xiao's admiration. Now, Ling Xiao has switched to a new set of martial arts techniques. Although the power boost is only 20 times now, it is because the cultivation is not yet complete. Once perfected, this boost will skyrocket to a terrifying 40 times, greatly increasing strength. Don't underestimate the power increase from advancing just one minor realm. At Ling Xiao's current level, doubling means a qualitative change. Countless geniuses spend countless years to improve their strength by even 1%. Moreover, after advancing a realm, the ability to fight above one's level actually decreases, and breaking through again requires even more time. Unless there is a special need, no one is willing to suppress their realm advancement. According to Ling Xiao's talent, cultivating the 11th level martial art to perfection is not easy, but there is no need to rush. 1 day or 2 is just a blink of an eye to him. Back then, he struggled to improve his strength merely for self-preservation. Now, with a 13th level spaceship and Brack guarding him at all times, he is safe and worry-free. Without safety concerns, Ling Xiao doesn't need to push himself to the limit. Even if he did, it would be difficult to surpass Brack at the 13th level. Brack, the powerful martial art you mentioned before that integrates the 8 sacred scriptures, is it called the Juntian Divine Scripture? Ling Xiao stared at the attribute table and asked directly. Previously, he had cultivated the Extreme Cold Scripture and the Holy Light Scripture to perfection, awakening the Extreme Cold Holy Power and the Holy Light Holy Power. Speaking of the Holy Light Holy Power, Ling Xiao was extremely familiar with it. The Divine Holy Light he now used was precisely based on this to repair the loopholes. Now, he had comprehended another level. However, he had no intention of repairing the loopholes again. The 2 Divine Holy Lights were almost identical, and repairing them might instead cause them to merge into one. Because both cultivation methods have been perfected, a new Juntian Divine Scripture cultivation attribute has appeared in the background. Although only 3 of the 8 sacred scriptures have been fused, it has already risen to the 13th rank, middle grade. If the remaining 5 are collected and cultivated perfectly, its power will definitely not be inferior to any immortal level cultivation method. Unfortunately, Ling Xiao currently does not know the specific power of the Juntian Divine Scripture. Reporting to the master,
master, this old servant does not know.
This cultivation method only exists in legend, and even the previous master only had a partial understanding.
Legends are not necessarily true.
Brack said helplessly. Speaking honestly, he really did not understand.
After all, he was only at the 11th level of cultivation. How could he grasp too many secrets? Not knowing is fine. Perhaps someone in the virtual universe knows. By the way, the Black Dragon Realm Lord you mentioned, where does he live? Ling Xiao asked curiously. Yes, master.
He is the ruler of the Black Dragon Star realm and usually does not leave the imperial capital.
Distance from us. This place is 700 billion light-years from the Black Dragon Star realm. At our spaceship speed, we can arrive in less than an hour.
Upon hearing Ling Xiao's words, Black immediately became excited. Now, his power had reached a terrifying 13th rank God King level, easily crushing the Black Dragon Realm Lord, a Realm Lord level existence. Erasing him would be a matter of a wave of the hand. But Black was clear that unless Ling Xiao gave